We are live, episode 45, I think it is. We're on, right? 45?
45. Yeah.
We gotta double check that shit.
No, yeah.
It is 45
It is
indeed.
45, right? Okay, should have asked that before. All right, thank you guys for coming back. Episode 45 of GhettoRig. Today we brought in Tommy Williams, an old friend of mine from middle school and high school. Thank you guys. Round of applause for having him in today. Fuck it. Thank you for coming, brother. We also brought in Rodolfo. You guys know him very well. And we have Alex back another day. I'm about to stop introducing Alex because he's just there all
Just
the time.
So go ahead.
So I know Tommy from starting middle school, probably
Yeah.
so I could say anywhere in like the 8 to 10 year range. I've known Tommy, because anywhere from probably 6th to 8th grade I met him, and then we went to high school as well. Tommy is an interesting guy. He used to dance back in the day. He makes us lovely music now, so he'll get into that. Tommy, tell us a little bit about where you're from. Give us your age and occupation.
Goddamn. So originally, born in St. Petersburg. I've been back and forth, with my parents. So I've been all over like Clearwater, Tampa, Largo, it's like that. And then my dad's side is from Perry, Florida. So I've been back and forth there as well. But I would say I've mostly been in St. Pete. That's how I met all you guys.
Yeah.
All through Tyrone. Yeah. So ever since then, I ain't really have a specific place to like grow up and really call it my foundation.
Yeah.
So
I remember you used to spend a lot of time in Perry,
Mhm.
especially in the summers. You used to go over there
every
a lot.
summer I used to go there and just live like completely.
We used to stay in contact through GTA only.
Literally. They were like, yo, Eddie, what you doing right now? Just chilling. But yeah, that's pretty much been it.
Hey guys,
You
just
still-
a quick thing before we continue. So Tommy's is Von Zelsly, right?
Mhm.
Cool. If you guys can do us a huge favor, go on Insta, like his Insta, go on
Appreciate that.
YouTube, subscribe to his thing. Just give him some love.
You're on Apple Music as well, like all
yeah,
of it, right?
Apple
Spotify,
Music,
SoundCloud,
if you do-
all the stuff you there.
Yeah,
right?
because see, like I'm sure he'll talk about it a little more as we get into it, and I know Alex knows more about music, so they'll talk about how music industry and how Apple Music works and how to get up there. So
yeah, I have a lot of content. That is content creator questions.
yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
So if you could do us a huge favor, go ahead and follow him on Insta. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. If you want to give us a like, thumbs up, it's up to you. If you want to subscribe. Anyway, so yeah.
So to start off with my earlier question, right? No, I mentioned it earlier. You dancing back in the day. When did you stop? I know you mentioned the day you stopped.
Well, let's start with what kind of dancing? Single denomination dollar bills that you're dancing, or?
Oh, you
or-
crazy. Nah, so I was doing like hip hop and all that other stuff like that. But I stopped.
So hip hop, pop and locks, and all of those, the breakdancing stuff.
Except breakdancing. I was too big for that shit.
Yeah.
Like the head spinning and shit. I was like,
Ain't
nah.
nobody was throwing their big
Right.
ass before.
What year was that? I would say a year after high school, pretty much, because everybody separated, went to college, and did all
Yeah.
that shit. And I was like, ain't nobody dancing no more, and like, why I'm keep doing this shit?
Yeah. Was there, when you were in high school still doing it, was there like a end goal with that? Were you trying to do something with that at all, or was it just still like a hobby?
The thing is, it was a hobby, but then people was like, yo, if you come here and dance for us, we'll pay you. And I was like, that's dope, but I don't want to be known as that. You feel me?
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
It was just kind of like, it was fun to do for the meantime. And then when I got a certain size, it looked weird. Like me, I used to be really skinny. So then like, now that I'm like this size, I don't want to be dancing. I look like fucking Terry Crews trying to like pop lock and shit. It looked weird. So that's why I was like, nah, I'm gonna just chill out on that.
Yeah.
So I got a funny story about dancing. So when I first came to
Yeah, Jay used to break dance.
yeah,
Really?
so, yeah, I used to break
break,
dance.
break
When
dance
I was
back home.
18, when I came to United States, right? I was looking for a place to go to breakdance because that's what I did before I came, right? So I found this church. Everybody in Tampa would get together in this church and dance. And I did that, and then I found out that there's another gym, like I think it was like a YMCA or something, that everybody would get there and do that. And back home, we're pretty nonchalant about it. Like, you get to the gym, you just take your clothes off. It's normal. And put your clothes on and you change real quick and you go. So I came there. I thought it was the same fucking thing. And there's a bunch of girls there, a bunch of dudes. I just take my fucking clothes off, butt naked in a fucking underwear, just standing there. And one of the girls like, okay, we're going to let him do his thing.
Everybody just looked at you like, the
yeah,
weird
like,
kid.
what the hell is going on? So,
That's funny.
so yeah. Sorry, go
Bro,
ahead.
got
Yeah.
extreme.
And then if I'm not mistaken, did you start making music already in high school? Didn't you already with Derek and those guys already in high school, or was that after?
That was a little after, like,
Okay.
because they were doing their thing, and then they found out that I was doing it on some like joking shit, and they were like, "Oh, you do music too? Bro, let's collab." And it was just like that, and yeah, that didn't last too long because it was kind of like, all right, you know, nobody gonna take that shit serious. You rapping about crazy shit, like literally a song about eating ass, like that's crazy.
So what type of a genre of music are you in now, and was it the same or just evolved throughout the years?
So when I was in a group, it was satirical rap, and then when I kind of went on my own, I became alternative rap. So that's where I'm at now.
What's an alternative rap?
Basically, it's very experimental. You know, kind of going outside of the, regular boundaries of hip hop.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't want to say that. This is giving me like, oh, I kind of can guess what kind of do, but the way you're dressed is very grungy, you know what I mean? So is that the type of rap we're talking about, a little more on the grungier side? And
I would say that, yeah.
Okay, cool.
You know, this is not like an everyday attire. Like I'll throw on a basic black tee and some jeans.
Yeah.
But like, I like wearing shit like this sometimes just to be like, all right.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's what you like.
It stands, you know, for sure. That's cool. And has it? So you said it went from satirical to alternative, and now you're obviously, you got your stuff on all of the social medias and YouTubes and the Apple Music and all that stuff. So have you had, I'm sure you've had some great success, like, performing and doing things. So can you tell us like a little more on some of those?
Yeah. So when I first started this, I had no idea like how this was like running, like, opening up for big artists, just really being in the room with other people that have accomplished like, millions of streams on Spotify and stuff like that. Like when I was talking to people like that, it was kind of like, damn, how you got there? And then, when they kind of gave me of like the ropes and, how to do shit like that, then I started taking it into, consideration. Like, all right, I need to really get serious about it, because I was around people that make songs and put them on SoundCloud, and then it's like, that's it, like, that's just
it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. They just like, oh, I'm a rapper now, and it's like, okay, but what do you do?
Not really actively promoting.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they say he's a SoundCloud rapper or she's a SoundCloud rapper, because it's just like,
that's a stigma that they gave to that kind
That's
of
where
artist.
their music goes to die.
Yeah, literally.
SoundCloud.
And it's crazy because like you won't, like, for example, I wouldn't even tell people I make music, because that's automatically what they'll think. They'll be like, oh, he's a rapper. I'm not going to take him serious. So I just don't even say anything. And then when they find out, they're like, oh, you make music. Some people will still be like, whatever. But other people are like, okay, what type of music do you? And they'll check it out. And they'll be like, oh, you look professional. Okay, I'm going to check it out. And, that's how it really is. It's embarrassing at the same time, but at the same time, it's like,
no, you just got to be
No,
on
don't
your
look
thing.
at it
Plug
embarrassing.
it away.
I kind of get the same vibe from the whole podcast thing almost. Like, I feel like, we haven't been doing it as long as you've been doing music, but it's the same thing. Like, for example, my mom the other day when we like first started, right, within the first month, we met some family I hadn't seen in a long time, and they're like, she's like, make sure to tell them about your podcast. Like, I'm not going up to every person I see and being like, hey, go watch my podcast. Like, no, that's not what I'm going to do. That's annoying. Nobody wants to fucking hear that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're not going up to everybody and be like, hey, by the way, I'm a rapper. You should go watch my stuff and listen to my stuff. No, you want to talk like a normal person. And if it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There's like majority of the people I meet nowadays, I probably don't mention it to, because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy.
I don't want to tell nobody that. And it's like, I don't just do that. So I don't want them to be like, oh, this guy's a rapper. I'm not taking him serious. Get out of here.
So that's what I usually do when I meet girls. Like, I won't tell them what I do, and they're like, well, what do you do? Well, I got my job. I do some other things on the side. I have some creative things on the side. Well, what's the creative thing? Because that's the first thing being asked. Nothing crazy. Just this little podcast we got going on.
The podcast thing could be used for Riz. That's different. That's a different kind of conversation you're trying to have. I mean, like, with just like a normal conversation with another like guy, or for example, like family friend, like I was talking about with my mom. I'm not going up to them talking about that.
Yeah, well, when I'll talk to people and we're like throwing ideas around, and you know how I sometimes get like, and they're like, sometimes, they're like, oh, that's kind of good. You should have a, something going on. I was like, yeah, we got a podcast. You got a podcast? Yeah, we got a podcast going. You just tune in.
Yeah.
And that's how it kind of starts. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing.
And I've been
don't,
surprised.
Yeah, don't throw it in their face.
I've been
but-
surprised the amount of people, not throw it in their face, but I've been surprised the amount of people that do it to me, like in the sense, like, oh, I saw your thing, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
when I'm not the one that has to be to bring it up. Like they're already watching and supporting, so that feels nice.
Right.
That I don't have to do that. They're already there, and
Yeah.
you know, they just shout it out in the sense that, like, oh, hey, bro, like I think what you're doing is really cool. I appreciate that.
Because
really
our
like that.
podcast kind of started the same way. Like, you know, we started with something. We had an idea. I had an idea. He had an idea. Everybody kind of had an idea. And then it just kind of, throughout the course of maybe first 10 episodes, it just kind of molded into what it is today.
That's dope.
Yeah, it definitely, the first like 5 to 10 episodes were all over the place.
Yes.
We didn't really know what to talk about. It was a lot
I
of
felt that shit.
it was a lot of boy versus girl conversations, and that was really it.
I still have those.
And
Fade over here.
yeah, Mr. Top J. Oh shit! You know, I just watched Top G's pod with Aiden Ross.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Twitch
that
streamer.
guy.
I just watched their first one. Like, I mean, it came out like 2 years ago, or whatever, but I hadn't seen it. It's funny. He makes fun of him all fucking day. He's just on his ass all day, and then he's like, "Bro, you're my friend, so I have to do that to you."
Yes.
Because I see all the potential you have, you waste it. And it's like, damn, but he goes in on him hard sometimes.
That shit's funny.
Hard.
all the time.
I feel
So-
like.
Go ahead.
Okay, I feel like he gives him that that little brother treatment.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
get out of my
That's
face.
exactly what he does. Get the fuck out of my face, that
Yeah.
bullshit excuse or whatever you're trying to say kind of thing.
So with that, so now
What's that?
you're doing the music, and so how has that changed your life now that you're starting to get more recognition? You know, let's say you're not up there in the top echelon, but you are gaining traction and recognition, right? So how's that changed your life?
It definitely gave me like a different type of confidence of like it's possible. You just got to put yourself out there and maneuver a certain way. Cause like, yeah, there's a point in time where I thought like, damn, like people gonna just look at that shit and kind of disregard and be like, bro, just get a real job. Like fuck that shit.
Yeah.
But definitely have a plan B. That's what I tell people all the time. Like, don't just throw yourself out there and be like, oh, I'm gonna make it, because that shit's way harder than you think. Like, even with this podcast thing, bro.
Mad respect, because I've you seen that kid, that white boy that did the imitation little baby and got mad famous on TikTok, right? His shit is imitation, and then he just became big because of promotion. And, anybody can do that one hit wonder, go viral thing,
Right.
and then what is he? He's dying off now. You're not
Literally.
seeing him. You're doing your music is you can clearly tell something that you enjoy, that you like, and
Right.
that's what's gonna be good long term.
Same thing happened with that
And
kid.
that's what we're
Remember that
trying to
kid
do.
that had an Uber? He would drive, and then he's like, "Hey guys, do you want to hear music? I got something that I wrote." And then we'll stop rapping, kind of like Busta Rhymes, very
Yeah, I
quickly.
see what you're talking about.
And I've gotten to check him out. The only ones that I kind of enjoy listening to are the ones in the Uber. All the other stuff, like he talks about stuff that matters, but it's not as catchy.
I like the guy, the white dude that does it on Omega a lot.
Oh,
He
yeah?
goes on Omega and he just spits rhymes all fucking
Harry
day.
Mack?
Yes, Mac. Yes, Mac. Yes, he's
That
sick.
nigga freestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can rap.
Yeah. So how has that changed your perspective on life and things that can be done? How are people looking at you now? From now versus then.
That's a good question. It's a double-edged sword, because it's like
Yeah.
you have people that'll be like, where did this come from? Like, you making music now? That's crazy. And then you got other people that are like, oh, it's pretty cool to see you doing something that you want to do in life. So like, it's definitely like I tell everybody around me, like, do what you want to do, but definitely go full force with it. Because like, you don't want to half-ass something and then you disappoint your own self because you didn't put that energy into it. And like anybody that's in the creative space, like for example, you want to be an influencer, you want to be an artist, you want to do painting, stuff like that. That's normally not looked at seriously. I tell everybody go like 1,000% with that shit, because it's definitely possible.
Have you? All right, so I'm gonna have to take it there, because we usually talk about this. I'm gonna have to take it there. So have you noticed that girls treat you a little bit differently after they see you on stage versus off stage, or like when you're off stage, they don't know what's going on, and then you hop on stage. Like how does that dynamic work for you?
Okay, so with that, I tell people I make scaring the hoes away music. So like, yeah, I get on stage, we be aggressive, we be jumping and shit. And some people be like, yo, that shit's hard, and the other girls would be like, yeah, this nigga's weird. And they'll look at me like, yeah, I can't fuck with that shit. But girls, like say beforehand, say for example, when I was on like Hinge and Tinder and shit like that, they'll look at me and be like, okay, I fucks with him. But then when they find out what I do, some girls would be like, oh, you a rapper? Nah.
Oh, because
Yeah.
they automatically have like the bad connotation
Yeah, they have
attached
that
with it.
SoundCloud rapper
Mm-hmm.
idea.
Well, it's either the SoundCloud rapper idea or the rapper that's gonna hit it and quit it type of deal. You know, where
That too.
because see, like a lot of these girls don't understand. You know, and a lot of the like you work security, and I'm sure you've seen this. Like they'll run him into this room. Their entire entourage is there, and once she's like on her knees sucking somebody's dick, they're saying how dumb she is for doing that right in her face. And it's not only the guy; it's everyone else is saying the same thing. But yet these girls will continue to do it because they're chasing that clout. And I'm sure you've seen things like that before.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Yeah.
That shit's insane. Like,
So there's that negative connotation attached, like, and then what kind of a crowd is that gonna attract? You know what I mean? So I can see what he's saying.
but the thing is too, with that whole like SoundCloud like type of thing, I feel like a lot of people have ruined that because you got to think about it. A lot of artists that we listen to this day have come from that platform. But like, I would say that Lil Pump era and after that shit, they ran that shit to the ground, bro.
Yeah.
Like they ruined that shit.
Yeah, that's funny actually because when we were talking about the SoundCloud thing earlier, the first artist that came to my brain was Lil Pump,
Bro.
because that was like when that was the era when SoundCloud rapper became a thing, right?
Like
and
you
you
s-
actually were becoming big off that platform.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I tell people that make music as well, you have to make something that everybody's gonna genuinely like. You can't just make music for a certain era because then, say for example, that fan base, they're gonna get older and forget about you. And like if you make like ignorant
That's
shit the whole
irrelevant.
time, yeah, they're gonna get older and be like, oh, this shit sounds stupid now. I'm not listening to you no more.
Yeah.
So that's what
So
I say,
let me ask you this, because I'm sure you've been into music, you've been listening to music and music videos, and I'm sure you've seen. I'm gonna take it back to '80s, like Michael Jackson's videos and things like that. And then in comparison, as the time progressed, when people got into crypto, made a little bit of money, or they can now produce on their own, do you see there's a change within the actual music video? Because there was a Bad Bunny music video that he's on a beach and there's this 360 camera and that's all they're doing.
Well,
on it, you
that
know
wasn't
what I mean?
necessarily a video. That's a visualizer, what they call that.
Like,
So, like,
yeah.
the whole album had those come out where it was just that. They were just them sitting on the beach and the songs were playing and you could do the whole 360 thing. It's not necessarily a music video. It's called a visualizer.
No, what I'm saying is that's a low production music video to begin with.
Oh, so you're
See what I mean? So there's
okay.
not a lot of effort put in. Like, okay, we got dancers in the back, we got this going on. There's several cameras.
You can
panning
tell
in,
that
panning
that
out.
video, that visualizer was literally GoPro Max stuck on the stick
Yeah.
in that sand right in front of them, and then they just sat there for like hours probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even other music videos you'll watch, like even if you take Carol G for example, right? Like there's one that she has in a jungle.
I hear her on
You know
the
what I'm
radio a
talking
lot.
about? It's only like what 2-3 dancers. There's maybe 1 or 2 cameras, and that's about it. Where you take Michael Jackson's Thriller, bro. Like this was a whole show.
But you
out.
still have that because, for example, like the first thing that came to my mind when you were talking about music videos and stuff was Cole Bennett, right? You still have that right going on with these directors that are high profile and creating these badass videos for multiple different artists. That's a really good example right there. Lyrical Lemonade, Cole Bennett, like. This guy has gone across the industry, hip hop and outside of hip hop,
Yeah.
making videos for everybody. Badass videos at that too.
I'm gonna say this. Yeah, for example, Cole Bennett, he's really talented, but like, I see what you're saying. As far as like the artist being very creative in that sense, yeah, nobody really like being that creative anymore. They're more focused on just like the aesthetic. They're not focused on okay making an actual visualizer for the people. And I feel like that's something that needs to be looked at more. People need to be more creative because now when people make music, it's like they rap shit, they make a quick little video and put it out there. But at the same time, we have people that are more wise about that because, say for example, like if someone was in my position to where they didn't have like that type of like amount of money to put in towards a visualizer, they would make a video and run an ad behind it because that would attract more people to come watch
gotcha.
you. Yeah, because if you say for example, if you spend like thousands on a music video that's crazy, and you put it up on YouTube, you basically just paid everybody to watch your video. Like that's that's why people would be like, I ain't really trying to focus more on that, but
Yeah.
definitely be creative still.
And it's cool though at the same time because with something as easy as an iPhone, like for example, I think it was last year, Lil Yachty had that one video that they had like they advertised hard as fuck because it was filmed completely on an iPhone, right? And it didn't look bad. I mean, I think it was still like a director and the whole team behind it, right? You got a big ass artist like Lil Yachty, but like you look at it and you're like, well, it's pretty cool how easy it is to create content. On the other hand, right? It's like okay, it saturates the industry with probably a lot of bad content at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But it's also cool because someone, like you just said, that doesn't have a lot of money and stuff to get into it can just grab an iPhone and really make a badass video if they try their ass off.
So I have a question. So today I heard on one of the podcasts, they're saying that comedians now are going to ChatGPT, telling her, hey, put this together for me. And then they're taking that and then they're just brushing it up a little bit, making it their own. And then they're presenting that on a stage. So they're not even writing their own jokes anymore, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Have you seen something like that happening in the music industry with ChatGPT where people are like creating their own rhymes and their own?
Because we've seen a lot of imitation where it's just like, oh, like they had that one song with Drake. They had another one, right? They made it with Drake and Ice Spice together.
The AI thing?
Yeah, that they AI made a song.
That's just crazy.
Right?
That's scary.
Which, on the other hand, I get what you're saying, right? Instead of writing the song by someone else, just have it write the song for you straight up and
So like
you sing it.
ghostwriter type of thing?
Yeah, have your AI ghostwrite.
I've seen, not really AI, but I've seen people like, pay someone to like write something for them. Or I've seen people straight up steal lyrics from like an older artist back in like the 90s or the early 2000s. And I was
so
like, wait.
there's no more of the, what you call that? Isn't there like a certain amount of time? After a certain amount of time, you can pretty much take the lyrics. There's no more intellectual property. I don't know.
I've heard about that, but
I don't know. Alex might know this.
Yeah, I don't really know that to that extent, but I've seen people recycle lyrics, and I paid attention. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that line from so and so, and they're just like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
yeah,
bro, come on now.
I think it was Snoop Dogg that said everyone be sniping other people's shit all
Literally.
the time.
There was another thing
That's
of
just
Snoop
rap.
Dogg. The reason I mentioned like the newer clips, because I like clearly remember. I think it was like Snoop Dogg and a bunch of other people. He's like, man, I don't understand the new rappers because they'll get in there and they'll be like,
I like,
you know what I'm talking about?
It's that they had the panel of all these like old 80s and 90s rappers together, like go in early 2000s, going from like 50 Cent to Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre was in there, all these old guys, and they were just roasting. Like this was like Young Thug era, right? Like when Young Thug came out, and they were just roasting all of those like mumble rappers, Young Thug, Future, and all those guys. But I think it's crazy too because at the same time they have to acknowledge that's what's big, and then guess what? You see them making songs with those guys.
And that's the funny part, because so
Right,
I'm gonna chime in on
that.
that. I'm gonna chime in on that. I get it. When older generations hear new shit, they're gonna be like, what the hell is this? And they're gonna disregard it. But at the same time, you gotta think about it. Motherfuckers was in the 80s talking about some la-di-da-di, we like to party. Like, what the fuck? So you can't really sit there and make fun of us because y'all was saying crazy shit too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you also had Tribe that said, hey, I want some pussy.
Literally.
Yeah, right? So how are they going to try and come roast the new generation? That's what's popular. I mean, you have to appeal to the crowd in a sense, right? Like if you just trying to go for that, like, I want to be viral, so...
What do you think
It's
about?
always gonna be that.
What do you think about the? Because the female rappers are gaining traction. You have Cardi B, you have the Meg Thee Stallion, and all of these girls that are getting into the industry and coming through. What do you think about their music that they're putting out versus the guys' music they're putting out? Because I mean, the most probably famous one, the WAP. You know what I mean? To me, it's a fucking dumbass song. You know what I mean? To me, it is. It's catchy. Not gonna say it's not. It's very catchy.
Okay, so my thing is, I tune that shit out. I'm gonna be real with you. I do not listen to that shit, and that's them because I tried to on the radio because I was delivering before and I heard. I'm like, what the fuck is this dumbass shit? Turn it off. But it's like with that type of music, that's on them. Like, that shit crazy. I like lyrical women, like Krayshawn, Nicki Minaj back in the early 2000s when she was doing her mixtape era.
Yeah,
like,
Nicki was doing good stuff. Now she's doing some other shit.
Now she crazy. She crazy.
This is the only thing I kind of see is I'm just kind of like, but if you like compare it to what a lot of the guys are saying, it's basically the same thing, right?
It's the same shit.
Like, you're just getting mad because she's talking about sucking dick versus the guys talking about plowing pussy.
It's because
right?
you can't relate.
Yeah, right? You can't relate, right?
It's because she'll have the hardest bar ever and then go in about twerking ass and sucking
Yeah,
dick.
right.
And you're like, I related, and then you lost me.
Yeah, there you go.
Them
There
girls
you
be
go.
having some niggas
So-
be mookie as hell. I don't feel you.
Another one I think is
Literally.
another one I think is extremely fucking stupid, which 6ix9ine did. Bunch of other rappers did it. They got in trouble for this when they're fucking self-snitch on themselves in their music videos.
I also seen
in
that
their
niggas
music
like buy
Who was
now
it?
or whatever.
Melly.
YW Melly?
YW Melly,
He just
yeah.
got out. Funny enough.
That's
Yeah.
really?
Wait, did he actually get out?
Yeah, he out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Double Mel, he snitched on himself, and then a bunch of other rappers snitched on themselves, you know, and got caught because of that.
Well, 6ix9ine also straight up frontally snitched on other people,
Yeah,
so he
yeah,
can
of
say
course.
whatever he wants about himself. They know.
Yeah.
Not like the feds don't already know.
Yeah, they been new. Like,
He told the story his damn self in the
Right.
room.
So, but what I want to talk about is like, you know, you have now the Mexican music is picking up, like it's been getting a lot of traction,
Yeah.
right?
Grupo
And-
Frontera.
Yeah. So we all know this is not a secret that cartels are run in Mexico, right? Because what's his name? El Chapo's son, I think, or somebody got caught,
I
and
think
they
I was
literally
talking about-
president called and told him let him
Let
go
him
after
go.
2 hours. You know what I
that's
mean?
crazy.
Yeah. So the cartels are running this. So and they call it correo, right? Like which means running, right? Like they're talking about that flow of corrido, yeah.
Correo would be mail.
Yeah.
Like,
Corrido, yeah. So anyway,
like
but the
the
thing
post
is,
office
if
shit.
they're gonna go out there and talk about like dealing drugs or talk about I'm gonna make shit up here, but like the point is like I saw you, I had my gun out, and then you were afraid and you ran away because we're more heavy hitters than you are. Like they can't do this shit because the minute they do this, they have to ask permission from the cartel. Can they sing about this? They can talk about like let's say powder selling and whatever this and that, but they cannot like say this person is doing this and this person is doing that, who's got beef and whatnot, because they have to
Yeah.
ask the cartels for permission. Now they
Damn, I
do
know
have
that.
these songs, but they play them during the cartel parties, and these songs never come out to the public.
That reminds me of that clip from like probably 5-6 years ago. You know, Snoop Dogg's got his little channel, like TV channel thing he has. That shit's so funny when he does like the little news broadcast. It's always some girl in like this like bikini, just talking hella shit, not even actually telling news. Anyways, he had Gabriel Iglesias on, the comedian Fluffy, and when he had him on in the beginning of the show, he's playing this cartel music, and Fluffy like asked him like, "Oh, you know what this is?" And Snoop told him, "Gangsta recognize gangsta." And Fluffy got surprised because he's legit, like for real. Like the songs he was playing were actual cartel songs talking about killing people, doing blow, all that shit. And he knew. He already knew. He didn't even have to understand the language. He just fucking knew.
That's the thing. Snoop been in this shit, bro. He know like.
So
Can't see. Are we having issues with the stream? No. Oh, that's George trolling probably. Well, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like you got that, and these guys are doing They're super successful. Bad Bunny made that genre popular, right? Like when he collabed, I think Bad Bunny was the first one to collab with Mexican music.
I mean,
right?
they do that a lot within Latin music. You see that all over the place. For example, like Karol G in her last album, she has a song that it's like that same style as well. And like I could say 2 to 3 years ago, Bad Bunny did a collab with one of those guys as well. Not necessarily as traditional as it is now, but it was still like Mexican rooted music.
Well, the point is, have you tried doing something like that?
Like
Going
what?
into different genre to collab
Like
with
bringing
someone
in
else.
rhyming, bringing
Well,
in your flow.
so for example,
into-
I wanted to ask you. Sorry, it's all off of the thing because we were asking about your own music though. That song, I think it's 9210.
Oh, 90210? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sick song. I like that one.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that one has a lot of like vocals. Who was that singing? It sounded like a
That
female,
was
right? Or
that
it
was a
you?
female from Dead My Five. Raise Your Weapon.
Yeah, she got a
Yeah.
badass voice.
Her voice is insane.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
song is
damn.
really good. Really good. I like that song. I listened to a bunch of his music since last week.
Like,
That's funny. The one right under it, that's my favorite one from Tommy.
which one is
Yeah.
it?
Devil Wears Prada.
Oh yeah, that's the K Tronada type beat.
That one I like a lot.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I like to dabble into different genres. I should say it like I wanted to try country just for the fuck of it, but like, cause like everyone is so against country, like they hate it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not that bad.
Man, country music is depressing. We're talking about losing the dog, losing the truck, losing the wife, losing the kids.
Drinking beer, shooting deer, all that shit.
Hey, there's a lot of country songs about fucking your wife, so you know.
Yeah, there are those too, but I don't know if this is true or not. I read somewhere people that listen to country music commit more self-deletions than any other genre that they listen to.
Country music?
Damn.
Country
I
music.
don't know.
I don't know why.
I can see Alex's brain going, I'm gonna check that.
I mean, I feel you on the country music can be depressing because a lot of it can, but then again, like a lot of genres got.
But there's some
depressing
country
music,
Yeah.
music that I listen to. It's
Triple
like,
X, fucking
it's like, bro,
Juice
who
WRLD.
who wrote the
like,
lyrics?
you know,
You know what I mean? Like, cause they're talking about the same WAP.
So
You know what I mean?
I listened to Joe Rogan a lot. And he was talking the other day. He goes, "Man, I didn't like country music, but I realized, past few years, everybody has this one country song that will match up to a certain part of your life perfectly."
Yeah.
And in the sense that, like, if you can, and if for whatever reason you fall into that song in that moment, that's when you'll find your love for country music.
So
and like scientifically, country music chords affect our brain emotionally. So that's why we feel emotions for some country music.
see, leave it to
compared
Alex.
to
He'll figure
others.
it out.
He'll tell us the roots.
So, question:
Okay.
is there an event that you have planned, or you're kind of looking forward to? Like,
Actually, the question I was gonna ask was about that because I already know. I saw an interview coming up. You said right?
Oh yeah, I did that this weekend.
Yeah, right. Oh, you already did it. You already did the interview.
Yeah.
So where can we see that so we can?
So
put
that
out
was
for you too.
that was live only.
Okay, so it's not
yeah.
there's not anywhere you
Yeah.
can go look at it now.
I went
who was the interview with?
Indie Jams Radio, it's like an Orlando radio channel.
Okay.
Yeah, they asked me like
badass.
they legit asked me like 6 questions, and then I'm like, all right, so we're gonna stream your music, and I'm like, all right, and that was it. Yeah.
Okay. So what's a big event that you're looking forward to where you're gonna be performing and things like that?
So
Or
now,
what's the largest venue that you've performed for? Like how many people?
the largest one I've ever did was when I opened up for Wi-Fi's funeral.
Yes,
Yeah, him and Rob Banks.
I remember that. I remember
Yeah,
that.
they
You guys
came-
were posting a lot about
They
that.
came to Tampa, and mind you, this is when we had kind of a buzz, but nobody knew us. So we went there and did it, and we were kind of nervous because the music that we were making, like nobody else was doing that. Everyone else was rapping about lean, shooting, shit like that. We was rapping about eating ass, fucking church girls, and doing shit like that. And then we got on stage, and everybody was like, "Oh shit, I'll fucks with it," and we went crazy.
Oh,
And
that's good.
Yeah, ever since then I was like, "Damn, that's crazy."
I remember seeing a post multiple times of you guys doing events, man. That was badass.
So you were performing, guys, in front of thousands and thousands of people.
I wouldn't say thousands. I would say at the highest would be probably like 100. That's like,
Okay.
yeah.
That's still big enough for an upcoming artist, right?
Oh yeah, because we were at ground zero back then. Like, you know, we got streams and shit like that, but we didn't have people that would like, know us right off the bat. There was only one time where I was working at Target at the time, and these two little two guys would like flip it and they're like, "Yo, you're from Boysenberry Clan." And I was like, "Oh shit."
What do I do?
Yeah, I was like, I just stood there and I was like, "What
Deer in
up?"
headlights.
Literally. Like,
funny.
I didn't want to be like, "Nah, that's not me," and just walk away.
How were your nerves that day that you performed? How do you
Bro.
deal with that?
Oh my god, bro! So we were in the green room just waiting in the back, and I kid you not, bro. I was just sitting there like this. I was like, "Oh, I'm fine." Whole time, I'm just like shaking. I'm like, "Oh, I'm chilling."
Fronting off your ass.
Literally.
I'm fine.
He was like, "You good, bro?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Whole time, I'm just shaking.
You feel much better once you were performing?
Literally, every time I get on stage, it's like I completely black out. Like all that shit goes out the window.
You just gotta do what you gotta do,
Mhm.
right?
You know what helps me? Just get mad when you're on stage. Just get mad. That
I don't know if
helps.
that's a good idea. You be mean mugging people.
I literally do, bro. This one girl was in front of me, and I was like, "Are y'all fucking ready?" And I looked at her face and stared at her like this, and she was like, and looked at me. She was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, shit.
But yeah,
That's funny as hell.
I like to
Right
tee that
away,
shit
I
up.
bet she was like, "What the fuck is he on?" Right away.
Like some girls, like, I ain't gonna lie, I thought you were on some shit when you performed, but that was hard.
Did you get the digits?
Bro, they ask for the IG all the time. They never ask for the number. They're
They
like,
don't,
"What's
yeah.
your IG?"
Yeah,
Follow.
they don't. Yeah. So that's why, like, that's another thing is important for a young guy, especially if you're fucking single. You gotta have your IG on point. Miggy, you gotta have your IG on point. You can't have, like, nobody cares. Like, the pictures that you put on there that are of your family and shit, that ones that your mom would like, they don't care about those pictures. Like, you gotta put some cool shit, like him screaming at people, or like him doing some cool shit. You know what I mean? Like the lifestyle. You know what I
And
mean?
the thing is, too, people look at authenticity and like how would I say this? They want your personality. All those like selfie pictures and shit. But nobody care
gives
about
a
that shit.
About that, yeah. No
Like
one
you can
cares.
literally post a picture you standing in the street and being like, "Yo, I'm about to play in traffic, and people like literally like that shit.
That's
Bro.
my next caption right there.
Look, I feel that if you can just create authentic content for a long enough period of time, you're gonna catch a crowd.
Definitely.
You're gonna catch a crowd because there's just a lot of people that appeal to whatever you appeal to as well. Regardless if it's not gonna be majority of the world, it's gonna be a large enough crowd for you to continue to create. And you know, that's my thing. Like, we started the pod, right? And like what we were talking about before, right? Our first few episodes talking fucking boy and girl conversations constantly. And then we kind of realized, you know, let's just talk shit. Let's just bring our friends on and have a conversation, catch up, see what they're doing. You know, we want to bring people on that are doing stuff and see what, you know, get into their lives and stuff. But in reality, man, I just want to have conversations with people and
Literally.
continue that authentic conversation on and do it like that. Because that's the best thing long term, I think.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, because you know, so you have two types of people. I mean, and you see this on Insta or you see this on TikTok and things like that. You'll get people that will somebody will create something and it's running. So they'll take that idea, make it their own in a sense, and it'll come out either better or worse. So that's now start running, right? Like if it's better. So point is that you can be either the person that's creating the content or the person that takes whatever created and make it better, and that's gonna run too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's like a balance, right? Like obviously it's better to be the content creator, but if you're gonna start and nobody knows you, maybe like go that viral route. You know what I mean?
Definitely. That's how you get on. You gotta follow the trends, but
I'm definitely with fake it till you make it kind of thing, right? Like
to an extent.
To an extent, right? You gotta let yourself out at a certain point. Just, you know, you can't stay in that bubble for too long.
For sure.
So I got a question. I heard this today. I heard this on a podcast. It was PBD that asked this question. He said, "So if you take two people, right? One person is completely selfish, like 100%, and one person is completely selfless. What do you think is better for the society? To be completely selfish, completely selfless, or there's some sort of a mash percentage-wise that you would think?"
I would say there's definitely a balance. You can't be always for the people because that's how you get messed over. But you also can't be the opposite.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I would completely agree. I mean, I think when you become too selfless, people abuse it.
Well, not only that, if you become selfless, right?
Go ahead.
Then you're not gonna care about whether you smell good, you look good. Like you're just doing everything for others. You don't do shit for yourself.
People pleaser, huh?
I mean, yes and no. Because
So now, are
if
you
you're
really
selfless,
a burden on society, or are you helping the society? Because in that case,
I
when you're
don't think
completely
selflessness takes out your hygiene.
I know,
That's what
right?
I was
'Cause
just
you
about
was-
to
No,
say
because
that,
if you
because
think about it,
care
if you-
about
because
other people's
hygiene is for you
opinion-
and other people.
No,
at
no.
the
So
same
if you're
time.
100% selfless and you're doing absolutely everything for others, but you're doing zero for yourself, because that's where you're 100% selfless, right?
Not
Okay.
necessarily, but you still
Then
have
you'd be
to-
thinking my smell would impede on them,
Yeah,
so
that's
you would
what I
be.
was exactly what I
you
was
would
gonna say.
keep
But then you
hygiene.
would start doing stuff for yourself. So
But
you're not doing
So
anything.
ready?
So are you a
Ready?
bigger inherently
to please others at time, you're gonna have to keep
present
yourself
good.
to a certain standard.
But that means that you have to be certain selfish to keep that standard for yourself. So you present yourself.
There you go, balance.
Balance, yeah, right. So now here's the question here. So what's a bigger burden? Somebody that's completely selfless or somebody that's completely selfish?
Somebody that's completely selfless or selfish.
gonna be-
Selfish.
You
Sorry.
think so? I think it's the opposite. I think if you're completely selfless, you're a bigger burden on society than when you're selfish.
Elaborate.
So because then you're doing everything for everybody, your life just fucking sucks, right? Then society has to step in and help you out of this fucking rut.
Not when you're not asking for it or don't care.
You don't care, but then if other people
Society
care,
doesn't care when there's the homeless. They really usually
really
don't.
I
do not
mean,
give a
they kind of do, right? Like we create 10 cities, even though it ain't much, but it's a 10 city. You know what I mean?
Society is the combination of people, so the self would be a more burden to society instead of this active selfless
Yeah.
who's
'Cause if-
contributing to society.
So now what I
If you're
want to
selfish, you're constantly looking to swindle out of people out of their shit, manipulate and take
No,
advantage. So
here's
that
the-
would be a much larger burden, I feel.
so
I agree.
So okay, so what would be the percentage you would say you want to be selfless and then selfish? Like, well, because you have to be a
I
mix.
don't,
We're all
I don't know
agreeing.
if there's necessarily a percentage. This is the way I feel,
65,
right?
35. No.
I take that airplane
Selfless.
oxygen mask mentality. I think I need to establish a good self before I can help others.
There you go. So my
sure.
point is, when you're starting, you should probably start about 10% selfless and 90% selfish, so you can get your shit right.
I gotta put me first. All
Yeah,
times.
so once you get your shit right, you can start slowly rolling that back. Say, okay,
Yes.
now it can be 80-20. I can be, 30-70, 60-40, and then be 50-50 and whatever, right? Then let's say you reach levels of Elon Musk, and now you're like,
No,
I just
who
want to
was
do
it?
fucking philanthropy. I don't give a shit
Gates
anymore.
Gates gives away the majority of his stuff.
Yeah, because, bro, Gates. This is another.
That's what I was gonna say though, is that how you were just describing how 90-10, la da da da. Once you get up to, you got to be selfish to the point to where you become selfless.
Yeah.
And that's where the whole balancing comes into play. So you might have to be selfish at one point more than selfless, but then more selfless at a point more than selfish.
And then there was another thing he also said really cool about the podcast. So he had this friend that came over, and the friend didn't really speak English at all, but he loved to watch Bernie Mac. So every time he would come over to his house, he's like, hey, turn on Bernie Mac. And he would just put Bernie Mac on. He would sit in
who
front of
doesn't
the
wanna watch
TV and
Bernie
laugh on his jokes, right? And then he would ask him, like, do you understand what he's saying? He's like, no, but he's just funny to me, right? So his dad turned around and looked at him and said, hey, you know all these books that you're reading? If you ever want to be that happy, you need to stop doing this, reading all these books. Because only a person that doesn't know anything else about what's going on out there can be that fucking happy. And it just kind of fucking hit me, because the more I start like reading about shit, the more news I start reading, the more books I start reading, bro, the more jaded I become when I start understanding, like, even at the 1% of what humankind people are like, it makes me fucking jaded. Because it does, like, it's like, we're kind of like always like, oh, there's white and black, but no, man, there's just so much fucking gray in between, and that gray is not necessarily what you want. You know what I mean? Because gray is not always right, correct, or fair. You know what I mean? But you have to operate within that gray.
I learned that at the age of 13.
Yeah. All
like,
right, go ahead.
Yeah, as a kid, you don't really see a lot of things, and I can't speak for every kid, because there have been kids that been through shit, but at the same time, there's like, they're not gonna look and be like, oh, the dark side, basically. They're not gonna see shit and be like, oh man, that's scary. Oh, you tune that shit out. You're worrying about toys and games and shit.
Yeah.
And then when you get to that certain age, that's when you start to realize, oh, like, for example, not to get real crazy, but like, oh, my family, they're actually terrible people. Like, when you notice shit like that, then that's when it gets depressing, because you have people that are like, they just don't care. There's people out there that'll literally take your life for nothing.
I think you wake up to some people's selfishness, and it kind of...
Because, see, like, I heard this thing where he says, there's that voice says, you merely joined the dark. We were born in it. You know what I mean? Like, there's
That's
that
Bane
thing.
with Batman.
Yeah, Bane with Batman, right? So, but what I wanted to say, because before the pod, you were talking about how your dad gave you some advice and things like that. So I'm gonna assume here that you grew up with your dad, kind of like guiding you.
He was the one that taught me a lot of things. I was back and forth though with my parents, but he was mainly the one that told me what.
Like, he was the disciplinarian.
Yeah, what to look out for, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Cause like,
and you grew up with your dad, and now you're best of friends. And Miggy grew up with his stepdad, and he kind of guided him. You grew up with other male figures in your family. I grew up with my uncle as a male figure. You know what I mean? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's another study that came out. So apparently, young men now are reporting low levels of testosterone it's ever been throughout the fucking history. And they're contributing this to porn addiction, contributing this to playing video games, contributing this to being antisocial, because you kind of like just kind of are cooped up in your home and doing all these things. So they're relating this back to those things. But
open up a book.
now I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that correlation is causation, right? However, what is happening is there's literally levels of lower testosterone being reported.
So, I don't know.
Because
I would need to get this question to answer this question, I'd really want to see what my test levels are at.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay, because of my personal experience, because I play hella video games, I beat my meat, I do what the fuck I want in that sense. So, what I would like to know what my test levels at, and then maybe contribute those two things together.
So they're comparing this to, let's say, if you take football players now and football players 30 years ago, they're saying that their test levels are going to be about equal. Why? Because they're constantly in that position that they're constantly in that fight or flight mode where I'm going to get killed type of mode, because back in the days you had to kind of like fight to survive, and now they're fighting on a field to survive. So their test levels they're about the same, pretty even. Yeah. But since we gone through society and everything has become easier for us, we don't need to use our tests. We're never in that flight or fight mode. So they're
Tarkov, you can ask Alex, man. Tarkov put you in that fight or flight mode. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm be for real though. Like, just to put that in perspective, like my certain games will get my heart beat up. I mean, I'm not gonna say like I don't exercise. Like for example, today before the pod, like I think you should still have actual physical activity. Definitely. But I think video games is really good brain stimulation. Like how we were talking about this all the time. Like it's like certain kind of like a meditation.
Well, that's the thing about meditation.
My heart rate does go up a lot when I'm the second squad alive. On Apex, it fucking blows.
Great.
Or if
I don't
you're
know
like
what you just said, but sure, I'll take your word for it.
So or he's millie-whopping someone on Hearthstone.
Right? Yeah. No way, Hearthstone gets your heart beat up. Fucking card game. How about League? Does that do it? Does League do it for you?
For me,
yeah, League. I don't play League, so I wouldn't know.
Does your heart rate go up when you go out on a date with a girl for the first time?
A lot.
Does your voice go to?
Cracks.
Does it crack?
It cracks.
Yeah, sometimes my balls go into me.
But yeah, so I don't know. So these statistics are coming out. They're also attributing to like plastics in our food because everything comes in wrapped in plastic, and BPA's are really bad for you.
I did blood work less than like 6 months ago. I wonder if they like test you for that as a male. They check your test.
Well, you gotta ask for it. So when you do ask for it, you always want to ask for your levels of test, your free level of test in your body, and also your level of estrogen. Like it's important because having just the test levels is not enough. You need to know the level of estrogen as well, because your level of estrogen, if it's elevated, there's something going on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So your levels of estrogen have to be lower and your tests have to be higher, but, and again, I can tell you I'm like right at mid-range, but then since I started doing a bunch of other things, jiu-jitsu and things like that, I know that my test levels are now much higher than what they're used to be.
They say doing the cold plunge helps with 200%,
your test. 200%, yeah.
Helps with your test.
I can tell
crazy.
I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that yes, it does raise you.
It's proven.
Yeah,
long time ago, proven.
Even a simple thing, you jump in a shower, like warm shower, hot shower, whatever, and then you turn on to cold because it's much easier to bear it. Even doing that is gonna increase your levels.
Really?
I do that after the gym. That shit feels crazy, but yeah.
It does, but definitely like doing the actual cold plunge, bro. When you get in it and you're just like you know what I mean? That
shit hurts, man. That shit hurts. I've done it once. I got in for only like a couple minutes, and that shit hurts.
I hate cold water.
Did you curse while you were doing it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. So this shit was crazy, right? So we were all there, and who was it? Damaris and
myself,
and you guys did. Damaris and who was it that did it first?
It was myself and Randy.
You and Randy did it first, right? Ozzy's brother. And I remember Kieran comes in and goes, "Hey guys, there's someone in the float thing, so like try to keep it down." Bro, I kept thinking that in my head, like, all right, I'll try not to like go. Bro, I couldn't keep it back. I just started letting out like gibberish.
Yeah,
screaming.
You start shaking dishes.
Oh yeah, that too. I just started letting out gibberish, screaming that shit. It was crazy bad. Like
if you never done it, bro, you have to do it. Like
I'd probably try it, but Eddie knows, man. Throughout all my life, I don't do cold water.
This man's a pussy when it comes to cold water.
I don't do cold water.
So that was the same thing when I jumped. I jumped straight into the cold. It was unbearable. But then when you are in that hot tank, your body warms up. So when you jump in it, I'm not saying you don't feel the cold. You do, but it's not as bad. And then after the first minute or 2 or 3 minutes, like it's like your dopamine levels kick in. For me, and it's different.
So I did it.
Different. It still sucks, but it's different.
I got in the cold, and then I got in the cold for like a minute and like 10 seconds, and then I got into the hot. And then when I went to get back into the cold again, it felt a little easier. I still was only able to do about a minute or so because after the 30 seconds, the same effects start to kick in. But the beginning is a little easier at first.
Yeah. And then having somebody in there in a hot tank, you kind of hating on them because they're like in warm soup and they're all talking
like
and
literally
happy.
in a hot tub, basically, just chilling.
Damn.
Yeah, they're talking and happy while you like going. Your teeth are doing the
ticks.
Morse code. You know what I mean? SOS, SOS.
Wait, so is it like? Isn't it a bad thing though if your body temperature fluctuates like that?
No, so it's not bad. So what it does, it puts you in that flight or fight mode, and then increases your dopamine levels. And they say like, it's similar to doing cocaine. I don't know what that is.
So
Crazy.
this is what the science has bared down to and what they're basically calling it. So they have what they call cold shock proteins and heat shock proteins. Basically, putting your body in those extreme conditions makes your body go into fight or flight, like he said, and activates certain things in your body to really help you on a day-to-day basis. For example, like they have the cryo chamber at Ozzy's place, Vitality. If you guys haven't been to Vitality, you got to go check that out. Like you go to the gym, so you have to go check that out. They
so if
Emily
you do
works
it
there, my
before, it helps you build muscle. If you do it after working out,
it helps you
reduce
regen
inflammation.
And, it'll help you regen, but you're not going to get the same effects. Like for example, the same progression from your workout, because it actually doesn't. Your body isn't healing all the way naturally, and so it's not going to produce as much strength and muscle mass.
I did hear what he was talking about though, because me playing sports all my life, when you go out and you play sports, you get super heated up, whatever. I heard it's never good to like go home and take a cold shower for the most part after sports and stuff.
If you're like for long periods of time, you've been exposed to this heat, and you're basically under the point of heat stroke already, and then you go into cold. That's bad. Yeah.
Yes.
You're doing this thing for few minutes. You know what I mean? It's not nothing crazy.
Yeah. So you like, for example, Kevin and I did it in first round. We did 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and then we went 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So you kind of alternate until you hit about 15 minutes. That's most
But
you really need on average.
You don't actually, if you're doing it on a day-to-day basis, you only need to do 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
If
Or
you're doing-
once
Of
a
what,
week,
cold and
15
hot,
minutes.
or
no, just the cold.
Just
the cold. You only need 3 minutes of cold a day.
Yeah. But you can start with a hot and then finish with as long as you finish.
You have to
with
finish
cold.
on cold, and you have to make sure you naturally warm up. Like, don't jump into a sauna or nothing like that. Like,
Yo,
you have
not
to,
even like pat yourself dry. Like let dry out.
Like, if
naturally.
you're shivering, let yourself shiver out and just warm up naturally over time.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're
guys
you're
should try
basically
it.
cold for the rest of the day. Your skin will be cold to the touch
Yeah.
for the rest of the day almost. It's weird. You really do have a really cool like rush afterwards. Like so when I did it, right, the 2 minutes. Every time I got out after the 1 minute I would do, my ankles were hurting really bad, like cramping like crazy. That's why I was getting out. And the moment the ankles would go away, I would feel great. It was really, really good. But I don't know, man. That ankle pain, shit, I don't know if I could do it again. I don't know. I'll do the cryo chamber.
We'll see
That's
if I
pretty
ever
cool.
get out there. I don't know about no cold.
The you gotta
I'll do the cryo.
The cryo's not as bad. Nowhere near as bad.
No, cryo can get as bad if you're there enough time.
I did
Like
4
if you do the
and
5
some.
minutes, I've done the 5 minutes. I shiver just as much as in a cold tank.
Really?
Yeah.
I did about 4 and some. It wasn't as bad for me.
For me, cryo was just because to me it was crazy. Like the last time I did it, I wasn't getting the shiver, and then I dumped my thyroid into that cold water, bro. 30 seconds, my body started going.
You know, so I dumped my head only at the very end of the last minute I did, before I got out. I dumped my head for like 10 seconds. I stayed under the water, and that shit sucked.
But yeah, so I don't know. Try that if you know your testosterone levels are low, and if it doesn't help, then you might want to do some TRT. You know, just saying. If Navy SEALs do it, might as well do it too. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, so like those were interesting statistics that I heard today. You know, like as far as like what's going on in society, as far as like you know young people and you guys are much younger than I am, so I'm seeing this from my point of view, and you guys are seeing it from your point of view.
Test my levels.
Yeah, no, I'm really curious.
Yeah, because I'm actually going to go Thursday, get blood done, and I'm going to ask them to test my levels to see where I'm at, you know. And if need to be, then I need to go on a test replacement therapy, you know what I mean? If you have to.
Back to the music thing. Do you have like a little home studio setup that you
I
have,
go
or
straight to the studio.
you go straight to the studio? You don't have no equipment you use at all. You just always go to a studio and rent out a space, or whatever.
Yeah, because I go to 2 different studios. There's one called the Sound Gallery, and then there's one I'm gonna check out pretty soon called it's called Grand Bay Area, something like that, and that's where like the professional artists have been to, like Rod Wave. I heard even Dua Lipa, crazy,
Okay.
yeah. And then like artists like that, they got plaques on the wall and everything. They charge like 130 an hour. And then,
So,
But that's
throughout-
no engineer, no nothing, right? That's just studio space, or how does
no,
that
that's
work?
just recording, mixing, and mastering, but that's within an hour. But then you have the one that I go to. I've been going there for like 2 years now, where it's like only at 40 an hour. So yeah,
That's a big
So-
difference. Yeah.
So I know we touched a little bit on this, but can you go into more into like how does Spotify work? How does Apple Music work? How do you get your name up there into the charts?
ooh, that's a good question. Definitely promoting yourself. And then there's another thing that people don't know, where Spotify has ads that you can run on their platform. Like, it's called ads.spotify, something like that.
Mhm.
You literally set a budget. It's kind of like running ads on Instagram. You set a budget, you set a targeted audience, audience, and then so from there you spend like a daily budget of like $15 to $30. But if you go more, you get more engagement, you get more views, stuff like
I
that.
gotcha.
So yeah,
I got
basically just promoting yourself and putting yourself out there.
Now, with this being said, like, because back in the days, when I'm talking about Dr. Dre's days and Snoop Dogg days, when Dr. Dre recruited Eminem and then Eminem recruited 50 Cent. I know we had this conversation a couple of pods back, very, very briefly. Now, with these producing companies, like, from what my understanding is, and Alex knows more about this, like, the artist is not really getting the good end of the deal. They're actually losing on this, or am I wrong on this?
I feel like it's both sides. It definitely depends on who you're with, like far as like who you signed to or who's your manager, stuff like that. You really gotta like really pay attention to who you're basically giving your music life to, because you can have someone that'll put you in the room with successful people, and then you can have others where you get completely fucked. Like there's just, you gotta really know what you're doing. A lot of people. And a lot of these people, they just sign deals without even knowing anything. They're just like, oh, it's money in front of me, and they just sign. It's like, no, like that shit's scary. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So throughout you doing your music, when I ask you what has been like your favorite memory, you could say, what's the first thing that jumps to mind? Like, what's been your favorite experience doing everything you've been doing?
For me,
I don't do music. Don't look at me.
Damn, that's a good question. Because with me, I would say performing is like the most funnest thing ever.
Any performances to mind that click to you as like your favorite experience?
Definitely. The one where we opened up for Rob Banks and Wi-Fi. Because around that time, no one knew us, and the fact that they were able to show us that amount of love, it was like, damn, that's crazy. People that don't know you can show you more love than people that actually know you.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask that too. How is it in this kind of industry with showing love? Like I mean, granted, you're gonna have those people out there who hate and do this and that, but how loving is that industry?
Oof, it's definitely scarce, I would say. Because you have, like, for example, you have friends that'll see what you're doing but not really care or pay attention, and that's okay, because I get it. At the end of the day, music is very subjective, so not everyone's gonna like it.
Yeah, I don't listen to music.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so it's like, I know, like, I got friends that be like, I don't
we be
listen to that.
roasting this man every time we get in the car. We're like, you like silence, huh? Because he has a little
I literally
Bluetooth
drive
thing,
in
but he
silence.
drives in silence
I drive in
constantly.
silence.
Never.
I
puts
would go
music on.
crazy and talk to
I
myself.
literally,
I don't know how you
swear
do
to
that
God,
shit.
I literally jump in
No,
my
I
car
used
every day,
to.
and I don't ever.
That's crazy.
Every once in a like today, for instance, I
When
was
he's
at
going
home
to
all day.
Taco
I had the
Tuesday,
day
he's
off,
playing it.
and I was just cleaning my house all day, and I threw on some music. Surprisingly, but I'm just that person that don't really listen to music. I don't know.
I would literally, like, for example, I don't know why. I think I got a problem low key, but if I ride in silence for like more than 30 minutes, I'll start talking to myself. I'll start yelling. Or I'll be like, go crazy, go stupid.
So I used to do the music, and now the only time I'll play music if somebody else is in the car with me. But
That's
now,
what I try to do.
all
'cause
my
it's
ride
awkward.
is just audiobooks, bro. Like
Oh,
just
okay, you
audiobooks.
listen
on
That's very good, though.
2-speed.
That's a
On
good thing.
2-speed. I don't even do podcasts. Just audiobooks.
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah,
How you doing?
yeah. No, I don't know.
I don't know. Have you met Emily before?
I've seen her around, but I never met her.
That's my girlfriend, Emily.
How you doing? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy. You know Calvin?
Von Zelsli So I had a question for you.
Oh shit, Miggy.
What the fuck you just said to me?
Don't sleep.
So what's your music process like? Do you write before listening to the beat, or do you listen to the beat and then write?
I definitely listen to the beat then right. For example, it depends on what exact instrumental I'm listening to, and then I'll kind of just freestyle around it, and whatever I come across, I'll do it. And sometimes it's based off of like a current event or something like that. I don't like getting too emotional with music because I don't want to like hear some shit and then be like, damn, now I got to think about that shit again. Fuck that bitch.
Bro,
like it's shit like that.
That's the shit that people really like, though. For example, myself, I find myself relating to other artists, and that's why I like them.
That's a good thing though. They definitely tell us to like definitely relate to your fan base, because if you're just rapping or making music about something that's non-relatable, people are gonna treat your music as just something temporary. They're gonna be, oh, it's nice to hear, but that's it.
You know what I think is the biggest mistake a lot of rappers make when they just pick up is, or any artist, they'll fucking start buying fancy ass cars, fancy houses. They start flashing their jewelry. They start flashing their money. It's like, bro, how does a normal person that's listening to you gonna relate to you?
They're not.
They're not.
And they're not. And the thing is, a lot of times that money is not theirs. That money is a loan, basically, and people don't know that.
Yeah, but don't people do that to like build an image though?
Mm-hmm.
Like
definitely
like
build an
for
image.
instance, like a sort of way of promotion, basically.
Yeah.
So go into this more, because I didn't know that what you said. Just
Okay,
now,
so
the
from
loan.
both. Okay, I'll start with you first. So basically, I would say this. So say for example, if you sign a deal and you get like $3 million,
Yeah.
some people won't think of it as like, okay, this is a loan to fund your music. This is not for you to just spend shit, because when you spend all that, you have to pay that back.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So that's why they say when you get a loan of $3 million, you have to make music to make that money back with whatever you know what I'm saying? Whatever you make with that. And that's how you get your money's worth.
Do you get the, for instance, okay, so let's say they give you the $3 million, you use it to make your products per se, the music, and that revenue comes back in. Anything that goes over the $3 million, does that go to you? Does it go to the record deal? How is it, or does that always depend on like the contract?
So what I've heard, that goes to you because that's extra money that you've made.
Okay.
So yeah, as long as you make their money back, that's
what they care
good.
about.
But
Okay.
if you don't, there's some artists where, like for example, I heard this recently. Danny Brown, if you guys know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has his own podcast too.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to him. I fucks with him, but he's literally, he can't even make as much music as he wants to because he's in debt of like, I think like $70,000 or something like that.
Shit.
Yeah, because he fucked himself up, but shit like that can happen. It's scary.
Okay. You mentioning kind of how like the deal would be like a loan. Do you know if it works like regular loans, like where they give you $3 million as a loan? Do they get $3 million back in some, or do they just get their $3 million back and?
They have interest for sure that they're taking.
That's
out.
what I was gonna say.
I'm not
There's
trying to
gotta
shit
make
them out.
money some
Royalties
way
and shit that
somehow.
they get
Yeah.
off for that, you know.
So
you're
these
on the hook
record
for the
deals
3.
really are basically them saying like, we're gonna give you this money to fund you.
Yeah.
Plus we want some extra back, but we're basically just going out on a limb here and
Yeah.
using this money to fund you.
It's basically a business
I
loan, bro.
figured,
yeah.
Literally, this business loan. Like,
And then, but at the same time, you can choose whatever. You can choose to do whatever you want. So, like you're saying, like you can go and take this money and use it to promote because that's what they're also allowing you to do, right? Like, for example, in the sense like these buying your Ferrari, your Lambo is part of you being that high status rapper. or
Yeah,
whatever.
don't
so that's
go investing
promoting,
into
right?
Bitcoin, because you might lose all of that.
No, what I'm saying, like, so you can really
Sometimes
use
the
this money for
labels
whatever you want,
themselves will lend you like the Lambo and
yeah,
stuff like
they
that.
do that. It depends on who you sign to. That's all it comes down to. Like, they have their own rules and regulations, but for the
No,
most part,
do you have someone that's gonna, like, let's say I was a record label, came up to you and said, hey, listen, this is the deal I got for you. Do you have someone that's gonna like review that contract, make sure everything is good, or is it just up to you right now until you get there?
for me, I don't have an attorney for that, but I do have someone that has like specialties
Some
in that field.
experience,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they know
That's good.
like what they're doing, but at the same time, I'm kind of I'm like 50-50 with would I sign or not, because I would sign, but at the same time, it's like I
You
don't
wanna
know.
make sure
Does it
you're
feel
trying
like
to
you're
make a smart
selling your
move.
soul? Is that what's going on?
Not even selling my soul. It's just more of like putting myself in a fucked position.
He
'Cause,
just
like,
wants to make sure he's making the smart move.
Right. Because, for example, well, it's not really his situation, but the artist Sofago, he signed to Travis Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And once he did that, fucked his whole look up, because he went from an artist that dropped music every single day of the week to being mysterious. You know how Travis Scott is and Playboy Cardi. They like to be very mysterious.
Yeah, they barely drop shit. Like,
And once he did that, he kind of his fans got mad at him. They're like, "Why you not dropping shit?" And then, he started making things on Travis Scott type beats, and they were like, "What are you doing? I don't want to hear this shit." And it fucked up his whole image.
So in this industry per se, how easy is it to get fucked over when signing contracts and stuff like that? I'm sure it happens.
Probably
all the
to
time,
get fucked
but,
over
like,
if you're good is super easy.
If you're dumb, it's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. Like, and that's the thing. A lot of these record deals and people like that, they like to sign younger artists because they don't know what they're getting into. Like 17 to 19 years old. Yeah,
Oh shit! So they're gung ho. They see a
Yeah,
little
they're
bit
going
of
for
money.
they're going for the youngins. They're like, okay, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's stupid. Let's sign him. That's how they are.
Because they'll make their coin, and then these guys are now on a hook for the amount of money, whatever it is.
I was just about to say that once they
Yeah,
get them on the hook.
it's kind of like what Mob used to do. They didn't they will loan you the money, but they won't kill you if you're
And
not
then
returning because they want
the
you to constantly.
the crazy part is that, like, we talk about this is like, so, and we put it in perspective. It's really just a business loan, right?
Yeah.
And then the content you make is not really yours. You don't own it at the end of the day, right? It's theirs. They choose whatever the hell they want to do with it. And at the end of the day, like, a lot of times they'll try doing, like, fucking people over in the end if they end up making way more, or if they make up way less, they'll try and fuck the artist, trying to take out of their bits or whatever.
So the question here is, how easy it is organically to do that without a sound record label or
So,
these
like,
business loans, just doing it on your own.
It's like a DIY artist, basically.
Yeah.
A lot of artists are like that right now, actually. But I wouldn't say it's easy, but it definitely is possible. You can do that. You just got to have a really cult fan base. You got to have that type of, like, drive to do all of this stuff on your own. Mind you, I would tell people, get a manager, because being a DIY artist, that shit is hard. Like, you have to find, like, say, for example, you have to find someone that's booking your shows. You have to find someone that'll get you these flights, get you these,
venues, events.
yeah, all
things
of
like
that. And doing that by yourself, you're going to be stressed the hell out. Like, that shit is crazy.
Because as an artist, you want to just create, and having somebody in your corner that's going to, like, having a coach that's going to say, okay, we're going to do this now, we're going to do that now.
That was
the
a
thing.
good
You
question.
gotta find one that you can trust too, because management is another side that can fuck you.
Yep.
What was that
Bingo.
girl, what was that girl's name? She was really good. She had that white grand piano that the guy pretty much, like, her manager just took all her money. She ended up selling her piano as well.
I heard about that, but I forgot.
I don't know,
Yeah, anyway, so that
but
has
I know
happened.
people like Eazy-E, NWA, management. Fuck them.
Yeah, big time.
Question I wanted to have for you was, do you have a mentor right now that you kind of look towards? Like, if you have any, like, advice, right? Like, that you have for, like, this industry that you're in, right? With music
If not a
and stuff.
mentor, do you, like, pick up off, like, or what kind of artist do you listen to that's
Look
helped
up
you
to or
along the way?
whatever.
Yeah, like,
Your musical influence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
music influence. Yes, definitely. I would definitely say it's in multiple attributes, but I'd say ASAP Rocky, JPEG Mafia, Tyler the Creator, because he's very theatrical and he's very meticulous about his stuff, and I fucks with that.
His music videos are great.
Literally,
Yeah.
he's like, it's just crazy how he puts all of that shit together by himself. And I look up to those people in multiple ways, because it's just like, you don't see that type of stuff anymore. People are just not, creative like that. And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I do have a manager. He tells me, like, what to do as far as, like, content wise and what to look out for, and things of that, just like how to maneuver when it comes to making music. Because I'm very indecisive. I like to make a lot of shit and just throw it out there. But he was saying, like, you have to really slow that type of shit down, because if you say, for example, I make an R&B song and then I make a song that's like for mosh pits only, it's gonna throw the algorithm off, because you can't just keep making random shit here and there.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
kind of just
So it's
slowly
basically
do
telling you pick a road type of deal, and
Yeah.
then once it becomes something, then you can go into something else.
Yeah, because you can stay within a certain sound and do other genres, but you can't just say make a country song and then make a song like Skrillex, because they're like, what the fuck, like, you
Yeah.
know.
It's very difficult to, like, initially develop a style of sorts and then try and branch out. Like,
Well, that's where the collabs come in, right? Like,
Definitely, yeah.
that's where the collabs come in, where you're putting something out. You're kind of doing what you want to do, but you kind of stick to what the. Now, another question: does anyone manage your social media, or you do it for yourself right now?
Myself. I don't want to have someone manage my stuff, just because then people are gonna know that it's not me.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Keep the authenticity alive.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Yeah, they're not gonna. The moment that they try and DM you for something, they're gonna think it's someone else answering on the other end, right? So
Yeah.
But I mean, once you get to a certain point, you're gonna have to have somebody
Yeah,
manage.
you're gonna
it.
have to have that.
yeah,
for
of
sure.
course, right? But as of right now, it's best to keep it as authentic as possible, right?
so you have some musical influences. What is an artist that you would like to collaborate with?
Island Boys.
He's an island boy.
Disrespect.
Bro, how in the fuck those motherfuckers made it? That's what I want
Bro,
to know,
it's
man.
it was the Lil Pump thing, bro. It's the ignorance. People like seeing shit like that on the internet. Because funny enough, I didn't even know who they were until I saw them arguing with I forgot who artist it was. They were arguing with somebody. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? And I just watched their videos and I'm like, you got to be stupid and mad to just.
I seen them just from them getting like made fun of.
Yeah.
And that's how I started getting to know
Walking
them. I
out
was
of
like, who the hell are these people?
Impulsive, right? Seen that? They were on Jake.
But they
Logan
walked out
Paul's.
on fucking full send too. Was it?
Yeah.
No, Jake Paul shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Logan Paul. Logan
Logan
Paul's
Paul,
pause.
yeah.
But oh yeah, so to answer that question, definitely have a lot of artists that I would like to collab to. It's a hand.
But
I got a lot.
what's more like attainable as of right now?
Top 5 rappers
Top 5 rappers like right now?
Yeah.
right now.
Shit.
He already said
Yeah.
Tyler the Creator,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
A$AP
Okay.
Rocky.
I would say Tyler, A$AP Rocky, JPEG for sure. Who else? I would say Ski Master Slump God, honestly.
You said Slump God?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And okay, the fifth one. Shit.
There's so
Kid
many.
Cudi,
It's like
Kid
I don't
Cudi.
know which one. Goddamn.
I would say
Ooh,
Kid
Kid
Cudi.
Cudi.
Mm-hmm.
Kid Cudi?
Yeah.
That's a goat for me right there.
Yeah, bro. People are asleep on this man.
That
Like,
is the number one underrated artist for me that I see, right? Because you see people talk about, like, for example, there's enough people that you can go up to and talk to, like, for example, another slightly underrated artist, Kendrick,
yeah.
right? Like, a lot of people don't listen to Kendrick's music. It's not like, for example, really close to at all what is mainstream rap. But if you go to listen to Pimp a Butterfly, that's a piece of art right there, 100%. There's a reason it won the fucking, what was it, the award for that year?
Yeah.
Best rap album.
Yeah.
Damn won a Pulitzer Award, which is like a book award.
There you go.
And
Like,
that's so crazy.
but Kid Cudi is one that has even more slept on than Kendrick and is insane. And it's crazy because you go and you ask a lot of rap artists who's influential to them and they say Kid Cudi.
It's funny they say that, but then when you actually ask them what they fuck with most from him, they don't say a lot of things. They just be like, "Oh, he did this with this person. He did that."
Yeah.
It's like,
So I got a controversial one. So even though this person has problems and he's came out and said that he has mental issues and things like that, arguably he needs to be taking his medicine and he doesn't.
I already know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's about to bring up Ye.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, so Kanye is arguably one of the most talented artists out there.
You're right.
He is. Now, does he have his moments when he's off the bottle of his pills? Yes.
He be tripping.
Yeah, a lot.
I mean, if you want to say moments, you mean like the past 3 years?
Well, yeah, but the
that's
point
been
is
his
that
moment of tripping. Is
but
the past whole 3 years.
everything this guy creates, it's an instant hit.
Gold.
Not necessarily. Like the past few,
Bro,
the past
even with
few
all of his
years,
problems-
his projects really haven't been big like that.
I'm gonna say this right now. Kanye is definitely someone that I would love to work with as well. It can be from anything, production, video, all that. Because you got to think about it. This man, think about all his albums that he's released.
Yes.
They've all been hits. Like, there's no doubt about that. And when he produced the song for Drake, "Find Your Loving," the instrumental for that, like, that's so crazy. I found that out, like, I think I was like 15 when I found that out. I'm like, damn, this man's doing a lot of shit.
Yeah, because like
I
you
mean,
know when
College Dropout, like My Beautiful Dark Twisted
Like,
Fantasy,
yes.
like those have fucking like not just hits, multiple songs that were popular to the point where they just kept getting played, even to this day.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this right now. okay, I'm not comparing the two, but it's kind of like that. Like, for example, Michael Jackson's album, Thriller.
Yeah.
All those songs on there were fucking hits.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm saying Kanye did the same thing. Like, those songs was what? They were out like 10 plus years ago, and they still doing numbers. Like, that's crazy.
Well, so, you know, then you have, in my opinion, also Lil Wayne. He doesn't do anything anymore, but he
Dope.
another one. You know what I mean?
He's been
And then-
That last Carter album was fucking insane. Came out weird.
Or even if you go back, so Eminem, right? When Eminem first started, arguably probably the best. Like, I would think of Eminem as like the Shakespeare of our times, because his lyrics are just fucking crazy. And then he brings in 50 Cent that talks about his life. Again, fucking album after album that's like going platinum. Every single
his
song is hitting. You know what I mean? You know, you have really good lyricists out there that put their own songs together, and you know, and the shit happens. You know what I mean?
You know, one of Eminem's monumental lines was, "That's an awfully hot coffee pot."
The what?
Wait, what is that line pertain to?
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
About what? Okay.
But
But,
even the whole idea of like mom spaghetti, you know, like who
Mom.
says that shit? You know
That's
what I mean?
him.
I mean, I don't know if I could put him in my
At
top
the time,
five.
we're laughing.
That's
but
my personal top five. Like,
At
But
the
see,
time, we're
Eminem-
laughing, but when he said that in the booth, that shit was fire.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like these are the rappers that I mentioned that were like really before your time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think.
well, no, I'm just saying. I'm recognizing. When I think of my top five, I think of what's most influential.
Yeah.
I really do try and think of that. And then if you want to ask me my personal, like what I like top five, that's going to be a little different, right? Because of my age, 100%. Because I only consume
Because you
so much
can't
content.
deny Eminem his popularity.
There you go.
Like, motherfucker had worldwide,
Yeah.
like international popularity.
There's a handful of rap artists that you can send them to fucking Japan or Taiwan, and they
And
can
they're
walk
gonna
around
know.
and they're like, that's fucking Snoop Dogg. Right? Like that.
Yeah.
There's gonna be those artists that you can take to those places and they'll recognize them everywhere. And Snoop Dogg, Eminem, those guys
50
are
Cent,
part of
you
those.
know?
Yeah, I would
I
say.
got shot 9 times.
Out of our
no
times
doubt.
right now, one of those people who are doing that, the baby. He'll make anybody fucking dance. He'll make some.
The
high
baby
boy-
shot a
some
man
lady
in
boy dance, bro.
Walmart
He'll-
and didn't
Broad day.
I heard about
Broad
that.
day.
I heard about
broad
that.
daylight.
Ain't got away with that shit.
I ain't gonna lie. That's one artist I just cannot listen to.
The baby.
Who
Yeah.
was Rihanna's?
not-
I liked him a little bit at first, but not anymore.
Who did Rihanna get in a fight with?
I-
What was his name? In a Lambo. They're both.
Chris Brown.
They're
Oh, my
boxing each other.
goodness.
Oh my
They're,
god.
they're boxing each other. There was a whole Dana White situation there.
Oh damn. Yeah. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Chris Brown, he fights girls, but when it comes to fighting men, he needs to jump them with his posse.
Yeah. That shit with
He
Frank
just
Ocean was funny.
jumped. I think it was Usher and Frank Ocean.
Yeah,
Both
the-
got jumped by
literally.
fucking him and his posse.
That's funny.
I would say this. I feel like Chris Brown, he would have definitely been way bigger than what he is now if he didn't do that bullshit.
Yeah.
He did get canceled.
Bro,
Straight up.
bro, you know what Chris Brown would be today?
He
if
would be close
did-
to Michael Jackson in my opinion.
But do we
I,
know?
you know what I
talked
was gonna
about-
compare
he-
to? I was think he would be a little under Drake. Is what I
Yeah,
think he would be
yeah.
right now.
He
Okay.
actually
Is if
said
he didn't
something.
fucking beat the shit out of Rihanna?
But dude,
Yeah.
he could have beat the shit out of any other white girl, black girl, anything. As long as it wasn't
I
Rihanna,
don't know about that.
bro, he could have.
I don't know if it was a white girl.
His ass
Maybe
would
That's
so.
what
Right.
happened with Jonathan
Maybe-
Majors.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe white girl.
Chris Brown.
But it also would have been back then.
Would have been
and
the
then
same thing
today
if he
he
would've
might
done
have.
it.
So wait a minute. I'm
Yeah,
not taking
worse.
away that whatever he did was despicable.
Absolutely.
Beyond.
Absolutely.
But do we know that Rihanna started this whole shit?
We don't know what
Oh, we
happened.
do
Yeah,
know.
but
we
she's
know.
also-
We know.
but
We
she's
know.
also-
We know.
Shit.
We know.
But
Rihanna
we
started
also-
the
I ain't
shit.
saying
Ready?
that. I ain't
Ready?
saying that.
We
Rihanna
also
started
know
the shit.
That she's barely a $120, probably, right? So
It don't matter. She started this shit.
fuck you.
She did. Now, Chris Brown gets canceled, but Rihanna continues to do her thing. Why aren't we canceling both? This is what I want. I want equality.
You know
this
what
is
it-
about feminism. I want equality.
This is what it
goddammit.
is. It's this. Yes, they both are in the wrong for doing that, but he went too far. He literally beat the shit out of her. Like,
I
like
mean,
that's
I
where
would
I was like,
also-
For
yo.
example, you see Dana White. He just slapped his girl like 2 months ago.
Oh, I seen
He
that.
did.
Yeah,
That's
He
why I said
slapped-
it Dana White
But then guess
situation.
what? Guess what? In the video, it shows she slapped him first. He slapped her back. It's just a one slap, bang, bang. They're together. They were drunk, which is, he kind of. We're not saying it's right. Absolutely not. He
No,
shouldn't
I
have
get
slapped
it.
her.
I get it.
She shouldn't have slapped him. He should have slapped her. But everybody looked at the situation and said, understandable in a sense. In a sense,
yeah, it's
we
fair.
don't agree. We don't agree. But he beat the shit out of her.
No,
Hey,
Chris
I'd be
Brown-
mad.
Chris Brown beat the shit out
But
of her.
then Chris Brown said,
That's a whole different.
I'd be
level
mad.
he took it
I
to.
think Chris Brown went into this situation with the idea, well, equal rights, equal lefts. This was
Yeah,
gonna happen.
no, Chris,
You know,
Chris
that's
Brown
what
was
he
saying
did.
something actually because I
There
don't
was
know,
a 1-2
I don't know if
uppercut,
you guys have
you
been
know what I mean?
watching like the whole Blueface and Krishan Rock
Yeah.
situations
Oh, yeah.
and shit like that.
Bro,
I saw
don't
Chris
even
Brown
get me
came
started.
out and was
Bro, that
talking
girl-
about that shit. He
Hey,
was
I would
like,
be mad as
how come
well.
everybody was canceling me for hitting Rihanna 15 years ago and they're still on that shit till this day, but they're okay watching Blueface beat the shit out of Krishan Rock
They were
every
laughing at
week
it.
Well,
online.
Krishan Rock fucking fights back.
Nah,
She
that's-
fucking
this is-
No,
hits.
wait a
This is the
minute.
thing, right?
Rihanna fought
Wait.
back. So do you
Wait,
honestly
wait,
think?
wait,
do you
but-
honestly think if
Can I-
Blueface fought Krishan Rock, actually fought Krishan Rock would have a fucking chance?
So
Of
No,
course.
she wouldn't.
You see how she
ready?
fight?
Can we
she
can
would
we
not have a chance, bro.
Hey, I can
she
relate
can
with
fucking
can
Chris
we
Brown.
analyze
She
the
used to play
situation?
football.
There you go. This is a D1 fucking athlete. We're talking about
that's
and be-
Running.
and
Running.
She be wilding.
She was
the fuck
running
out.
track.
Yeah.
She was
You don't
running
see-
track and playing flag
You
football.
don't see Rihanna on live streams eating chicken with
That's a
my
fact.
hand.
No, Blueface said that. Blueface said that. Blueface was like Chris Brown just ended up punching the wrong bitch. The wrong bitch.
Hey, I'd be mad as well if my girl's forehead had more gravitational pull than the earth.
That's crazy.
Damn,
Yeah.
Biggie. Man, he had to
I mean,
go at
he
her.
ain't wrong.
So
ASAP
nah,
Rocky jumped
I'm not
the
gonna
track.
roast her on what she looks like.
No, I'm just joking.
I'd
You
much
two
rather-
don't get us down.
Let me
Much
ask you
rather
this.
roast her what she acts like.
What do you think is the deal with Blueface and Krishan Rock? Why is he still with that dumb bitch?
I
They
don't think he's
both they
with her
both
anymore,
light
right?
I
skinned.
think they're just used to the
They
toxic.
both light
They
skinned.
both light skinned.
What?
I think we've
That's
already.
the problem right there.
That's the thing.
Elaborate on for us.
When you so this is I pay attention to a lot of things. When you see two light skinned people get together, the couple never lasts because it goes south. They end
I
up
see what you
beating on each other, or some crazy shit happens, or somehow a random unsolicited nude comes around and is exposing them. That's just how it goes. They're crazy, and you got to think about it. Blueface, he a rapper. He gonna act the way he do.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to her. She just got crazy.
Yeah,
she went
flipped
south.
the fucking
Yeah.
switch, my boy.
Yeah, because you see what she looked like before that, all that shit,
Blueface
right?
Yeah.
She looked gorgeous.
She was an athlete, bro.
Bro, she got
was
kicked
pretty.
off. She got kicked off. What's his show? The Flagrant 2.
Yeah.
They literally physically removed her
Wait,
ass.
Oh, I
they
seen
had her
that.
on
I seen
Flagrant
that.
with Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had him on Flagrant. Flagrant
I
was
never heard about
interviewing Blueface. She was there fucking creating a fucking scene. They literally had the security
But I didn't-
remove her physically.
didn't know that
Like
was
security
Flagrant.
got picked her up and kicked her out the door, bro.
I know what you're talking about because I seen the video, but I didn't know that was that.
But he literally.
I think that's just their PR stunt, to
Could
be
be.
honest.
probably.
I love.
know.
The other day I watched. She went to one of those sneaker shopping shows, and I said she is soulmate. He goes,
Oh, I seen
fuck
that
no,
shit.
she's
Yeah,
my
her
fucking
cellmate.
cellmate. She's a fucking. She my celly.
But then there's also footage of her and Blueface on a Miami street where Blueface is literally just fucking attacking the shit out of him, like beating him, and then he pushes her, and then this shit went fucking. Oh,
So
Blueface attacked her.
He fought her. He fought her
Dad,
dad.
everything,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
There was a
knocked
whole.
his dad out.
Yeah. There was a whole thing with their family. I watched that video. They
So
were
did
on his
Bro,
ass.
they literally
talking
surrounded
about-
him and was
yeah.
just like, "You're ruining her." Yeah. Just
And
go
you
You're
crazy.
ruining
hit her,
her.
and you're talking about you hit her, and he said she hit me. He's like she hit me first. What the fuck you want me to do? I'm defending
But
myself.
he didn't really. I mean, I don't think he really hit
The
her. I
white-
think he
he-
just pushed her.
I was about to
off
say
of
it.
him.
They were saying like you put your hands on her, some shit like that.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie. If the dad got in my face like that, I would have slept it too. You ain't finna get in my face like that, bro. That's crazy.
I mean,
So-
You're good, brother.
So the thing is that when I was watching the video, I had seen that Krishan's dad was all up in his face. He hit Blueface. Everybody got in the middle of it. They got separated. The thing is Blueface ran up to him while he was walking away and slept his ass, punched him as he was walking away and everything. Yeah. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. So I want to switch the thing, and it's still about like girls and guys, and I think it kind of fits, because right now if you go out with a girl and things happen, and then the next day she decides she didn't want this to happen, now she can report you. Right?
It's talking great. About, I get what you're saying.
She can report you as
well,
great.
there, Jamal. Yeah. Don't pull out the 9.
Yeah. So she can report it as great. So what happened was I was listening to Dan Bilzerian. So Dan Bilzerian pretty much was partying with this girl, ends up passing out in his bed, and then wakes up to this girl like literally writing him. He wakes up to this, right? And the whole thing is being recorded. In his house, he's got cameras everywhere.
You're talking about Kai Ants?
No, Dan Bilzerian.
Dan Bilzerian.
Dude that be partying on the boots?
Yeah. So he's recording.
Yeah.
And then, when this whole thing happens, he's recording, and he gets up, it's like, you understand that you're lucky you're hot, right? Like, if you weren't hot, I would report you to the police right now. Like, this is unacceptable what you did, right? But shit like that, never, like, we never talk about hot. Shit like that.
I would have. Like, he actually was riding, ring.
No,
I'm gonna help you.
No, but shit like
this
that.
Bitch.
Shit like that we don't talk about. But then a girl goes, sleeps with a guy, and then she can come back the next day say, "Well, I didn't want to do it. He forced me," and now the guy's in trouble.
Yeah, Kai Cenat, on one of his, I don't know what he had. I think it was a party going on or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know how well Kai Cenat knew him or whatever, but somebody at his party ended up raping some girl or whatever, and she was going at Kai Cenat thinking that she had he had almost set it up, and it was this whole big thing, and it was crazy, but
they're all getting paid off.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
they're all getting paid off.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, because nobody wants that, because it's gonna go probably to criminal court, and nobody wants to get it there. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
That's why they say, bro, like, when you get to that certain stage of, like, your business, keep all that shit to a minimum. Because you're going to have those people that are going to try and ruin your image.
More money, more problems.
Because there's a podcast, and on this podcast, the guys have girls in a background. And the girls are responsible for, like, bringing the drinks, making sure, they give the purses to the girls, make sure that the girls are leaving. Because when something pops off, they'll literally pull out the phones and start recording. Because you never know when these bitches gonna come in and try to, like,
make a scene.
Not only make a scene, but blame you for something that didn't happen. They have recorded. The girls will literally stomp on their feet, spit on them, and things like that, and they never get in fucking trouble for that.
Talking about that video of Myron.
Yeah.
I've seen that shit. That shit was funny. He's she's screaming in his face, basically assaulting him. And he's on the phone with the police as she's doing that. And he's trying to tell her, leave.
Yeah.
And she won't leave.
Yeah. So when shit like this happens, no one talks about this. No one talks about this. No one gets these women in trouble.
Oh, no. I think that girl probably got in some trouble.
I mean, if she did, I think they would have, for clout, they would have said something about it on a pod. They're like, okay, I'm dumb and you're going to get in trouble.
Or maybe they did it as a stunt for clout.
Yeah, they don't.
But not when the girl's literally full force stomping on your foot.
Probably.
There's whole meshes of content where they just put like Bad Girls Club and shit like that, where they just put women together just to pick fights.
I think that it could have been. There's a chance that it could have been staged just for clout.
I don't know. I just think I'm not.
Reality TV is the fakest TV we have.
Literally. Basically.
No, I get that. And I'm not taking it back.
And almost anybody with like any normal sense of common sense can realize that.
But what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying that these things don't happen. They do. The good and the bad, right? Like they both happen. But what I'm trying to say is, we only do this towards men. We never do this towards women. Why?
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's
why
acceptable for them.
Why is it acceptable for them to act the way they want to act?
It's kind of like when you brought this topic up, the first thing I thought of was how they're starting to not make it as normal for women to talk to children in certain ways, because it was very normal for old women to see a child and be like, oh, if you were 18, and nobody would bat an eye. But then now everybody's saying, like, what if a guy said that?
That's why there's
Oh,
no
his ass go to
daycare
jail.
for the
Yeah.
niggas.
Whoever, any other man around gonna smack the shit out of him. Like, what the fuck are you saying, dude? That's a little girl. You know what I mean? Like, there's that same thing, right? Like,
Is it happening though?
That's
Wait, what age? You talking like on some R. Kelly shit or like?
I just
I
mean
wanna
like
pee,
I just mean
pee.
like when you're
wanna
like
poo,
we're all
poo.
men, right? So like when we were growing up and you know some fucking distant friend or whatever, your mom's friend or whatever would see you and say something a little past the line that doesn't, you know, but nobody sees it that way because she's a woman, old woman talking to a little kid. They just think it's sweet. And the woman probably doesn't mean anything by it, right? But that's just something they're saying that if a guy were to say,
It just wouldn't.
But what's
it
See,
wouldn't be
hella
viewed the
weird.
same.
Here's the question I have: why do we automatically assume that woman doesn't mean anything by it, and only guys mean
I'm
something
not saying
by
I'm
it?
not assume, but I'm saying
You know
they
what I mean?
probably don't, and it's still viewed that way that it's okay or whatever.
What it
It all
comes down,
depends.
yeah. What it comes down to is shit just different. That's what it comes down
No,
to.
and I agree
Like,
with that. So if we're gonna accept the shit is just different, then we should have two different standards, don't we?
Yeah.
And in the sense we do with
Tommy said, "I
society, and they're
just
just
live
trying
here,
to,
man.
I
you know,
just
they're
work
trying
here.
to, they're trying to regulate that as much as possible, and sometimes you're just going too far.
Yeah,
I
don't
do
know.
think both sides.
Or-
it's just
I don't
weird.
think our podcast is gonna solve that issue. I don't think anyone else's podcast is gonna solve that issue. I think it's just gonna continuously become worse and worse and worse. But I think this conversation needs to be had. You know what I mean?
I see it in the music scene too. Like, you know, girls do certain things to guys and it doesn't get noticed. But the moment this guy does something to that girl without her consent, everybody's on his fucking head.
On his dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the music industry, speaking about
I wanted
that,
to go back to music.
yeah, I was about to say that. How, I mean, you being on the male perspective, I guess you could say, how easy is it, I guess you could say, for girls to promote themselves and put themselves out there
I was gonna
compared
ask
to the
that too.
males?
Versus as a guy, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as
find it
like just
harder?
music or just like
Yeah, like getting
Getting
themselves
yourself
out there,
out there,
like, like is it? Do you?
'Cause you
find
get
it-
some
do you see it
untalented women
easier
that get
for
up there
girls
just
to
because you
gain,
gotta
like
ask them to.
recognition compared to the male.
I'm gonna say okay. So with that, I'm gonna definitely say yes because you have those. They have that, you know, leeway of like they can get themselves out there because, say for example, this guy could own a record label and he sees her attractive, boom, you can get her like that.
I
Sex
figured it
sells.
would have been like that
You don't know
because
that.
since girls, you know,
Guys got to provide value. I don't give a
Exactly.
shit.
Girls
Guys got
are
to
always
provide value.
reaping.
Period.
I don't want to say that either, but the girls
It's
who
just
do
facts.
reap off of guys' benefits and stuff like that, they need to know one guy that has resources, la di da di da, so on and so forth.
Now, I would definitely say it like that's a double-edged sword because yeah, they have that leeway, but at the same time they don't because in this rap scene, they don't take women as serious. Like they look at these women are rapping about shit like that. I don't want to hear that shit, so they disregard them. But then you got a dude rapping about the same shit, but just with his genitals, they go take him serious.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
So you think that males get taken a lot more serious than female rappers?
Yes. And I'm going to say this, like, yeah, they get taken serious, but in this thing, it's more clout-based. So it's not even about the talent anymore. It's not about
Yeah.
none of that shit.
Because
It's
you got
about,
auto-tune.
But
you know
what,
what I mean?
won't you? Okay, so I know you're saying that guys are taken a little more serious in the rap game than females, but as you said, for clout base, in my head, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be easier for girls to get more clout than males just because
Yeah,
of the male
definitely.
audience?
Yeah.
Well, I know what he's saying. He's saying if she's sucking the right dick, she'll get the clout. But if she's sucking the wrong dick, this just not gonna happen.
She's just sucking dick at that point.
but not like,
Fucking dick for no reason.
it's easier for them, but it's also hard. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
like,
I get that.
Yeah,
'cause-
they got benefits and drawbacks on both sides.
yeah, they can, like,
It's easy to get popular, but
Yeah.
hard to get like for people to actually like you.
But listen, I'm sorry, bro, but like, there's not a lot of female rappers that are good that can keep me entertained with their music. They're
Oh,
just
they can
not.
keep
They're
you
just not.
entertained.
You haven't heard Young M.A.
Listen,
ooh.
I don't care who Young M.A. is. I'm pretty sure. She's
Nah,
not
she
gonna
one
be
of
that
us.
good.
What you talking about?
I heard her little Brooklyn freestyle a while back, and I actually fucked with that shit.
Yeah, see, you got the female artists that can rap. I fucks with that. But when they just talking about like
WAP?
saying the
My
pussy,
booty
the
hole
ass
is
and shit.
brown.
Yeah, it's like,
Are you talking about that stupid clip in
I'm out of town.
in a wig shop? Are you talking about the one in the wig shop when
Well,
the girl,
I haven't seen no music video or
Yeah,
nothing,
yeah,
but
I know you're talking about. Yeah,
it's been going around everywhere where she was like, "My pussy pink,
my booty hole brown.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Is that Coil Roy?
No. Is that corduroy?
Yo, who was it that sang that song?
That
Oh,
was
I don't know.
some upcoming artist. She went crazy.
Watch it be Corduroy.
No, it
Funny
definitely
as
wasn't
fuck.
corduroy.
But see,
Corduroy
like,
is that whole,
try
like,
putting out as a guy.
gorgeous
Try putting that
players,
shit out yourself.
Oh,
Say,
saying that same shit.
your dick is this color and your butthole is that
They could be
brown.
like,
And what
yo,
will
this
happen?
nigga
I
weird.
mean, Little Dicky spent how long of his career just
Dicky.
talking about his dick?
Yes, satirical
I
rap.
I
he
watched
did
his
it.
show. Yo, his show is actually
His show's
decent.
funny.
Yeah,
His show's funny.
His show's decent. I like that shit. I don't know. I watched. I think the 3 seasons out of like the 4 or 5 that he had.
Now, okay.
My dick brown.
So, question with the music, I asked you about like, you don't really have any of your own equipment, but are you knowledgeable on like any of the stuff? Like, for example, like what, like kind of microphone as an artist you prefer, or anything like that? Because I know stuff like that. Like certain artists will want certain things. Or
Yeah. I feel like I haven't
different
gotten to
equipment.
that stage yet because me, the type of person, I don't care. As long as you mix and engineer my shit correctly, we good. Because, like, a lot of times I'm just rapping or yelling, so it doesn't matter. Like there's people that made it off of distorted, mixed horribly ass songs, and they're up there. Like, it matters, but it doesn't at the same time. Now, I definitely feel like it's different back then because, back then they cared about the energy and the presence and shit like that you brought. Now, it's like we have nerds in this shit now. Like, when I submit my songs to like Submit Hub and playlist, creators and shit like that, they're always like, I don't really like how that snare sounds on this. I don't really like. It's like, bro, I didn't even make the beat. What are you talking about? Like, it's a song. Do you like it or not?
Can they fix it?
You can, but it's just too much time. The song's already out on all platforms. I'm gonna, release it again.
See you later. Have a good night.
So that makes sense. But they're like, well, I don't like the snare. Are you talking about those that sit there nitpicking shit?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and on TikTok too. Everyone they can comment anything they want.
Yeah.
Like I put a video up and I was like, hey, I put out this album, so and so. Comment what you think about it. And this one random dude was just like, oh, I like your beat selection. It's really hard, but I wish you were like really harder on your lyrics and you delivered more on your hooks. And I'm like, I
What the
get
fuck
that.
you talking
yeah, I'm
about?
like, you don't even make music. Now, I was going to do some crazy shit and just send him all the instrumentals and be like, let me see what you can do. But then I didn't want him to be like, oh, I don't do that shit.
Well, he doesn't.
Yeah. But
You know he doesn't.
I don't really say anything offensive back to him. I was just like, I fucked with that. I appreciate it. Anyways, next. Like,
Yeah.
shit like that.
So, like, I look at it this way. You know how they have that Rotten Tomato rating on movies? It's all the people that never became producers that are out there fucking rating the movies, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they do.
The
With
wannabes.
Rotten Tomatoes is really good actually because they have an audience score and then they have their like actual reviewer score that they have people that are
And that
legit
never
for that.
aligns.
No, they don't usually match that well. And if it's high, it's high, but also like the audience will a lot of times can enjoy things that like these movie reviewers.
You know
don't.
what I've noticed on Amazon
I
Prime?
don't know. I watched Fast X, and I agree with the Rotten Tomato score
How
more
bad
than
was
the
it?
audience
Listen,
Very
score.
bad.
Fast X is not supposed to be a Shakespearean masterpiece. Fast X is you go there.
It's a superhero movie.
Yeah, you watch
Basically.
fast cars.
They
you
went
say how
full Marvel.
unrealistic this shit is. You know what I mean? And you call it a day.
But-
It's the modern Power Rangers or some shit like that.
You know,
Yeah.
from us creating this content and stuff, from what I've taken with the whole comments thing, man, is I'm not reading nothing anymore.
Bro, we read all the hate comments. They be talking the most shit.
That's
and we
gonna
just
get
be
you
laughing
that
at it.
getting mad on a stage.
Oh no, I laugh at it. But that's okay. This never happened to me, and God forbid. But there's been artists where they get on stage and people just straight up boo them. And I don't know. To me, that shit is fucking hilarious. If someone booed me on stage, I'll just laugh because it's like, it's like fuck. They don't like me.
motherfuckers gonna stay here and listen to this shit.
Yeah, right.
So
I got you now.
there's this. Okay, so there's this one show we did. We opened up for Cupcake. Do you know who that artist is? You know Cupcake? She made that song "Hump Me," "Fuck Me," "Daddy Gonna Make Me Choke." Like very nasty satirical rap. So we opened up for her, and there's this guy. He goes by Jake Adams Raps. He was just telling us a whole bunch of bullshit, like, "Yo, I'm going on tour, Tory Lanez, and all this bullshit like that." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever. We don't give a damn." He gets on stage and he's like, "Yo, everybody, turn the fuck up." Everyone's in the back just not paying him no attention. He gets so mad. He's like, "What the fuck? You guys gonna like just fucking me like that? Like, come up here, bro. Jump." Like, telling people to jump and shit. People are just like, "I don't fucking know you. I don't care." So you got people like that with egos like that. You know, they get hurt when people don't like them. But I feel like you shouldn't care about shit like that. You just gotta do your part, and whoever fucks with you, You know
They're
what I'm
gonna,
saying?
yeah,
pay
it's gonna
attention to
filter
that.
out. It's gonna filter
Right.
out.
Y'all hear about Lil Wayne
No,
What
what is
shutting
it?
down his
Oh, yeah,
concert
I
because they
heard
didn't
that.
fuck with his Young Money crew?
Yeah,
That's
he's new
crazy.
artist and shit.
Well, Lil Wayne can. At this point, he's got so much money and so many fucking
But that's pretty
things.
fucked up. You know what I
He
mean?
showed
Like,
up
you go out
3
there
hours
watching-
late.
Yeah.
Then people didn't fucks with his crew, and he was like, "Nah." He came out. He was like, "Nope, we're done,"
I ain't
and
gonna
then
lie.
just left.
I think that's a boss move because you don't give a fuck.
But the thing is, I ain't gonna lie. To be fair,
That's just fucked up to all the people that spend all that money to go
yeah.
out there. And
When he made that tape though, that Young Money tape, I ain't gonna lie. A lot of those artists were ass. Like, if it wasn't for Drake, Nicki, and him, and I forgot the other guy, but if it wasn't for them, I wasn't listening to that tape.
yeah,
Just to be real.
When did this come out? Was it after his new album?
Oh hell no, that shit
A
old.
while ago.
So
That shit old.
do you think Drake? Because right now they're saying Drake is it. Like he's
He's at the level that nobody can top.
yeah. Do you think that's true?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny up there. I ain't gonna lie. He up there. He
But
right.
I think
fucking
he
there.
dropped.
damn. You know that's funny.
I think he dropped the ball
find
with
it
the
funny that
Kardashian
you-
sister on
I
that
don't know
one.
if you consume Bad Bunny's music or like Latino music, but that's funny you recognize that as an American. You know, that's
Well,
crazy.
The thing is-
listen.
Okay.
I
go
think
ahead.
he dropped the ball with Kardashian's sister after all those videos that came out in a
Oh,
basketball
whatever.
game.
I'm not even paying attention to that shit, bro. Who
Yeah,
gives a
like-
fuck?
Yeah, he
girls.
dropped the ball because Drake be fucking some bad bitches, and he can't even pull a Kardashian sister.
All the time he thought about marriage.
Bro, he can pull whatever the fuck he wants. He's Bad Bunny. What the
Literally.
fuck
Well,
you mean?
not a Kardashian sister.
Wait, what?
Bro.
What do you mean?
He
I
just
thought that
went.
was together. What happened?
No, he wasn't. She literally like dissed him on a fucking basketball game.
No.
I mean,
And he
Drake.
was running around
Even his
after
baby
a couple
mama
of
don't want to be with him. So you
That
know.
is true. She's a porn star, ain't she?
Damn.
That's
Who's
crazy.
Bad Bunny's baby mama?
No,
No,
Drake.
Drake's.
Drake's baby?
Yeah.
Well, Drake's got how many fucking kids?
Only
Just one.
one that I
One
know of.
That we know.
I know, right?
Only one
But he
of
had
those.
what,
With
45 diamonds,
Drake?
Nicholas?
I can like
He
his
got a bunch of
music,
them hot sauce
but you
kids.
have to think that this is mass produced by the people that know it's gonna like hit.
Yeah.
Like he's not writing his lines. He's a
Yes.
performer.
Yes.
Literally.
He wasn't running through the six with his woes. He was on Degrassi pretending to get shot in the back, you know?
Handicap
Like-
wheelchair boy.
Right? Yeah, like, you know, so like there's a caveat when it comes to Drake cuz I like some of his songs, but also like he kind of tries to give off that like I'm a thug. And
Yeah.
with his newer one, like,
he's
you
from
know,
Canada.
what 21,
First
what
of all,
you
let's
gonna
just start
do
with that.
something for me?
I ain't gonna lie. That thing he had going on when he was trying to do that Jamaican accent, I was like, cut that shit out. 'Cause you're not that. Like, what the fuck?
He's trying to just rebrand himself over and over
The Young
again.
things, you know?
But see, but here's the thing. We can talk all the shit we
At
want
least
about
it's not
Drake.
Chet Hanks.
Shaky
Right,
warrior.
We could talk all the
He
shit
that-
we
he
want
that dude.
about Drake. Drake still got the clout. He still got the influence. He still got
You got
the.
nothing on him.
He still
He
makes
is
the
him.
money. He's still smashing all the fucking bitches.
Drake right now is him.
Bro,
when it
yeah.
comes to,
You
know.
seen what he hit? 800, I think 800 million or billion. One of 800 billion, I believe, streams on Spotify.
God,
There you
damn.
go.
I'm like, no. They said no other artist has hit that.
800
I'm like,
billion.
that's-
That means if every person on the planet Earth listened 100 times to the same song, that would be 800 billion.
They probably did.
In
Like,
a world, every single person, child, grown up, old, young, don't matter.
like,
Think
it's
about it.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, who creates? It's the same thing with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny's not a good artist. He doesn't have any vocals at all. If not auto-tune, I don't know what the Bad Bunny would be doing. He's just a performer.
And I like his music. I can listen to his shit, but me personally, I like Sad Boy Loco. If y'all know what that is,
Sabo Loco. No, I don't.
you know Sad Boy Loco?
Oh, Sabo Loco. No, I still don't know.
Damn, he's like a Mexican artist. He works with YG and them a lot. He raps. He's like street rap, but he's pretty fucking hard. I fucks with him.
No, I don't know. Yeah, but I talking about Mexican music, I know Mexican music has been picking up, and I think part of that is because people using the music for the reels on TikTok, and they're using the reels for Insta, Facebook. You know what I mean? I
Can
think
you?
that's what's
So, I'm looking at this chartmasters.org for like biggest artists ever,
Yeah.
and they have Drake all the way at 43. It looks like here.
who's the number one.
Number
Probably
one
gonna go Pac, Biggie.
is gonna be the Beatles,
Beatles.
and then Michael Jackson at number 2. Elvis, you got Queen at 4. Madonna, Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, Sinatra, Elton John,
I figured
Led
he big as
Zeppelin.
fuck.
Eminem
I mean-
is number 11. That'll
What
be
did I
the
say?
first.
He's the first rapper right now in that top 10.
Yep. Well, he's number
Only
11.
rapper.
Number 11.
Well,
Drake
whatever.
is number 11?
He's the first rapper on that list.
Eminem is number 11.
Oh, Eminem.
Drake is number 43.
What the hell? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
See, I
Let's
told
see.
you,
Is there any
Eminem
other
is-
rapper? Let me see. In between him and Drake, Eminem and Drake. No. There's no other rapper. So
I mean, T-Pain said that Drake's cornering the simp music right now, so
the simp music.
I mean,
Yeah.
Simps run the economy, right? Like Twitch is
They call
Twitch
that.
is all. If
they also
not Sims,
call-
Twitch would not exist.
Yeah. They
You know
also
what I mean?
call Drake's music light skinned people music. Like light skinned. But I'm like, that shit, I still listen to it though. He like, his shit
fuck with
hard.
Drake.
Yeah, right.
What's your?
I mean, Elvis, I think, also needs that caveat because, you know, he stole most of all of his music from the black community. So
Yeah, I ain't gonna.
I don't think he should be on that list.
Yeah, but
There you go.
that's true. But then he was able to capitalize on it. That's how the world works, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah, everybody been.
everybody
That's how
been stealing
TikTok
shit.
works, too.
Yeah, yeah.
I seen it.
Well, here's the thing about TikTok. Do you honestly believe that like all those impressions that people are getting, it's organic? I don't know if it's totally organic on
It's
TikTok.
half and half.
I think it's just a bunch of bots that are like pushing the content.
I feel like when you do the boost thing, I definitely feel like that shit's botted. I don't
Yeah.
care nobody said that shit is botted.
Yeah.
I feel like it is.
I realized I look on the past week or so. I've looked on a couple like Instagram pages, and I noticed when I go to them, and it just says automatically 50,000 followers. I'm like, that's so fucking cap, bro.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
Bro,
cap.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I cannot believe that shit. No way.
I'm so glad you brought that up because clout is one hell of a drug. It's good thing that you have a good presence to show people that okay, people genuinely like your stuff. But I've come across a lot of artists that are literally either below me or at the same level as me, and they'll have like 270K followers.
Oh no, those are bots.
And their engagement is terrible. Like,
That's a bot.
yeah.
That's
So this
bot.
dude he followed me. He's like, "Yo, focus on my shit, bro." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I go to his shit. He posting next to cars and shit. His likes is like 75 likes, but he has like thousands of followers. I'm like,
Yeah.
How?
That don't
Not
make
enough,
sense. Yeah.
right?
yeah.
That don't make sense.
Yeah, so I'm just like, and then the music. That's the thing. The music does not help your case. If the music is not good and you have all these followers, okay, you bought that shit. I'm gonna just
Yeah, so a lot of people do that shit. A lot of them do that shit.
Yeah.
And I think, with Instagram is like, fuck it. You want to buy it, keep buying it. And then now you can pay me another $15 to get your blue check mark. You know what I mean? A month. So they were smart about it.
And you know what's crazy? A lot of those artists too, they buy their streams. You can buy your streams, but that shit's dangerous because if you do that, Spotify's not dumb. They read up on that shit and they know where your music is being streamed from. And obviously, if you got fucking 300,000 streams in
Coming
Belgium,
from
they're
Bali,
like, "What the hell?" Ban.
Bangladesh.
Yeah,
It's
they'll shadow ban your whole like streaming account. That's crazy.
Yeah, because that's what it is. It's like a lot of Indonesia, Philippines,
Yeah.
they're sitting on that.
If it's a country you've never heard of or can't even pronounce, yep, they're fake.
Yeah, it's all these bot farms.
Yeah.
It's literally all it is. Reminds me of the GPU farms. Like
So
big
I
ass
know there's
GPU
in
farms.
this community. I know there's you gotta have because a lot of the famous people, that's how they kind of became famous. But you have to have a balance in how many of those bots you're buying and
Travis
what's.
Scott?
Yeah, well, like there's gotta be a really well balanced amount. Somebody that's actually keeping up with this, and they kind of know how the algorithms work and how this whole thing works. Like, because it changes on a monthly basis, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of have to like adjust the number of likes and views that are being bought because you
Yeah.
can't just push it because Instagram will shadow ban you for that too. They'll
Yeah.
start with shadow ban and then they'll completely ban you off, right?
They did a sweep. I forgot what year this was, but they did a whole sweep of like if your followers were fake or you had ghost followers.
They did.
They
Bunch of
knocked
people-
all that shit off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bunch of people fucking woke up to like missing
Yeah.
tens of millions of fucking followers overnight.
But yeah.
But the cloud is where it's at, especially like if you're a dude. I think that's where I don't think it matters for a girl as much.
If you look
know.
good, they don't give a damn.
Yeah.
They own
So,
you.
I remember we were talking about Ye earlier. I saw that they basically are trying to, I don't know if it's withhold something about $50 million that Adidas has.
I seen that.
That's complicated with Yeezy, right? And they tried basically keeping this money in a legal way, but they didn't give Yeezy a fair chance to like rebuttal in a sense, in the legal sense, and so they're actually going deeper into court with this. But yeah, something about $50 million and that shit's crazy. Ye is fucking insane.
How much money is he gonna spend to get the 50 back?
That's another question, right? So now that Yeezy is like completely separate from Adidas and its own entity, and he's starting to like open up stores. Have you guys heard of that? I think he's got a store in California, right?
Yeah, right next to it.
right.
Yeah.
So right. Like one of the main stores in Cali, like this is one of the main Adidas stores. That's fucking insane.
Well, he opened the Yeezy store.
Yeah, he opened like a Yeezy store.
But he also fucking wore what do you call it?
That's
shin
exactly
guards.
what I was. And he was wearing shoulder pads. And then
what the fuck he got going on?
There's
Oh,
speculation.
did you see what he was wearing on his feet though?
Them blue socks?
Some socks.
Yeah, he was walking around with socks. He had socks and shoulder pads on.
And
Are you talking about with his new fiance or whatever?
Yeah.
Well, he had.
No, those
shin
aren't
guards.
socks. Those are like rubber
Yeah.
feet things.
It looked like
They're like silicone shit.
Yeah, but then he also had fucking shin guards, like the
Hers
multi
looked
shin
like
guards.
that. But his
to
didn't. His
go
was
to
like
his
socks.
local Parks football game.
No, there was another day. That's a separate picture that you're talking about with the
So,
shin guards.
did you guys
One
know
time he
this?
was with shin guards. But I was gonna say that they're speculating. I thought that was fucked up, bro. So fucked up.
Did
It's
you
funny
know
'cause
this?
you
He's
saw they're
already engaged
pretty.
to this girl.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
You know why?
No.
I don't even care.
Any guesses?
But they were speculating that he made her wear that bandana on her face because they're making fun of her because she looks like Pete Davidson.
Oh, I've seen that. I
That's
thought
so
they were
fucked up.
so
That's
they're
so
engaged.
fucked
I
up.
thought they like got married
do
in
you know
private or some
why
shit.
he's engaged to her so quickly?
No.
He apparently doesn't believe in premarital sex. That's why he's engaged to her so quickly.
Oh, I think I seen something.
He
like
is
that, but I
mad
Why
Christian.
the fuck you lying?
Yeah.
Why you always like get the fuck out of here?
But they are married.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're married. I
that's what
thought
I thought.
already.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah, they're married. Yeah,
Shit, I would say
she does not look like Pete Davidson, bro. That's a fucking model. How are they gonna compare it to
No.
Pete
I
Davidson?
saw a picture.
So
that they
there's
fucking
been
edited.
a dark
Photoshop
doctored
that shit.
picture going around. Yeah.
Doctor picture. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Yeah,
saying
that's
they're
not-
that shit was funny.
speculating. It's bullshit. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah,
I
the-
seen some shit. It was
yeah.
like,
See,
Kim
because
K had
you
Pete-
got a bunch of fucking white girls.
His own Pete Davidson.
Because you got a
That's
bunch of
crazy.
white girls that love fucking Kim Kardashian and her ho-ho-ish ways, you know what I mean? And they consider that as a success symbol, you know what I mean? And so Kanye obviously is getting canceled, and you know what's gonna happen? Kardashian is gonna go up, right? Like that's their whole business
Hey,
model.
Kim said that the things that Kanye does to their children on a daily basis will fuck them up more than her porn video.
Well,
I agree.
That's a
Maybe-
far stretch statement,
maybe-
and it's like reasonable at the same time. Like you could actually
yeah,
argue that that's
I
true.
can see Kanye do some shit because he's crazy, but then also, you know, Kim wants money.
Wait.
She wants to keep
Ready?
the kids.
I'm sorry. There's no other you really have to break that down. Okay, she had a sex tape with Ray J, right?
that shit was fire, by the way. I just watched that shit.
That shit was fire.
Oh my god.
TMI,
Miggy.
Miggy, TMI.
It's all right, Miggy. It's all right. We're all men.
He has it saved in his tool bar.
What's it called? So
never
he
seen
got
the video.
fucking.
He's got the
motherfucker.
VHS under his bed.
That's crazy.
Think about it, right? So that's a sex tape, right? That's pretty bad, right? At the end of the day, it's kind of like you're going to school. Everybody knows your mom's Kim K.
Your mama did that.
I seen your mama sucking dick last night.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they gonna run up. They gonna run up to you and be like, look. I mean, I'm sure that's not gonna actually happen, right? And that's horrible. Kids
You
are,
never
and
know.
we all,
Yeah, but
you never
people
know.
are
You never
fucking
know. People are
mean,
fucked
bro.
up, especially
Yeah.
kids. Kids are mean, and that is really fucked up if they do that.
Think
right?
about it. Us in middle school. You think
Yeah.
we was gonna let
Yeah.
some shit slide like that?
Shout out.
You
Boy,
are
your
not
mama's
getting
son of
away with
shit.
that.
Bro, I'm glad you brought him up because still to this
Rashad.
day he hits me up randomly and says some bullshit.
He still do that little.
Bro, he just yesterday he texted me. He's like, "Yo, you still living in your mom's car?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
That man's funny as shit.
Oh, were you making jokes about each other? Oh,
Yeah.
So-
we knew some dude back in middle school,
Didn't
and
go for it.
he was like, he would just make fun of people. He'd roast people, and every time he'd roast somebody, his little thing, he'd always be like, "Boy, you look like da da da."
It's kind of like Alex when he's like gets
Yeah.
excited. He goes like this.
He would piss off the middle school art teacher.
Oh, Miss Dubin?
Oh,
Yeah.
Miss Dubin was fucking. Yeah.
Oh, I told you, but we don't care.
Didn't he put an egg or some shit on top of the roof? And then,
Did we all have Miss Dubin?
Yeah.
Did you have her?
He did that, and then
Bro.
he
That's
That's
also.
when I found out I
Ready?
had glasses.
Let's. I got good stories with Miss Dubin because I.
Oh
So
my God,
you
that
guys
was rough.
remember Matthias, Matthias, Big Boy,
Oh yeah.
or was it Matthias or? Fuck.
His name's Matthews.
I think it wasn't Matthias. It's he actually used to live right here next to Gladden Park. He's another big black kid. Fuck. We went to high school with him.
With the high
It
school?
wasn't Matthias, but it was.
I know who you're talking about.
Fuck, what was his name? Anyway, there was this big black kid I had with Miss Dubin, right? And it was at the end of the day, and she used to always get in arguments with this kid. Like, she was so fucking stuck up. Like, if she didn't have all her markers at the end of class, she wouldn't let you go.
She was spaz.
She would fucking go crazy. This teacher would put herself in the closet and scream.
She threw a chair at a kid.
Yeah.
This shit, right?
Y'all motherfuckers pissed.
She used to
the
try
fuck
to make
off
us
her,
scream.
huh?
Come off the
And
bottom.
it's
of the
actually a
table.
good thing I don't remember this kid's name because the story I'm about to tell. He actually one day was so, because he used to argue with her a lot. He was so fed up, he took a BB gun to school one day to scare her. And they found his ass with the BB gun before he
That's
could get to
some
that
dumbass
class.
shit.
And I remember thinking like, oh, it's going to be a calm
Stupid.
day because he's not in here today. And then the next day I found out that's because he fucking took the BB gun to scare her. Bro, that teacher was fucking crazy.
No, she was. She also told my old friends that they were going to be garbage men when they got older. And then one of them responded and was like, well, they actually make more than teachers. And she was like, get out!
Some Biggie
That's
Smalls
exactly
type
what she
shit.
was trying to say too.
I'm gonna make $4,000 more than your dumb ass.
Yeah, but and another thing I heard on a podcast that like blue collar jobs apparently have been skyrocketing.
Bro, probably because of the whole immigration shit though.
No, it's because a lot of the parents go into these colleges. You know how they'll go to the college to do the walkthrough, and apparently a lot of the colleges within 5 minutes, first 5 minutes, like, oh, by the way, we're very inclusive, and if you want a gender reassignment, it's available for you to you, and you know we have hospitals that will take care of that for you.
What?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's completely wrong. So blue collar jobs are coming up into fashion because back in the early 2000s, around the Bush era, they wanted to make a lot of money off of colleges. So I don't know if you guys remember it. No Child Left Behind passed and
Yes.
all this stuff because they wanted to mill people from high school into college so that they can make money
Yes.
instead of going to direct to the workforce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we've hit a point where the college degree isn't even worth a damn anymore. You get a bachelor's degree, it's barely worth what it was,
Damn.
60 years ago.
Well,
So we are also seeing that we need a higher demand in these because of a lot of our jobs are coming back from globalization. So we need more blue collar jobs. That's why we're seeing the higher rate of blue collar jobs.
okay, fine, but at the end of the day, those
Has
college-
nothing to do with
God
gender
damn,
assignment.
that I heard that thought and I go, fuck, that's far fetched. Holy shit.
Well, the
God
point
damn.
here is not only that. There's more to it. Y'all didn't let me fucking finish my thought. Second thing was the college tuition has went up incredibly high, and the problem is when you were saying it's not worth a damn. I do agree with about 90% of the professions that you'll get in your college, but then there's that 10% that's worth it, such as engineers, fucking somebody that's in tech, whether it's computer languages, engineers, doctors, lawyers.
I mean, with those, you usually get more for doing like certifications than actually a college degree.
Yes.
Like it might be a good thing to get you in, but college degrees are really looked upon on resumes as I committed to this for this amount of time, and that's what they're looking for.
But when somebody goes into a fucking liberal arts degree of weaving baskets, nobody give a shit about that degree just because you like to weave baskets and you get
Or
into
how
weaving baskets.
psychology is,
or the drama, or the fucking.
Or they
going into-
become famous
But-
rappers, artists, and actors, because a lot of those went to liberal arts high schools, colleges, and they were being able to expose and explore their art.
I thought it was crazy.
That's true, but what's the percentage of those people making it? That's what you have to look into.
What's the
very low
percentage of
because
millionaires,
nobody really makes
billionaires? Like,
Well, no, right now they're
Athletes,
they're
all
talking
that
about Elon Musk hitting Elon Musk becoming the first trillionaire. So millionaires are pretty common now, and billionaires are also becoming a little more common, which is, again, very small percentage of the population. However, Musk is pushing the $1 trillion now. So what I'm trying to say is there was a very good 2020 on this, right around that time where No Kid is Left Behind came out, and they straight up said, unless you go in straight up engineering, doctor, lawyer, into these STEM science professions, don't go to college, because the chance of you becoming this famous rapper, the chance of you becoming this famous actor are very, very slim to none. Or becoming Broadway dancer, even if you do become a Broadway dancer, the chance of you making money there is very, very slim. So the bottom line is parents are paying ton of money for their kids to get really no degree, or get something that's not going to provide money. And that's another reason why they're like, well, I know my uncle, after 5 years becoming a plumber, you can make $150,000. You know what I mean? This is another thing that's happening too. So I don't know, but college did good for me. I can't complain.
So, question for you, my guy: you keep up with anybody else from high school at all, or even Tyrone at all? Or you guys remember Rashad now?
I still see a lot of people, and I see them doing anything. The only person who I'd say I would talk to here and there is remember Michael Remick?
Yeah,
him. Cameron Richardson, he doing his thing.
Yeah,
and
we were just out playing softball the other day with him.
Oh yeah, that's dope. It used to be Tyler Howard, but that shit.
I work with him.
Really? Oh my god.
He's still the same nigga.
Oh yeah.
So what? Okay, I got a question. What's the deal with the American Psycho tattoo?
From the movie.
Okay.
American Psycho, yeah.
I don't want to make that connection, but that makes sense. Yeah. And then you have a naked girl in this one, and then you have a clown face on the other one.
No, it's Leatherface.
Leatherface.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the Nun. They're all horror movies.
Oh yeah. See.
Wait, that one too?
No, this is just vampire. I seen it on the picture and I was like, I like that. I'm gonna get it. But
Okay.
Yeah. This is kind of like impulse. I low key wish I waited, but
So another cool thing, another interesting fact about it, because before the podcast you said you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't do any of those things. What made how come you never got into it?
That's a good question.
yeah, that's a good question because everybody around me was on that shit. I just felt like there was no purpose. Like I could not to sound cliche, but it's like I
respect that a lot.
I could be lit
actually.
without that shit. Like I can laugh. I can fucking.
Some people don't need it to have fun.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. I tell that to everybody about drinking and smoking and everything. Like it's just something that has to be for you. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't see a difference between not drinking or smoking, what I was before and what I am now.
Shit.
I mean, for me as who I am and with smoking and drinking, I can't say it had no effect on me. I was two different people. But the thing is I was around a lot of influences when I was younger, so I picked up drinking and smoking since little. So it's kind of hard for me to be drinking and smoking has affected me this way. And if I would have never did it, I probably would have been different. But I mean, I don't know. For me, I've always just done it just because I enjoy doing it. I just it's me.
All right, alcoholic.
I respect it. I fucks with the culture and all that shit like that. It's cool, but I just don't do it. When people say that I don't, they automatically assume that I just hate people that do it. They're like, oh.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, not you. I'm just saying. There's people in the past that'd be like, "Oh, so you don't like this shit."
But I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's your thing. You do you, boo. You know what I mean? Who am I to tell you what to do? You know what I'm saying? If you ask for my opinion, I'll tell you what I think is right thing to do. But you continue to do what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every one of us has our own path.
Yeah. Some people don't like being altered with either. Some people would like a clear head at all times.
That's
24
me.
Hours a day.
That's the reason I don't like to smoke or drink, because the level of fun, I have just as much level of fun, but that whole I feel not in control. I don't like that. I don't like that feeling of not being in control or making decision emotional decisions. You know what I mean? I'll make emotional decisions. I don't like that.
You know what I think is a cool thing though is that sometimes the drinking or smoking can make what could be probably a boring time into a good time, into a little bit of a better memory. It can also do that. You can't see. It also can do the opposite. So.
It's funny. Oh damn, this is finna get dark. But
yeah, bring it. This is what I'm talking about.
Not me being drunk, but my previous significant other and her friends, they were all drunk, and they kind of got into a little truth or dare game, and they're like going around being petty and shit like that. And that's how I found out I was being cheated on.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
No way.
That I
Fuck
say
that hoe.
for real. It's crazy because like when I found out, everybody looked at me with a side eye and was like, "Oh shit," and I'm just like, so I'm just like,
Wait, so I don't want to go into it. Never
no,
mind.
go ahead. We here. Come on, let's go.
He's like, I opened the
I
door.
like
You
that.
know what I mean?
No,
I welcomed everyone
Come
here.
in the room. Come in the
I don't
room.
give a damn.
I can already picture myself just sitting there. I'm uncomfortable.
Literally, bro, I was just like, damn. So what do I even say right
So she was drunk and just like
Emotional
out of it, didn't
damage.
give a fuck, or someone else did.
now? No, so her sister was the one that was like, I mean, drunk as fuck. She was just like, oh well, at least I didn't do this and that. And then I was like, wait, what you mean? Like,
Wait. Here's the most important question. Did you smash the sister as revenge?
fuck no.
Why?
Ew.
You should have done it.
Ew.
No, ew.
If it's ill, it's
She
ill.
was
It's a name.
not it.
It's a name.
It don't matter. It was just a psychological.
Nah,
like,
I'm
gonna get
a
back
little
to you.
bougie when it comes to that. I'm sorry.
Well, did you smash her prettier looking friend?
You know, I thought about it, but at the same time,
I think you should do it.
she, all of them, I think you should do it.
Toxic
think you
ass
should do it.
motherfucker, bro. Toxic ass.
Hey, he the devil on
Yeah.
my shoulder
Yeah.
right now.
I think you
she
should
said
do
do
it,
it.
or you should post a picture of another girl with you, and like tag her, your ex, into it, and say like, how long have you broken up now?
Man, that's a little minute. That's like a couple
Oh,
months.
okay,
That's a
never
couple
mind.
months. That's
'Cause-
just, yeah.
Because
a
I
little
wish
petty.
you'd have done it like 2 months into a breakup. You should have tagged a picture with another girl by saying "Happy 6 months anniversary."
That
Even
would've been
though you've
crazy.
broken up for two,
How long
2
were y'all
months.
together?
We were
Yeah.
together. We were like, I would say about 4 or 5 months in.
4 or
Yeah.
5 months.
Yeah. So it wasn't nothing to be like, oh, heart
Crazy,
sob
but
break.
yeah.
Or you
But-
should invite her to your wedding.
Man.
Toxic for life.
4 or
Yeah.
5 months, that ain't worth it.
Yeah, but like, so this basically what happened.
That still
so,
sucks though.
No, bro, I'm not saying. Don't get mad. Get even.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know what I'm
fuck that.
saying?
Move on. Fuck that bitch.
Nah,
Yeah, I ain't even-
Exactly.
My
Move
boy's-
on.
No,
Hey,
no.
on.
Get
you're
yourself
quoting Drake
right.
Yeah,
now.
get yourself right.
'Cause the
Focus
thing
on
is-
your
Hey
shit.
Jay, who fucked you over?
Right? Jay's like
Hey,
fucking gaslighting.
Hashtag
over
stay
here.
toxic, King. Stay toxic.
No, fuck that. Do
Yes.
your thing, brother.
So like when this shit happened, I was just kind of like surprised, but and then like, oh damn, that's crazy, and I was just laughing about it. It's crazy. 'Cause
Did you
people was
dump her right away? Did you,
Oh
like,
yeah,
drop
I was
her?
like, no. First, I needed the facts. I ain't gonna lie, I needed the facts. I was like,
Of
okay,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So I talked to him, like asked her, and then like kind of like in a sly way. I was like, all right, so damn, was she joking, right? Just kind of like beating around the bush. And she was just like, I don't know what she's talking about. She's just drunk right now. Like,
Lie.
yeah, you're right. So then when she told me about who she was, I guess, talking to, whatever, I kind of did my research. I was on my crazy man shit. So
What happened?
and it all lined up. And then she
That's
tried
a
to,
gadget head
yeah,
ass.
she tried to
Strings
lie and be
together
like,
in the bedroom.
yeah, she was just
sticky
like,
notes all
oh,
over the place.
what? But she was just trying to lie and be like, yeah, we were just, we're friends. We were talking about this and that. I'm like, come on
She
now.
thought she was slick with
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Nah,
not
bro,
dumb
they're
now.
lying.
Yeah.
They're lying.
And
Like
then,
they open their mouth, they're lying.
and it's crazy because she, when you already have the evidence. You already have the evidence. You already saw what you saw, and they still try to lie. That's what
Yeah.
was getting me. I was laughing so fucking hard. I'm just like, oh yeah, so what happened? Like, what happened? And she was just like, nothing. We just did this. And mind you, I've seen the screenshots. I've seen everything. And I'm just like, oh yeah, you're right. Oh, by the way, I saw everything. We're done. And she was just like, but she was so fucking quiet. She was like, it's like,
that hoe, bro.
damn. And then
So
Can't fight receipts.
right.
the
literally.
reason I say they open their mouth and they're lying is because they're indirect communicators. Like women in general are indirect communicators, and when I'm listening to them, that comes off as a lie. But that's how they fucking communicate, because they beat around the fucking bush. They never can come out and just like us. We're just talking straight. Like you said, she cheated on me. Walk in, let me tell you the story. You know what I mean? Just a direct communication. Us dudes, but women will beat around the fucking bush, and then you'll ask them a question, they'll answer with a fucking question. I'm like, who the fuck does that? That's so fucking disrespectful. Why would you answer a question with a question? But they're
Presidents do
like,
that all the time.
and then they're already on their like seventh thought. You know what I mean?
Oh, let's go. Guys here are like, damn, this motherfucker, we can't deny him. We can't deny the fucker.
Th-
Okay,
that's
so
what
we
it
trying to
is.
answer that.
You know, that's what it is. And then they'll be
Some
like,
more
oh,
than
so
others,
this is
though.
what
Some
you're
more than
saying.
others,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, oh, well, you ask him a question. So this is what you think, right? No, not really. I just ask you a question. I'm expecting an answer. I'm not saying what I'm thinking or I'm not thinking. Stop trying to fucking psychoanalyze this shit and just answer the question. I'll tell you what I'm thinking about, you know?
Every girl thinks they have their minor, at least in psychology.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because they're communitarian. They like people. You know what I mean? That's what they get off of. It's just like communicating with people.
I remember you were with that one. What was her name? Hispanic girl from.
Oh,
high school.
Joanna.
Yeah. How long did that last after high school?
Bro, we
you guys were together for a little
4
while,
years,
right?
bro.
4
4
years.
years.
Damn.
And I'm still cool with her to this day. Like, it's funny because she's the main reason why girls like don't stay around. Like,
Oh, because she's like really good looking?
they feel intimidated, but also we're on a cool level. Like, that's one of the exes that I'm like, we friends. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, when they see her and they see her commenting on my stuff, they're like, okay, who is that? Why is she commenting that shit? And I'm like, we cool, we friends. And they're like, I don't believe that shit.
Oh, I would
Anyways.
use that as a weapon, bro.
And I ain't gonna lie, no.
Shit,
I ain't gonna lie.
Toxic.
She's really.
I would
I
use
remember
that
her from
shit
high
as a
school. She was
weapon.
really cool. I don't know if
got
I
a
had a class
picture?
with her, but I knew her from Cangelosi, I think it was.
Yeah, she was in there.
Yeah, I knew her from there.
Goddamn.
She was really cool.
Bro, like,
Where's she from? She's Hispanic, right?
yeah, she's well, she's from here, but her
I know,
parents
but like her
from
parents,
Mexico.
Mexico.
Man, damn, what's her damn? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, so this one girl that I was talking to, she saw that she was commenting stuff prior to our relationship. Like, she was commenting. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, some crazy shit, but it was in a friendly manner.
Yeah,
but they don't
like
see
banter.
that. Yeah, they
you
don't.
got that 4 years connection, so you got that friendly banter.
So she was, you know, I understand from that perspective, like, okay, this looks weird. But I told her, and I'm like, you can even ask her yourself. And she was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Girls
bro.
don't do that shit.
Yeah, they're not. So I'm just like, hey, believe what the fuck you want. I'm not finna just force you to, like, believe me. So shit like that happens all the time. Oh, that's what she looks like.
She's a cute girl. I would
me
use
see.
that shit, bro. I would use that shit, bro. 100%.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, use her insecurities against her.
You were talking about
Oh,
the girl that
100%,
cheated on you,
'cause
I
don't
know you
use it on us,
posted. I know
so
you posted
why
a
not?
pic with
You
her
fight
on
fire
Twitter
with fire,
I seen it
Alex.
way back, and so I was like, oh, you got a whole girl and everything.
Yeah, bro. Like, to this day, very relatable, very cool people. It's just, you know, we kind of grew apart. Like, she doing her own thing, I doing my own thing. Yeah.
Good.
It's good that you guys were able to like notice that and kind of
Right.
just.
Yeah, you know.
I mean,
Every
it
other
is what it
person.
is, right?
Yeah.
Like he's on his road. He's
That's
doing
gotta
his
be a
thing.
tough thing to do. To just, all right, we're done.
Yeah, it was rough. Like, it was definitely rough, but you know, till this day, she'll like hit me up and be like, "Yo, I just listened to this song. I really like it." Like, she'll share my shit. She'll comment it. She'll tell me what she like and
Oh,
don't
she
like.
still likes you, bro.
Yeah, she like.
She still
Nah.
likes you. She still likes you.
No.
Some people are just in people's lives for periods.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah, she still likes you.
She don't, bro. I'm telling you. I have very plethora of reasons why she don't.
Plethora of reasons.
She still likes
So talking about your music again. You got anything upcoming you're excited about, or?
Man, so with the indecisive mind that I have,
Hey guys, by the way, before he goes into it, please go and subscribe to his YouTube,
Yeah.
to his Spotify, to his Insta, TikTok, all of those.
so I have like 3 ideas for projects that I'm trying to do, but my manager's like, don't do that shit. You need to work on singles and then build a project because no one's gonna care about your album because of the stage you're at. And I was like, very true. So that's what I'm doing. I want to release a EP for Halloween called Fangoria, but it's inspired by the magazine, the Fangoria magazines. If y'all know what that is.
No.
I think I've seen it before.
Yeah,
Can
like the
you pull
horror
it up for
magazines.
us, Miggy? Or I'll pull it up here so we
Yeah.
can see and you can show it.
So when you say EP, what does that stand for?
It's like a short, you know, group of songs. So I would say like from 4 to 6 songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
or
it's like
even
a half
3.
album.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
What is it again?
Vangoria.
it's called Fangoria.
Oh, Fangoria.
Yeah, because
And are they gonna be okay with you using the name or?
yeah, because I'm switching the F to a V, so it won't be there. So then it's like, okay, he did something different. Because that's the thing. I get scared about shit like that because I don't want to be inspired by something and straight up take the name and then they copyright the hell out of me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I
shit
mean,
like that.
even Ed Sheeran found himself in court over that shit.
Right. Man, that shit was crazy. Yeah, they got a couple
You
of
can see it,
disturbing.
Miggy? Cool.
They got a couple of disturbing images, but yeah.
And it's gonna be a little more grunge like.
But yeah, definitely dark.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I try to make stuff for everybody because
took it off. I don't know,
yeah,
YouTube.
I don't want to make like a lot of dark stuff, and then it's like people are just like, oh, this man's, glorifying demons and shit like that. It's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
So I got a question. What's your favorite recent horror film?
Oh, recent? Man, that's a good ass question. Cause okay, I would say honestly the one that just came out like last year or so, the A24 film X.
X.
Yeah,
X was good.
Yeah, I like that because I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't like Evil Dead Rise. That shit was trash to me.
I haven't seen it yet, but
Which
I've
one?
heard that they've gone off
Evil
of
Dead
like
Rise.
how the old movies were,
Yeah, it's
and
basically
they
like
took out the comedy element.
yeah, it's
Evil what?
Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead. Right?
Mm-hmm. It's a very cliche ass horror movie. I don't.
Did you ever liked any of those Resident Evil?
Yeah, I like the games a lot too.
Yeah.
Remember the one that everybody was hyping up about with the fine ass vampire lady on it?
Yeah.
Oh, Lady Dimitrescu.
Yes, she's so fine, bro. Like, damn.
Especially if you put on the swimsuit mods.
Oh my, bro. See, Miguel, you.
The sex mods came so quickly
Bro.
after the fucking trailer released.
See, I don't watch horror movies either.
Yeah,
Also,
I don't
none
watch
of
them.
them?
I
Not a
have
big
no
fan
idea
of
what
them.
y'all guys talking about.
Nope
I
was
just feel
fucking
I just feel like they're a
phenomenal.
little
Nope was
predictable.
amazing.
Now, like thriller movies, like for instance, I mean, there's a downside to the movie, but like the Quiet Place or whatever those are, those thriller movies,
I like that shit.
those.
You like
So,
the
like-
Quiet Place?
Yeah, the Quiet
talking
Place.
about-
especially
They're talking about this girl, by the way.
the second one, bro. The second one,
Jay.
the second
Yeah.
one was
Watch
pretty
the
good.
second
Resident
one, 'cause I
Evil
didn't like
game, the
the
last
first
one that came out.
What happened?
I didn't watch the second one because I didn't like the first one.
Oh,
Really?
The first one was good. I like the second one better, but both I don't know. I like both of them.
So like so the most I'll go with those kind of movies is like Underworld, where there's a lot of fucking action, people and shit dying. Like
So you like dystopian horror in a way?
Yeah.
Kinda like the futuristic s type of stuff.
Now
Yeah.
I don't know if Blade counts as horror, but Blade
That's
was
kind of
good.
in the same
Definitely.
genre.
Like, it's in the field. It's in the field. Like dystopian esque.
I liked like the stuff. The guy who does
like 28 Days Later
Key and,
or
like
Oh,
Key
the
and
zombie
Peele.
movie.
Yeah,
The guy,
zombie
the guy who does Key and Peele, he also produced
Jordan Peele.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan Peele. Yeah,
His
that.
films are amazing.
Yeah, I like
Get
his
Out.
films.
Nope.
Yeah,
Us.
yeah.
What was the other
I enjoyed
one?
Get Out.
Us.
Get Out was
Us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scary Movie was pretty good.
Scary movie. Man.
I don't know. Those
What's
movies-
that?
I ain't gonna lie, that ruined the original Scream for me. Like
I
after
don't like
watching those
Scream.
shits, I could not watch the
Right.
series. one.
Shit.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
I mixed scenes from the original Scream and Scary Movie
See?
all the time in my head.
It ruined it.
But yeah, so like the horror movies, the ones that are like just one person in a cabin, and they're very slow, and they're like there's fucking just demons coming out of the walls and shit. That those don't get me going. But like
liked,
when there's a lot of action
I
going
like-
on. That's the ones I like.
I like Krasinski's last movies, the A Quiet Place, the first and second one. I like them.
Yes.
Talk with the little aliens that were like
Yeah,
killing everybody 'cause
so
they're
they
making noise.
walk on sand and
Sensitive to
stuff
sound.
around everywhere, so they don't make sound.
those are good. I like
Yeah.
that. What about Don't Breathe?
Don't Breathe. I
So
think
I haven't watched that one, but it's because I'm not really a big horror fan. I didn't establish that earlier, but I don't watch too much.
how many are there? There's 2 or 3.
There's two now.
I think I only seen the first one.
That shit's crazy.
It was good.
They
from
get
what I
brutal.
remember, but I probably wasn't paying attention. I really when I watch
What
horror
about
movies, bro,
what about the fucking they made a show after that because people that like chopping each other's heads off one night a year.
The Purge.
Purge.
Oh.
That's just becoming real. I don't care what nobody says. we about to end up doing that shit for
What
real.
about a
Shit.
classic? You know the Hannibal story.
Hannibal
Hannibal Lecter?
Lecters and all
Yeah.
of that.
I
Like-
watced the show that they made. That
Silence
shit
of
was
the
really good.
Lambs and
Silence
shit
of the
like
Lambs.
Yeah,
that.
Silence of the Lamb, The
Flying
Red
Over
Dragon,
Cuckoo
shit like
Bird.
that.
Yes.
Those
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah,
great
fuck
Girl
movies.
loves
I haven't
Flying
watched
Over
the
Cuckoo
movies,
Bird.
but
she likes all the Conjurings, bro. I done seen the Conjurings.
Conjurings
like
are
30
fire.
times, bro. She
Exorcisms.
loves them.
Bro, that one scene in Silence of the Lamb where she was crying in the well and he was like mocking her like, "Ah!" That shit is so fucking funny.
The Conjurings are okay.
To me,
I've
is
watched
the,
them so
is
many
the
times
part
that
where
it's
he's
just like-
eating the brain, bro. Like,
Oh,
that part was like, God.
yeah, I was like, he got that.
I
dog.
enjoyed the series they did, like, cause they, one of the movies is about like him with the detective, that whole like
Yeah.
dynamic and stuff. They made a whole series about it. I think it's on Netflix though. I'm not
How do
sure.
you guys
You know
feel
what was
about
also
some
good?
Great
paranormal
psychological
activities?
thriller.
Yeah,
Those
it
are-
is good.
When I was young, I used to fuck with that
I
shit
didn't like
so
them
much.
shits.
Which ones?
I hate it now because it's stupid.
Which ones?
The paranormal activities.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you know which
I know you're a big
Netflix-
Jeepers Creepers fan, right?
I love the movie, but I cannot fuck with the film director because he was on some weird shit. He was like liking little boys and shit. So yeah,
That
Oh.
movie.
I haven't
gave me
seen the
chills
newest
when I
one,
was
but
a
I've heard
kid,
it's
and that's
not
why I never
great.
got into horror.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The new one, do not waste your money or time. That shit is so whack.
Creepers?
Yes. What really ruined it for me? Okay, so first off, they made Jeepers Creepers look like he was on fentanyl and like a whole bunch of weird shit. And then
I think that's what makes it scary.
no, he looks like malnourished. You know, in the other Jeepers, he looked like he could take over
Yeah.
some shit. This
You're
one,
a football player.
yeah, now he looks dead. He looks like he's just some little random zombie thing. And then one scene made me cringe hard as fuck, and I just turned the movie off. It was when they were in the forest and she gets lost, and the guy's like, "Don't ruin your forces." Right when he said that, I turned that shit off. I'm like, since when did y'all give a fuck about shoes and Jeepers Creepers? Like,
Yeah, this
Don't
Shit.
ruin your
that
forces.
motherfucker gave me fucking nightmares.
you know what's funny? I have his tat on my sternum.
Yeah, I
Big
wanna see
demon
it,
eye right
dude.
here.
Bro, I have goosebumps just thinking about it.
What about Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Love it, love
Yeah.
it.
Those are good.
My favorite ones are the Pretty Lady and the one they released in 08, I believe.
I mean, I'm not, like I said, I don't watch horror movies, but isn't that Leatherface,
Yeah,
right?
that's him.
So like, I'm sure you.
That's
know
his
him.
sketch when they were trying to find out where he was. So it's
Yeah.
not like an actual picture; it's like his prison.
Yeah, like
jail
the
sketch.
the wanted poster,
Mhm.
right, for him.
You know what's funny? Have you guys seen the actual like documentary about that shit?
I've heard about
Dean?
it. That's legit, right? Like the
Mhm.
whole bus stop thing in Texas and all
Yeah.
that stuff. That's crazy.
It's shit real. It's crazy. Oh, man,
I watched the Dahmer series. That shit's
Man.
like crazy.
I didn't watch that yet. Funny
It's-
enough.
What?
I don't,
That
I
shit-
don't really watch shit like that either.
that shit.
Honestly, just watch the first episode.
Everybody
at
was
least.
watching
That shit.
Mm.
No, you're gonna watch the first episode and you're just gonna keep watching, and then it gets a little boring in certain parts because it's a lot of political.
What about
bullshit,
like any of those Carter vampire movies or any of those Dusk Till Dawn?
That's so Dawn. I like that. I like the animated series Castlevania. I fuck with that.
Castlevania is awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
I watched the
That
The
shit
Castlevania.
is-
anime on
that
Netflix
shit is so
is
good.
phenomenal.
Blood of Zeus.
The new Prey movie,
oh yes.
or the new Predator movie.
New Predator. That shit
Prey?
is so
That's
good.
great.
Yes.
Wait, with the
It's pretty
with
good,
the
yeah.
Native American chick?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah, I didn't like that movie. at
You
all.
didn't like what?
It was pretty
Bro,
good.
how they gonna go from Arnold Schwarzenegger to some girl that's fucking shooting
Well,
bows
did-
I
and
don't know if you
arrows?
saw Predators. I think that was the last one. That was shit. So comparatively,
Well, yeah. All right,
it's
so
gone down since Arnold.
most ultimate question, like the most ultimate horror movie that's ever been produced, Twilight. What do you think about that?
Twilight. You know what's
Horror
crazy?
movie?
I
Horror
didn't watch
movie.
that.
Yeah, it's a horror movie. I
You
didn't
say?
know that was
Oh, so you
considered
want me to say if it was considered a horror movie?
No,
He's
I'm
fucking
just
with you.
fucking
He's
trolling
fucking
at this
with
Oh, I'm about to say because I did not watch that shit. I don't care.
Bro, like, so I'm big into
Tommy
vampire
said he
movies.
saw that
I really-
motherfucker sparkling in the sunlight. He's
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm good.
So I'm big into vampire movies, bro. And I took
Okay.
one of my ex-girlfriends to the very first one that came out. I'm fucking excited. It's a vampire movie. It's gonna get good. These motherfuckers go up on a mountaintop. Sun hits their face and they start sparkling. I was like,
Light skin shit.
what? I was like, what the fuck is this? I
Ah,
turn around, look
shit.
at her. I was like, we need to walk out. She looks at me. She goes, yeah, we need to walk out. This is like that was, and I never watched anything else
Okay.
after that.
Have you seen this? Since you like vampire movies, have you seen the one where Snoop Dogg was the vampire?
Yes.
I like that one.
Day Shift? No.
No, you're talking about
you
the
said-
Netflix.
yeah,
There was
yeah,
another
yeah,
one
yeah.
that Snoop Dogg was
Like
a
an
vampire.
OG movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's an OG
Okay.
movie.
Mhm.
But the newest one that he did with the vampires was the Day Shift, and that was
Shift.
on
Yeah.
Netflix with
I like
Jamie
that.
Foxx.
Yeah.
That
Day
wasn't
Shift was
bad.
pretty good. I see. This is the kind of movies I like, where there's like they're shooting these fucking vampires just like flying away. You know what I mean? Or
Did you guys enjoy the last Batman movie with Robert Pattinson?
I haven't
Beat the
watched
shit
it.
out of the people.
I haven't
I
watched
fucked with it. I fucked. I seen it. I actually
It
watched
wasn't bad. I liked it.
I enjoyed it. That's the only DC movie I really genuinely enjoyed.
Really.
Well,
Yeah.
they took the two most popular Batman stories and stuck them together. I enjoyed the movie myself, don't get me wrong, but like it was literally a long Halloween and Hush put together.
Oh my God! Speaking of that,
For me, any
Halloween
of those
movies, man.
when they're diluting like the superhero movies, I don't like that. You know, because in my head I have a picture of superheroes through the comic books and things like that, and I want that to continue. But what they're doing, they're changing the story because there's multiverses now, and then we can add whatever we want to it. I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, so if Hulk fucks shit up, why you bring in the She-Hulk? And then that series sucked. I didn't like that series at all.
I haven't seen that actually. I seen a meme about it, but I was like, damn.
I didn't like the way they made it. Yeah, for example, the only superhero I've seen break the fourth wall and do it in a like the good sense was Deadpool.
Yes.
So when she did that,
I mean, you haven't read She-Hulk comics.
I know that's what she does.
Like
I
it
get
was
that.
very true to the source.
Got you, but I just think I didn't like the way it was done personally. I'm just saying that. I get that that's how.
Speaking of Deadpool,
she was one of those. I get that she was one of those superheroes that does that a lot, just like Deadpool.
In my opinion, Deadpool is probably the strongest superhero. That's my opinion, though. Because
Ryan Reynolds is not legally allowed to ad-lib for this new movie.
What?
Why? He's not allowed to break the fourth wall?
I mean, break the fourth wall if it's written in, but you know all those takes where he just makes up shit?
Yeah.
He's not allowed to improv at all.
Why?
Because they're trying to cut budget costs
Cheaper
when filming.
Got you. Because if he improvs, they have to retake.
Why are they, like, people went to see, like, this movie is going to literally tank if they don't let him do his thing. We'll see how this goes.
I don't know. Ryan Reynolds and fucking Logan, or what's his name's coming back?
I was about to say, you got Hugh Jackman coming back. So,
yeah, but Hugh Jackman don't look like the Wolverine like he used to be.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
Bro, Logan was really good.
He's got a neck beard now.
Logan was really good. So, I don't know.
Logan,
but, like, I don't know. For me, the DC thing. Oh, for example, actually, I forget that and Joker, the last Joker movie, were the only ones, trash, the only things that I enjoyed. I actually like Joker.
I didn't like that shit at all.
I don't know, man. I like the old school superhero movies where like they're actually fucking shit up. You know what I mean? And it's done nice. Where now they're putting in this more like of trying to push a certain narrative. You know.
I appreciate a good story.
Yeah, good story. Yeah, no, I agree with that. But not like pushing a narrative. You know what I mean? Because you can tell there's a clear narrative to the movie that has nothing to do with the comics. Like they're trying to adopt it to.
It was a man's journey through madness. We just got to see it. Like that's all the new Joker was.
That's what I was just about to say, and that's what I was told too. That's probably why I didn't like it, is just because you were supposed to, I guess, take the perception of a man going mad. And I don't know. I was watching it, and it kind of just got boring to me, and so I kind of just like stopped watching it.
If you're going in expecting a superhero movie, watching that, it's a human story.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're gonna do with the second one, but
I'm excited to see how it's gonna go.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense because as a guy, you go through these trials and tribulations. It's either gonna fucking make you a Joker, or you're gonna come out on the other end and become Batman, right? Like, because Joker and Batman are the complete opposites. They're like the arch nemesis. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Joker, and because they both went that type of a fucking crazy ass life. One became a villain, and the other one became.
I think it's cool that the two movies that I've enjoyed from DC so far clearly seem that they're gonna try and like combine the two, because they're both in like what seems to be relatively like the same era of what's supposed to be Gotham at that time, and I would probably assume the same universe. I don't know, because the Batman movie was placed probably what looked like probably the 70s. And then so did this Joker movie, but we'll see.
But I don't think anyone has come close to the Joker. What's his name? He committed a suicide.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. I don't think anyone can bring it to that level.
I don't know, man. Joaquin Phoenix did an amazing job, and I'm not saying that he did it better, but I'm saying it's arguable. It's arguable. We're past the 2-hour mark. I know you got a far way to go. Do you have to go anytime soon, or are you chilling?
I don't give a damn. I'm off tomorrow, so
you're chilling.
Yeah,
cool. I just wanted to make sure we're not holding you up, and you got. I know you're not like 10 minutes away, so that's why I'm trying to.
Oh, bro, I don't give a damn, bro.
Okay,
like,
cool.
I'm chilling.
Perfect. You work?
Yep.
You gotta go.
Tampa.
Let's go.
No, that's fine. We finish up. It's all good.
Okay. I don't have to work. I was gonna work tomorrow, but I was
So all right. So
Thursday.
if you were to pick a movie, whether it's new or old, what would be one movie that you could like constantly watch? Each one of us can answer that.
Man, come on, man. That's a hard ass question. So many
So-
movies.
Shit, just
I have a really good movie. I just the name was
One movie, right? So no shows included. No shows, no none of that.
Include. Fine, do a show too.
Okay, shows. All right. Okay, so if I have to choose one, I'm gonna say Altered Carbon.
Do one movie and then one show.
All right,
Oh,
one movie.
really? You like that show a lot? I
Oh,
haven't seen it yet. I
bro,
was thinking
I
about
like
starting
that.
it.
That shit's hard. I like first season better than the second, but they're
Me
both
too.
good.
Yes,
First season was way
great.
better.
Yeah, that shit's
Way
good.
Way
Yeah,
better.
which one was it?
Altered
Altered
Carbon.
Yeah, I haven't seen
So
it.
the first
I see
season, I can't remember his name, but the second season is Anthony Mackie, the guy that does Falcon for Marvel.
Yes.
That same actor. He's the star for the second season. It's the
Second
same-
season was good.
It's the
too.
same person, but it's a whole different actor because
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
So
if
that's
you
the
watch
Second
the
season
show, you
was
understand.
good too, but the first season made more sense.
Yeah.
I remember starting it, but I never got into it.
Yeah, I like the first season because it just, I don't know. The second guy, he just seems like a total fucking douchebag. Like I don't fuck with that.
His persona was way different, right?
And
It
then they
felt
made the
different.
animated series, right?
I like
Yes.
the animated one. That was alright. It was just very short.
Yes.
They needed more.
So,
So
I have a,
wait. A movie. What would
Oh,
be a
movie. Shit. Oh, god damn. That's a hard ass question, bro. Movie. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude, there's good movies.
Yeah, it's so many good ass movies. Okay, so can I ask you this? All right, so in this movie, would I be living that type of life, or would I be just there?
that's a good question because the way I thought about this is I chose.
No, it's a movie
in my
that
head,
you
I
can
chose
continuously watch over and over
Oh,
again, never get
like,
tired.
Okay, if I'm being real, it was Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's my childhood like
cult classic.
Mm-hmm. I watched that movie religiously. I got
People
the DVD,
sleep on that
the
movie.
Blu-ray, all that shit.
What about you?
Shit, I couldn't even tell you to be honest.
So I'm gonna give you my movie is something inspirational for me, right? Like I watched this movie and for me it just automatically went to my top 5 list without even thinking about it twice. Whiplash with Miles Teller. It's a movie about Miles Teller, the guy who did like for example Reed Richards for Fantastic Four, the last Fantastic Four movie, right? He is a drummer and he just going through hard times, bullshit. They have J.K. Simmons.
is in
J.K.
there.
Simmons is like the guy that's the teacher of the class, the music school he's going to. A really hard guy. It's cool because it shows you like really hard times, what it can look like to push yourself too far, all this shit. Entertaining
Sitting there
is like,
drumming, bleeding out of his hands.
yeah, like
and
the
fucking
scenes are
JK
him
just
like
faster.
yeah, right.
Faster.
And the guy will smack him in the face when he's off the wrong he's not on the right tempo. It's
He'll
crazy.
start
movie.
throwing the
Yeah.
kit.
So this
Yeah.
is Jackson
Yeah.
5 shit.
It's a
no, really,
great
really,
movie.
really good, like inspirational movie. I like it.
Show?
That's dope.
Show entertaining. Peaky Blinders, hands down.
Okay.
Miggy.
Bro,
I've been trying to watch
You.
that shit.
It's slow at first,
Yeah.
but you get into it because the characters are just like they just slowly build the story of each thing, and they're not forcing it at the same time because they just show you like how they're going about, and they're not really like focusing on one person too much, except for the main guy.
You
Miggy.
see how he gets his ass fucked up
For
until he
me,
finally gets
It
political
would
power.
have to be for
There you go.
shows One Piece
One Piece. Is
Okay.
good.
and
That's a lot of episodes.
Fuck.
I haven't even gotten
movie
halfway through that shit.
wise. I don't know, man. That one's tough.
Yeah, TV shows. I mean, if I had to put one on, especially like animated for me, I'm just gonna choose Dragon Ball.
I'm
just
gonna
'cause I
say.
So,
can't-
ready?
I'm gonna say Zombie.
I love, for example,
Zombieland? Okay.
I'm in love with Demon
Zombieland
Slayer.
is funny.
Demon
Slayer's
Slayer
fire.
has been really good,
So
and
fire.
I think that is probably going to be my number one recommendation to someone that's never got into anime because it's short and it's really good. You know, it's something that I can't tell someone Naruto. Somebody look at that and be like, 1,400
they're not watching that
episodes?
shit.
Get the fuck or whatever.
With
the
how
fucking
many
Naruto
fillers?
is. Yeah, with how many fillers or whatever.
And
Like Demon
flashback
Slayer
episodes.
is similar, right? Because you're watching the same fight for 3 episodes or 4 episodes or whatever it is, but really good animation, really good story.
Yeah,
What
Naruto
about-
is
what about
definitely
you,
something I
Alex?
could watch.
Oh,
Show
I
and
don't
a
know.
movie.
There's so much too
You ever
much
watch Demon Slayer?
fucking good TV and movies out there. I couldn't put just one and rewatch it.
Yeah.
I get bored with shit too quick.
So for me, obviously, y'all know my show is The Blacklist. You know, I think that's my all-time favorite.
That's a good show.
Movie, you'll never
9
guess.
episodes are
Star
out for
Troopers, bro.
this season.
Star
You want my
Troopers?
Crunchyroll?
Star
Star
Troopers.
Troopers.
You know, with the bugs on a
I
planet.
can give you my
There was a game that just came out for Starship
I don't
Troopers.
know, but that was the movie that I can watch over and over again, Star Troopers. And then they tried remaking 2, 3, and 4, and they're all a fucking mess. It's fucking complete garbage. But the very first one was good. I wish they'd have just like made more, you know.
Movies that I recently watched that are fire that I mean, it's not that I can't always rewatch them, but I've been watching the Takens again.
Those
Like
are good.
Taken 1,
Taken
Taken
is
2,
good,
yeah. And them shows are fire for me.
You know what's another good movie? It was Netflix special with Will Smith, the fucking the fairies and then the orcs and humans, they all live in the same place, and then they made it animated.
I don't know.
Second one was animated.
I don't know.
Bright.
Bright.
Right.
Oh, I
yes.
see. Yeah,
I haven't
okay.
seen that.
I've seen
like
the
that.
movie. I
Yeah,
didn't,
the
I didn't
movie.
see no.
They have the animated came out afterwards. They made a bright
So we
animated.
got
The
time.
Avatar movie.
Mickey, you on time?
Nah, man, second one was just too
good?
much.
I got no home to go to.
got no home to go to.
to go to.
It-
Motherfucker. Okay.
If it was one horror movie, because I've done this in my life, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh my
I've
goodness.
watched that fucking
Never seen
movie
it.
so many
Never
fucking
seen it,
times.
yeah.
I watched that shit a lot, and if me personally, if I had to be in that situation, I probably would have killed myself. Cause that's
Bro,
they were.
What about the
fucked.
Saw movies?
Oh, that. Oh my.
done.
I'm.
You want to
snapping
play
my
a
own
game?
neck.
No, kill me.
Literally.
What makes this go off quicker?
Kick that motherfucker off his tricycle so fast.
But the thing is, it wasn't even him. Like that was just the decoy there.
Yeah.
So it was just like.
Well, see, here's the question for me. Like, whoever wrote these movies, because all those traps that they thought about and made, like, the way it is, like, that, to me, that person has to be, like, all kinds of fucked up in their head.
Oh, it's
to figure
murder
that
porn.
out.
Yes.
Like, they've done this before.
That's probably on the dark web. Like all that shit that you're seeing on Saw, definitely on the dark web.
Oh, so you're thinking they went out and fucking research on dark web.
They probably was like, oh yeah, we got to use that shit. Like that shit's
Red Room shit.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen that.
If you wanna ruin your day, look up. Don't actually go there, but look up what Red Room shits are, and you'll hear
Yeah.
some fucked up stories
My friend
that
showed
people
me.
pay to watch.
Yeah, we were in a computer class and he showed me a couple videos on there. I kid you not, I didn't smile that whole day. Like that shit.
Yeah.
That shit ruined me.
Shit fucks with your life. It fucks with your week.
Bro, I was
Wait,
like,
wait a minute.
I
So
was
these
like,
are,
what
these
the
are
fuck?
reenacted or these
I'm
are
sorry.
real?
No,
He's
this
like,
is
I
real
couldn't
shit.
smile all day.
This is real shit. People get kidnapped and
Bro.
then tortured on cam.
Not to get too descriptive, but one of the videos he showed me was a girl accidentally blowing herself up with a C4 bomb. And like you literally seen her body parts go in each direction. And the guy walks to each body part and he's like, oh no. I'm like, all right. And when I saw that shit, I literally had a straight face. I barely could eat at lunch. People was like, yo, what's up? And I was just like,
Nah, this is some fucking 2 girls, 1 cup shit. I don't want that.
I seen that at the age of 9. That shit scared the shit out of me. I'm like, he's eating doo-doo. Ew.
I can't eat Hot Pockets because I was showing it while I was eating Hot Pockets.
Ew. No, back in the day, I remember you just heard that was a thing, and you're like, no fucking way that's true. No way. And they're like, look. And you're like, ah!
Have you heard? So apparently there's like this pain tolerance competition. I don't know if this is true or not. Like dudes literally would chop off their dicks and
The
take
Pain
out-
Olympics?
Yeah, take
Yeah.
out their balls with a fucking axe.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm good
yo.
with that game.
What?
I've seen
Yes.
it. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah, they'll literally like cut their scrotum open and
That's
chop their
crazy.
balls off.
Yeah, I remember when
with a
that girl
fucking
got famous
axe.
for sucking on her own
I
tampon.
knew you were going to say
Bro,
it. The
middle
moment you
school
said
went
that, girl,
crazy with that shit. Oh my god.
That's some.
She said, oh.
bro, and that shit's crazy because if you watch the whole video, you see her like
Pull it out
reach
and
under,
everything.
pull it out, and it's straight, just kind of like
What?
showing
What?
it.
Her
Bro,
tampon.
This girl in
She
middle
sucked
school,
on her
this white
tampon.
girl,
Her name's
went-
like Giovanni or some shit like
this
that.
white girl went famous for sucking on her own tampon.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
In your high school?
No,
In your
No.
middle school?
just some.
There was
some
a
girl.
video
It
that
was
went
just a
around
video,
middle
bro. Viral. Like
She took out the tampon and put it in her mouth
said,
Video,
yup.
yeah.
to go viral.
Did
I
she put it
guess.
in the fridge at least? Treat
No,
it like a
no,
No,
Not even.
straight out.
Bro,
Straight
that
out.
shit was
fruit punch.
still warm.
Hey, straight out the oven.
Yeah, that shit was
I
dripping.
mean, how would you
still.
like your tampon? A little
Not at all
chilled
in my
or
mouth.
right out the oven?
That's crazy.
Hey,
Hey,
there's
would you
fucking
rather-
college frat fuckers that will dip tampons in alcohol and then shove it up their ass.
Like, have y'all not seen Jackass?
Jay, you like vampires movies, don't you?
Jackass
Well,
is
why would you
nasty.
do that?
Jackass is disgusting.
No, the one
Because they're
thing
idiots.
that
I ain't
I
gonna
see
lie,
And
no,
it
that's
skips
just
your
very
liver and gets you
irritating.
drunk
I will
faster.
never erase from my memory is when the fat nigga wore the sweatsuit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they made that nigga. Oh my
Ew.
goodness.
Yeah,
That
they
is
did the
most
sweatsuit and they made
disgusting
him.
thing
They
ever.
made him.
Drink the
They
sweat.
made him drink the
Bro,
sweat.
it was like
Jackass stuff?
half a cup, nigga.
Are you talking about Jackass?
Yeah.
Well,
no,
I mean, the guy drank horse semen,
Yeah, that too.
No.
and it had crocodiles chomp on his
No,
balls.
the
so.
most disgusting thing that they ever did was in the most recent movie where they got like the piss and like basically like murky ass like water from the toilet of the RV, and they like put it in the condom and dropped it on each other's head to see if it would like bust or so, and it all that piss and shit got all over them. I was like,
You know
would've-
what? I
nah.
think for me was probably one of the worst ones I saw when they put Steve-O in that porta potty and launched him.
Oh my,
Bro. That you could. I remember when you watch it, when he launches up in the air, it's so much force that literally you see the
All
piss
the
and
shit
shit
just,
seeping out of the porta potty. It's like. It's like that bitch is pressurized.
Bro.
It's just spraying fucking shit and piss out. And when they bring him down, so by the way, what they had him on was like that slingshot. You
Yeah.
never seen the slingshot thing? Like you go to Old Town and they have that there.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's like that. They rigged him up on something like that and shot him up in this porta potty that looked like it probably been on a construction site for a month and they never
You
cleaned
know
it out.
what? I got a question for y'all. How mad would you be if you used a porta potty, someone
Knock
tilt that
shit
bitch over?
That's funny as shit. 'Cause I was about to say we should go.
So,
I'd
so
be pissed.
that would.
I'm fighting.
I don't wanna say-
whoever it is.
Especially if they push that
Whoever
bitch
it is.
forward.
Yeah, like I'm talking just.
No,
You know what's funny? Yeah, like
this
a few
is why I
months.
don't shit anywhere I don't know.
Nah,
A few months
I can only
back-
shit at home.
Yeah.
A few months back. Oh, remember I talked about those fucking huge doors that I almost slipped off of a deck. So when we were doing those doors, they was a house they were just building. There was no bathroom or nothing. I had to go pee, and I look at the porta potty, and I know it's on a hill, and they just had like a fucking concrete block on the other side of it, so
To
it was
balance it
level.
out?
Bro, when I stepped in that shit, I was like, bro, I think I might go down this hill in this porta potty. Bro, I was so fucking careful, just pissed and like got out of there like a ninja.
Oh, at
With
that,
the
at that
door
point, I'm
open,
finding
yeah.
the nearest fucking tree.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Forget all that.
sorry.
That
That's
shit was sketchy.
Mm-mm.
It was sketchy. I made it
And
out
that's how
alive,
you
though.
catch a predator charge.
Yep.
Hey, listen.
So do you guys poop at work?
Nope.
No.
What a fucking question.
Not unless I absolutely
If I got to,
I
hey.
damn near will ask to go home.
So,
to take
even
a shit
if I have to,
before I
if I
shit.
have to,
More,
I have
more
to, bro.
importantly, do you use a butt gasket when you do poop?
What?
A butt
Like,
gasket.
oh
I
yeah, you
clean-
cover that bitch with toilet, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, toilet paper. You can't use the ones that they provide because that bitch don't cover nothing.
No.
You always have like the sides that are open.
Bro, I
you
put
gotta
like
use
3
toilet
layers
paper.
of toilet paper.
If
Like
you
I
bare-
literally cut it into 3 pieces and
Yeah.
put it on the side.
Yeah, like-
this.
But you want to know something?
A double wrap them
You want to
too.
hear it's funny?
Even you gotta put a
we
butt
all-
gasket for your penis.
We all do all those procedures, right? When we go into the bathroom, make sure we're not touching nobody's other fecal matter. But guess what? Everybody here has something in their pocket that has more fecal matter and bacteria on it than a fucking airport toilet.
Your phone.
Your phone.
Yeah,
Yep.
all them doodoo partners
And
they get
that
on
that
shit.
shit gets cleaned rarely compared to the bathrooms that get professionally cleaned.
Right?
How many
Sanitizing
times a
bleach
week
every
or
day.
I'll clean my shit every day, bro.
So that's
spray,
the-
spray, wipe,
When
wipe.
Dave's little wife's like,
Bro, I think that's the best thing
Spray,
about my
spray,
job.
wipe, wipe.
But I'm just, this is on
What?
average, right? So this is crazy. This is crazy, right? And then like when we were kids, you were so dumbfounded to find out the dirtiest part of your body is your mouth, right? Like
So-
that's what holds the most
so
bacteria.
you wanna-
Then, like I remember my teacher was telling me like, you think your feet is dirtier? Yeah, my feet is definitely dirtier. No, your mouth. I was like, what the fuck?
So the reason, okay.
It's
Do
'cause
you
I'd
know
be
what
cussing too
happens when
much.
you smell anything?
What do you mean when you smell?
Like you're walking and you smell flowers. Do you know why?
Because the flowers give off an aroma. That your
No,
nose
it's
picks up.
because particles of the pollen get inside your nose. That's why you smell it.
Well, that's the aroma, right? Yeah.
So when someone farts
You-
and
oh,
you
that doo-doo.
smell it,
You inhaling doo-doo particles.
someone else's doo-doo particles.
Yeah.
That doogie
If
gas
you
in
flush
your
without
nose.
closing the toilet lid,
Huh?
you inhaling doo doo. If you flush without closing the toilet lid, you inhaling
Yep.
doo doo too.
Have you
Yeah,
seen
and
that
that
video?
shit gets everywhere on your
Well,
toothbrush.
I mean, the
everywhere.
moment you doo-doo, And that whiff hurts you. You used to Helen Dude.
Have y'all seen that video of like the little? They did like a night vision thing of like flushing a toilet and all the shit flies up.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Gives you a whole different
Hide your
perspective.
toothbrush.
That made
Yeah.
that yeah.
I put.
that-
Hey,
that-
I went
that-
about a cap for my shit.
Yeah, I use
Yeah, mine's got a
little
cap and it's in a
capsule.
cabinet, bro.
Yeah,
It don't
put my
come
shit
out of
up.
there. Yeah, I don't. Mm-mm.
Just imagine that you brush your teeth and your toothbrush smells like shit. It's like,
Oof.
So all of us have tasted shit in our lives then before.
Yes.
pretty much, yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny these accusations.
Yeah, you have.
Don't
Stop
look up
capping,
how
bro.
much an FDA allows of fecal matter in food, because it's a weird amount.
Cause you're gonna get rat particles and roach particles, especially in like candy and shit.
That
The
should make it
motherfuckers
nice
jump
and
into that canister that makes candy.
I saw something like it was saying that 90% of all ground beef is contaminated with fecal matter.
Probably.
I mean,
ground
Probably.
beef.
Yeah.
You
And
know, I don't
80% of other steak as well. It's ground beef more, but
Damn,
it's
I
like-
love steak.
I am still
Oh.
fucking eating.
Yeah,
I'm
me
still gonna
too.
eat
No,
it.
but see,
Shit.
here's the thing with ground beef, not ground beef, but with steak. With steak, the minute that hits the fire, it literally
it
burns all that shit right off.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
But if you're eating shit like that has red 9 and those chemicals in it, that's petroleum based.
Damn.
So like
Those
we're eating,
colorings, yeah.
we're allowed to eat shit that
like Fanta, that
literally is made. Yeah, exactly. Fanta, Skittles, all that shit.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Like
love
the
some gummy
new.
bears,
I love me red Fanta, bro. I had one today.
Same.
I haven't drunk soda in years. That's unbelievable.
I used to be
Yeah.
like that.
Your body probably
don't drink
enjoys
soda.
that.
Very
Hell yeah.
often, but when it's presented to me, I'll have some. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't drink it often anymore, but
Like, I won't be like, oh, I need a Sprite.
what?
Yeah, me
no,
neither,
because
no.
that
There?
shit used to be my routine. What? The McDonald's fucking Coke, nigga? That shit like crack. I swear to God, bro.
That was me
I
with the
was
sweet
hooked on
tea.
that shit for a minute.
So there's something in a Sprite that gives me allergies, and I literally start breaking out everywhere, like where you have the thinner skin. I don't know what it is. It's just, I think it's like the
Anybody
artificial
else getting
vitamin
hot?
C.
I'm hot,
That
right?
Sprite's
Yeah.
just too
Yeah, I'm a little
spicy.
hot, but
Too spicy, you said?
Yeah.
He said, boy, spicy.
open the door.
I'll call it, like every time I get a pretty waitress and
Yeah, go
they'll
ahead
come in
and
like,
go.
well,
There
what do you
shouldn't
want
be
to drink?
anybody
I'll
here
take some
making noise,
spicy
so-
water. They're like, huh? Soda water, bitch. Give me some soda water.
Can you
Is
make
that
sure
the
AC
carbonated
set
water
to
shit?
72?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
can't
like
drink
that.
shit.
No?
Can you make sure the
Mm-mm.
AC is set to
That
72?
shit tastes like fucking static.
That shit's robot piss. I don't care what nobody
Tastes
says.
like static.
Literally.
TV static.
What?
No, I like it. It's refreshing.
Carbonated
Soda
soda.
water.
I love carbonated water.
Yeah, me too.
That shit's way better than normal water.
No.
What?
Yes, it is.
Way better than
You're
normal
crazy.
water. Way
Yeah.
better.
So you talking like just straight bubbly water?
Yes.
Like
It doesn't
no
have to be mineral
flavors
water.
or
No,
No,
nothing.
no flavors, nothing.
No
like that
flavor.
shit
As a matter of
straight.
fact, if there's flavor in it, I'd much rather drink soda than do that. Than the
You
flavored
got a
one.
point there.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Yeah, then flavor because
I do not fuck
it's
with
just the
soda.
flavor
But like,
without
for
the
example,
sweetness.
I
Makes
have
no sense.
what is it? Something Stream, whatever. I have one here
Yeah.
that you can
Soda
carbonate your own
Stream?
water.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that one I don't like that one because it makes it gives
it gives the
certain
water a kind of taste.
flavor. Yeah, like it
Yes.
has like
Yeah, TV
I just
static.
don't know,
Literally, TV static.
huh?
Yeah.
TV static.
No. It's like actual soda water.
Drinking
Like,
white noise.
you get
I like Pellegrino,
Pellegrino,
Perrier,
Perrier,
all
those
those
are
guys
good,
are
yeah.
really good.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't like just straight seltzer water because they
Yeah,
Like-
that shit crazy.
yeah.
Yo,
they-
who was the motherfucker that was like water? Everyone needs that. Let me just bottle it and sell it. Genius. And then someone was like,
That's a-
"Fuck it,
That's $1 trillion
let's blow air,
idea
to,
right
air
there.
in this."
Talking
shit.
about 50 Cent, he went into that vitamin water. Like he made ton of
He's not
money
with
off
that shit.
vitamin
Yeah, he
water and they
did.
sold
I
it to
ain't gonna lie.
Coca-Cola.
That strawberry vitamin water, that
Yeah.
shit hit.
I love the,
Bro, I
the
would get
triple
the-
X one, the acai pomegranate
Bro,
one,
I would get
and
the
then the tropical one
That's
that's
the
with the
only one I
mango
get.
and stuff.
Yes.
Oh my god, that shit's fire.
I would
That
get the
shit's
worst
and then the
fucking
strawberry
diarrhea.
kiwi, that's
And the
fire.
fucking-
I would get
The
the worst
dragon fruit.
diarrhea from drinking the vitamin water.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, bro. Like I would if
Damn.
I have constipation, for
Because they're
example.
just full of sugar.
No,
It's
but
just another sugary drink.
well,
It is
no,
just
no.
low
Vitamin
sugar.
water did not have sugar in it. That was
It's
the whole
sugar.
thing.
It's sugar as
It's
fuck. There's a
definitely
zero
like
sugar
29
version.
grams.
Yeah,
Sugar.
the zero sugar version. That I would drink, bro. Like,
No, the zero
if,
sugar
let's say having
version
shit
sucks.
this morning, drink that, immediate shit.
Damn.
I like it. It's good. It's
Yeah.
expensive as fuck.
I've tried the
Indeed.
Prime Jake Paul's thing.
That shit's
That
trash.
reminds me. You say
so
yeah,
bad.
so bad. It's so
Never
fucking
tasted it.
trash.
Oh, don't waste your time nor money if you gotta buy yourself. Don't fucking do it.
No, I,
Yeah, I wasn't
You
planning
know,
on it.
Pick up
which
a
one
Gatorade
that
better.
reminded me of though. You said 50 Cent. It was funny. Remember they were the game was trying to beef with him, and then they were talking to. They had that video. They were talking to the game like, oh, what's the most you ever like turned down? Blah blah. Like the biggest check you ever saw and you turned down. He's like, oh, I turned down 7 million. Like that's the biggest check I ever turned down. And then I cut to another video where it's talking about 50 Cent. He's like, yeah, I made about 80 million with RBK with Reebok. That's about how much I made. 80 million. And it's just comparing the two. Like the game's just going at someone that's
Out of his level.
way out of his league.
Bro, he
It's like
I
MGK
forgot.
and Eminem kind of thing, right? Like
Yeah.
way out of his league, going after somebody.
he tried 6ix9ine too.
Who? The game?
And then he said some crazy shit. And then I sent 6ix9ine responded with a video of him on that like Love game show back in the day, and it was him talking about how he fell in love with this girl. She like dubbed him. So it was like you look dumb and then because you're trying to act like
Yeah.
you're a gangster, but he was like, I really love Tarisha. She was
Yeah. That's funny as
Right.
fuck. You know, I
No,
love.
6ix9ine. I don't know.
I heard when I was
fucking
listening to him and like I was talking about earlier with I was listening to Andrew and Aiden talk, right? And Andrew talked about he met 6ix9ine. I thought that was crazy. I thought he'd probably smacked his ass.
well, what's his name? Steve will do it.
Yeah.
They're friends.
Yeah.
6ix9ine.
Yeah.
They're friends.
And Steve will
supposedly.
do it. Went out and hung out with Andrew and his brother when Andrew just moved to Rumble after being canceled on YouTube. So I could see how that.
He bought them watches or whatever.
Did
I
you
don't
know
know.
that Steve will do it's girl is like a huge fucking model,
I
Yeah.
thought she
like
was
the one
some
that
kind
he
of porn star type
porn
shit,
star some
yeah.
shit. Yeah, like he proposed to her.
Yeah.
I thought that
That's
shit was
tough.
crazy. I was
She
listening
made
to them.
him get dick and something with his dick, dick shots or whatever.
The stem cell
Make it-
shit.
Yeah, that shit.
Was
What is
that
that?
enlarges your dick.
That enlarges it. Yeah.
That's tough. She made you get that confidence level 0.
Did she make him? I
Not
don't know
make
about
him,
that.
but
I
I
saw the
I think she
video. It
pitched
seemed like he
it.
was doing it for
Yeah,
the clout
yeah.
in general.
I think
And
him
she was just
him
there
and
talking
6ix9ine
shit.
did it, or 6ix9ine couldn't do it.
But fuck, what was I saying? I love their dynamic. Watching Andrew and Aiden, he just roasts him all fucking day. That shit's hilarious. And it's funny because you they'll bring the girls in to do like the dates or whatever, and Andrew would just sit there and be like, "Yeah, Aiden's the misogynist. Aiden's the one who hates women, this and that." And these are girls that know Aiden. Like Aiden's not like that. He's just sitting there.
No,
going,
I like watching
bashing it.
AMP and Kai and them do the online dating.
Guy,
Yeah.
Those shits are hilarious.
Sidemen have hilarious shit with the like 20 versus 1 with the
What's
girls.
that kid's name that they'll bring bunch of girls and bunch of dudes in one city, and then they're just like the dudes will go talk to the girls, or girls get to pick.
So that's I think what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sidemen. That's KSI's thing from London.
No.
They've come to the U.S. before and done it.
No, that's an
multiple times.
American one, and he's got
you're
probably
probably
like
talking
4
about-
million followers on YouTube or something like that.
Probably Kai. Or it's like some cutscene type shit, you know,
Kai.
on YouTube cut.
Yeah, Kai's been doing it.
Aiden's off of
There's
Twitch.
one where
Yeah,
there's
Aiden-
one.
Aiden, Kai, and Speed.
Kai's off of Twitch too, and Speed.
Yeah, I thought I heard.
They're
they
all off
got-
of Twitch.
I thought they all got banned off Twitch.
I know they recently did, but usually they get let back on.
I thought it was like
But
a
I know
temporary.
Aiden-
I
ban.
don't know. They got permanently banned.
Really, permaban?
Yeah, because I seen some shit
Damn.
about it.
But
They were
that's not-
talking about the two biggest
That's not good for Twitch.
the two biggest black
Yeah, streamers.
content creators got banned.
Yeah.
So
That's why they
so
went back to YouTube
the,
and
the
shit.
one I'm talking about was there was a clip that went viral with this big girl comes up to this skinny dude is like, "Oh, you look
The
like
war-
you're strong. You
Oh,
can
no.
pick me up."
Oh,
he
I'm
looks
not
at her
that
and goes,
strong.
"I ain't that
I'm
strong."
not that strong.
Yeah, That's the one.
crazy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, that's the one.
It's smash or pass.
Yeah, smash your
Yeah.
pass.
Bro, those are lethal. Like those are so dangerous because you got people with low self-esteem and shit. And when you say like pass, they get all mad and shit.
You can't do that in Florida after July 1st when
I
everybody's
haven't
carrying.
seen. I haven't seen the ones where they have some stuff going on where like when you pick somebody, the next female that comes along can steal your man's if she wants. Like if he wants her too, of course. But like they have the opportunity to pick or steal.
That's Nala. That's my doggy.
So the coldest one I've seen was with Russians, where they have to push the button whether they want the person to stay or not, right? So there's this kid there standing in front of the button.
It's spilling. It's spilling. It's spilling. Oh shit. Nala, go.
Hold on.
Lift your headphone, Jay, so she can go.
That's what I was gonna say. Hold on.
Nala, go.
So there's this
Should be towels right there in the closet.
There was this Russian kid that
Or the ones in the bathroom, Miggy. The ones in the bathroom.
Oh wait, there's a rag right there.
Oh, Miggy, we got some here.
there was this Russian kid that's sitting at the table, and they push the buzzer if they want the person to stay. If they don't want them to stay, they push the buzzer to get rid of him, right?
Oh, it's
So
good.
this girl comes in, and she's clearly overweight. She looks at the guy and just immediately before sitting down hits the buzzer. She's like, I don't date short guys. And then this other guy comes in and immediately hits the buzzer, and he's like, for me, like the body aesthetics are big thing. And she turns around and goes, what's wrong with my body aesthetics? He goes, the lack of it.
That's
Now,
crazy.
have y'all been seeing that girl that blew up off the whatever?
Top of the Hut.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
That's
They-
not-
It is a transgender female.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know. They've
We'll
been
look-
calling her
we'll look her
warlord.
up.
They've been
You
calling
know,
her warlord. or
Aiden
whatever.
and Sneeko talk with her.
Sneeko got on
Bro,
there and roasted her
Sneeko
ass.
would not stop saying he.
Yeah.
All stream, he would not refer to her as she at all. Roasting her all fucking day.
Yeah.
It was crazy. You know, I mean, Aiden did the same thing with Andrew. If you watch their first stream together, the 3 girls he brought on, the last girl was a transgender female. Ava? It was like, yeah.
Oh, that's the one Speed was messing with.
Oh yeah.
That shit was funny.
Let's see
They're
if I
all
can find
funny. Type in warlord and she might pop.
it here. Jabba the Hutt.
No, I mean, obviously, that person, you know, whatever they want to call themselves, they're there for the clout. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when they come out and say 99%, I'm a fetish for 99% of the guys. I can take any guy I want. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like pushing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some girls need to be humbled.
Whatever happened to that fucking Indian kid that roasted that Asian girl? It's like, oh, who are these? And he has this voice. Who are these idiots that don't read books?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I
Oh,
know.
that
I've
little
seen
kid, bro?
Yeah.
And he
got
went off the
named
deep
10
end.
books.
I think he tried to like continue the cloud, but it didn't work for him.
Yeah, he started breaking character and everybody was catching on.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That shit was funny when she got
It
that
was
girl
funny.
so mad.
So, this girl. Ready? This
Oh,
this
that
girl.
one.
Yeah, that girl.
Oh
So-
my god. Wait, so that's a
To his
That's a
biggest
male.
hater.
That's a
That's
biological male. Sorry, that's a female, but a biological male.
holy shit. I did not know that.
Yeah, and he was like, well, if the guy's with me just because I have my
It's
parts,
crazy
then
that we
that's
live in
gay.
times where we have
you know
to
what I
like,
mean?
Wait.
like,
They have to be with me thinking of me as a woman. I was like, what are
like
you
label
talking
it
about?
like that, like oh biological, da 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 da. Like,
And then some other girl tried to argue, like if you sleep with somebody like that, they're like, that's gay. And then she's like, no, that's not gay because that's a woman. I'm like, what are you talking about?
do you think it's gay?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course it is. There's a penis. Whose penis opens up to accept the other penis?
They tripping.
Okay, I'm finna get deep real quick.
Do it. Do it.
I heard. No, never mind. I ain't gonna say it because I want to sound dumb as hell.
No,
No,
go ahead,
do
go
it,
ahead.
do it.
Bro, we
You
be
already
sounding
win.
dumb as hell on the
Moment.
pod
Yeah.
every time we go online.
Nah, because so I don't know who brought it up, but we were talking about it like a while back. They were just basically saying like the woman's clitoral system is basically a penis,
Yeah,
and I was like, so basically,
undeveloped.
that's the same thing. You're fucking.
Nah, not really.
I mean, a
Not
dick
really.
is just a pussy that fell out.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said
Nah,
He
it
said
ain't,
nah.
that ain't. No.
I'm gonna step out.
So
for
the
this.
smaller, the
No,
smaller
that-
the dick, the closer you were to being a female.
So there's this thing where what they'll do is they test. I think they test 2 times or 3 times for it to be a boy, because halfway through it can show as a boy, but then it changes into a vagina, I guess.
that's crazy.
Yeah, like in a womb. So, but yeah, but then
Well,
also
it's because we're learning shit about genetics that we haven't in years now.
well, yeah,
Like, we've been looking at genetics as something that's either 1 or 2, but it's actually a vast majority of collections of what you gain from not only you but your ancestors, and which
It's just an inverted
activate and
penis,
some
that's all it is.
activate at different times.
yeah, but then they also contributed that to low levels of testosterone as well. So they're saying that the testosterone and estrogen have a huge role to play. So they still don't know exactly, but yes, genetics are something that we don't know. Like the genetic project has been for what better part of the 40 years now, and we still can't figure out exactly what's going on. You know, what gets activated, what doesn't get activated. So
That's scary.
yeah, well, you know, eventually it's gonna get done. You know. Oh, by the way, did you see that FDA just approved Elon Musk's chips?
Oh, I didn't.
The
Whoa,
human-
Neuralink is
Brain
approved.
Neuralink
chips.
is approved.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wait,
yo,
wait,
this
wait.
is a
Neuralink
conversation
is
I'm back
approved.
for.
Wait, what we talking about?
Oh, you don't know about Neuralink?
Mm.
Oh, let's educate.
So
my
he
man.
created it. Yeah.
So Neuralink is basically going to be a chip that is going to be able to integrate itself with your neural pathways on your brain. So its main goal as of right now, or its primary goal as of right now, is going to be basically to help people that are disabled. So, for example, say you are disabled.
can't hear or you
Right? So that's another thing, right? So you say, my first example will be, just to make it simple, let's say that you have...
quadriplegic or somebody like that.
Exactly. Like you're paralyzed from your waist down. They're basically going to be able to install a Neuralink at the top of your neck, and then one right under the vertebrae of where the damage is, or right under where the damage is, the nerve damage, and reestablish a connection and be able to possibly make someone walk again. Or
That's crazy.
Or let's say something happened with your ears and there's some damage there with your nerves and you can't hear correctly. They can help that as well, or eyesight as well, to basically maybe something's going on with the neural pathways for your eyes and you can't see as well for whatever reason because of mental damage. They can actually help with that as well.
But still,
Okay.
look over the.
That's
Obviously, that's not gonna be like that's the beginning, right?
Well, that's their way
It's
to get
all
it.
theoretical right now.
Yeah.
That is all
because
theoretical.
They just were approved for human testing.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. This is just the beginning.
But
It's
think
gonna
about
get
it this
done.
way, right? The big goal, the end goal, right? I'm saying primary goal as of right now, right? Because you have to think about it. This is a big thing in the sense of the risk attached to it, because you're gonna have to be going into people's brains, right?
Yeah.
That's a big risk. So for him to be able to push that risk and say it's something worth it, he's got to help. I would say the medical field, which makes a lot of sense, and say, look,
Oh,
we're
that does
taking
start
big
with-
risk, but we're getting big returns by figuring this situation out, by helping people walk again or whatever.
If they get it approved, government is gonna say we'll sub it, and then they're gonna offer this to poor communities, and poor communities are gonna be like, they're gonna
poor.
give me
No,
money.
I don't think so.
They'll install
Poor,
it.
no. I think it's gonna be the richest of the richest that are gonna be looking at this. I
No,
really
because
do.
riches of the richest are afraid of it. Remember, they're afraid of being controlled, right? So a lot of them are going to be like, I'm not putting this in. Who accesses this data? What's going to happen? Can they Can they flip a switch? You know, and things like that. So
But think
rich
of
are not
this.
going to go
Think
for
of
this.
this. You're in a world where you no longer have to touch another piece of technology to control it. You get in your car and you just sit there and you imagine how it drives. By then you'll probably have autonomous driving. So maybe not driving, but
Fuck
maybe
that.
you can
want to
sit
learn Spanish?
or well, that's
Spark
different.
a blunt
That's
and it takes you
accessing
directly to the
memory.
cops.
Huh? What's that? Yeah, spark a blunt and
Spark
takes you
a
directly.
blunt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people
That's
are
why
not
Rick
going to
Ross
want
won't
this.
drive a Tesla.
Yeah, nah, man. I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna want to do that. You know, put that shit in there. No matter how much knowledge I can get, you know, it's not worth
I mean,
it.
you got to think, how much is this going to cost? Because you have to have a literal brain surgery to
Not-
get this installed.
Yeah, but not if it gets subbed by the if it gets subcontracted by the government. If government pays the company,
Look.
which Elon Musk is pretty well in bed with everyone at this point.
I'll
You know, it's just gonna
I
be
look
probably
at
a way
it-
of siphoning money.
I look at it this way. You're gonna be in a world where you can sit at your computer
What's
and
up, Art?
automatically, do things without having to touch a keyboard or mouse. And eventually it's gonna get to the point where you're in a world where that computer is now built into you. And you just have basically are connected with the internet just by one.
They trying to be on some cyberpunk shit so bad.
It's like that Futurama episode where you get the phone embedded into your eye and then you can just like project out through it.
I've seen that shit too.
That shit good.
Yo, the anime is fucking amazing. The
Yeah.
game is iffy.
Here's the
Yes.
question: what if they told you can put that Neuralink in, and immediately become like super knowledgeable with jiu-jitsu and kickboxing? Would you do it?
fuck everybody.
Would you do the Neo?
Everybody
Would you
would
do
know.
the Neo?
So I don't know. I mean, no. You know why? Actually, I wouldn't do it with one of those. And you know why? Because I've had my experience with martial arts, and I think that would be such a cheat to such a disrespect to what martial arts is, because the discipline that comes with martial arts.
Yeah.
is-
Do you think people gonna give a shit? Like, do you think
I get
financial
that. No, you're
financial
asking me.
advisors
You're
gonna
asking
give
me.
a
You're
shit?
asking me. You're
No,
asking me.
Mark Zuckerberg, it's drilled in already. Like if he can be a better fucking fighter, jujitsu, because that's his thing right now. He has the money.
I
Yeah.
feel like he would turn into a reptilian, like a reptile that knows how to fight. Straight up.
Oh shit.
No, guys, you can't possibly believe into reptilians that live under Antarctic cap.
You never know, dog. They got roaches that can fly and shit. You just never know.
Why would they live under there when they're in our politics?
Oh, come on, stop that. I mean, please don't go into the flat Earth.
B.O.B.
Hey, bro, there's that one scientist that put all the data together that made it true somehow. I forgot
No,
about
it did. It doesn't. This
I
is like
love
wrong,
watching
it
those
makes sense.
people try to prove a flat Earth, and then they end up
So-
disproving
Yeah.
the flat Earth.
that. You know, we go into this. Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
We
It'd be
stage one of
selfish
them.
not to.
We're literally stage one of them.
We're stage one of them.
Yes.
You'd be selfish not to believe in one.
Are you religious? I remember back in the day, you driving in your grandma's car listening to gospel music. I know you had a religious family.
Yeah, my
but
family
are
heavy
you still
Christians.
religious?
I'm like, I do believe there's a higher power. I just don't know what it is exactly.
Well, what's your ethnic background?
Ethnic background? Shit.
Or like parents, grandparents.
Oh shit. Damn, I don't even know. Like it's
Okay.
it's like mixed, like Native American black, literally.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
That's what we are, but
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, it was always heavy Christianity shit.
Both sides of the family, right?
Mm-hmm. Both sides.
Hey, there's some of them gospel musics that slap now.
Oh, of course.
Like,
Kurt Franklin did not come to play.
right?
Who? Rita
Oh,
Franklin?
man.
Kurt Franklin.
Oh, Kurt Franklin.
I remember we were on our way. One time, Tommy's grandma took us to Parkside when we were in middle school.
Oh my god. I
We're in
forgot
that
about
car
that.
listening to that gospel music, and when we get out of the car, Tommy's just sitting there like, "I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that."
Bro, she did not play anything else besides that. As soon as you get in the car, that's all you hear. Jesus. And all that shit like that.
But I'm sure
That
that's
shit was
probably
hilarious.
part of the deal where you came out to be pretty normal.
Mhm.
Like, there's a lot of people that, like, you know, I'm not saying it. I think religion is a good set of rules to follow.
We're
I
three.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Religion is a good set of rules to follow. And I'm not
Shit.
arguing it being true or not true. All I'm saying is if you follow the book, you
Right, 'cause
probably ain't
we
going to do
started on
anything
time
wrong,
today.
you know?
You know what's very odd? I came across a guy that was into The Wicked. So we were filming a music video. Like, this is where we're doing the satirical stuff. And we made a song called I'm So Sad, basically making fun of, like, the gothic depressed people. So, yeah, it's kind of cringe if you look at it now. But, like, we did that shit under this bridge over there by the Burger King on 34th. And this guy walks up to us with, like, a black cloak. And he just, like, he stares at us and he's just like, I'm with the Wicked. And we all look at each other like, hey, bro, we just playing. Like, we're not
What's
really
the
part of
Wicked?
that shit. You know what the Wicked? It's like Satanism.
Mm-hmm.
He's into that shit. Showed us his tattoo. Showed us this weird like vial of blood that he had, and I was like, oh yeah, he on some other shit. So we literally were like, all right, we gotta go.
Yeah, but that's just this is the same, just the other side of the stick.
Yeah, but
Now, Satanism is a weird subject because you do have that extreme, like the wicked, that do like take it to animal sacrifice
Yeah.
and shit like that.
Yeah, but
But if you read the book, it's all about self-worth, like making sure you're good, your self-knowledge, your pursuit of self.
Mm-hmm.
But see, like,
Man, I
okay,
bet
so if you're talking
I
about
bet
the
if your
animal
pastor or
sacrifices,
father heard you talking right now, he'd beat your little butt, huh?
Oh no, he's Methodist. He don't care.
so wait a minute, like you're talking about animal sacrifice. Like, animal sacrifice, like an Old Testament, is all literally based on animal sacrifices. Literally, Cain and Abel, right? Like the sons, one of them, like God commanded to sacrifice one of his sons to him. Like, so the sacrificial, like, you know, people do this throughout the, like, I don't see how this is any different than what, like, Old Testament is.
I've seen it on National Geographics where they're like throwing goats and chickens and shit into a lava.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I've seen
instead
that.
of,
I've seen that.
yeah, so they're making it a little bit more
We'll
gory,
matar,
where
we'll
these
matar.
are just, like, slitting the throat, like, the quickest way, and these motherfuckers are like, let's throw it in the lava, because it's gonna reach him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hey, anything to please the Sky Daddy.
Sky Daddy.
Yeah, Sky Daddy, I mean, Sky Daddy, you know, you burn incense and make sacrifices, please the Sky Daddy, right? Like, that's the whole idea. But anyway, so I don't see how this is any fucking different or any
Okay.
more different than. But somebody had to come up with that. You know what I mean? Somebody's like, oh, let me make some money off of this. See if it catches on. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a couple of scandalous things out through the, the churches and shit, and it just kind of made me kind of like think about it. I was like, damn.
Bro,
Is it
so
really?
talking about the churches. Churches are like the craziest difference that I've saw between the countries that I lived in. All the other countries that I lived, like, you know, where I came from, churches are super, super fucking poor. Like, super poor. And, like, this whole thing of, like, tithing, is that what people do? Like, 10% of their income goes to the church. What do you call that?
I don't know the exact term for that.
100% of my income goes to me.
Me.
I know, right?
So they give like 10% of their income to the church. Tithing? I don't know. There's a word for it. Anyway,
Yeah, that's tithing. Yeah.
tithing. Like, churches here are a straight up fucking business. Like, churches are here to generate money. Like, the churches I'm used to is like you go to the church where it's like a place of peace for you to pray and do whatever you got to do. And you give them whatever money you give them. There's no hard set rule. And if you don't give them money, that's fine. Which 90% of people don't. You know what I mean?
The church I went to, they
Like,
Yeah,
churches
there's
are
a whole
supported by the-
Instagram that shows all these pastors in like $1,000 Gucci's and shit
Yes.
like
literally
that.
like pull up in Cadillacs and shit like that. I'm like, that's crazy.
Well, one of the biggest pastors, he got actually sued. He was in Tampa. This motherfucker had 3 jets over like
Damn.
200 or 300 properties that they used it to house, basically bums. But in reality, what they were doing, they were getting money from the government doing that. Like, he was here. They would send little kids door to door selling candy and bring that money back to the church. You know, like, that's
crazy.
He got sued for all that, for, like, you know, embezzling money and shit.
You know what's crazy? That's a good thing you mentioned that. 'Cause that's why I always ask. If somebody asks me, like, when they try to do those little donation things, I'll be like, who you working for? Where you getting this from? Why you asking me? Like,
Yeah.
like I ask them all the questions just to like mess with them, and I'm like, all right. At the end of it, can you do a backflip for me real quick? Then I give it to you. That's what I do.
Yeah, and they're pretty like pushy. It's not just the church; it's like the Greenpeace, all of them, bro. They'll
yeah, for
approach you
sure.
and they'll be on your shit. They're like, "Bro, sign this." Nah, bro, I don't want to do it. Well, don't you want to help the planet? Don't you want, bro? No,
Yeah,
I don't. I
they
don't
make
want to
you
do
feel
any of
guilty.
that. Like, no, leave me the fuck alone. Can you sign this petition for smoking weed? No.
Bro, they got us like that. We were outside of I think it was what restaurant was it? Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, some dude was out there, and you know that little program that was around middle school called Fear, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some dude was a part of that shit, and he was just like, "Would you donate $10? We can do Cash App, check, or whatever." I was just like, "Bro, get out of my face."
Cash App. These motherfuckers are
No,
taking
bro.
Cash
As soon as
App.
he said Cash App, I started laughing. I'm like, "Bro, get out of here."
Yeah, that cash app going straight to his cash. App.
Right.
But nah, bro, no, that ain't me. Sorry, I ain't donating shit. I'll figure it out what I'm gonna donate it to on my own.
Literally.
But you know what's interesting about donations? Men will most likely donate money.
Mhm.
This is why Twitch, YouTube, they're thriving, and they're thriving on male viewership, not female viewership. But what females will do, they'll donate their time, but never resources. Where men, they donate resources, never really time. Isn't that crazy? On average?
I guess that's one way to look at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one way to look at it. I definitely feel like it also depends on what it is as well.
So next time your girl spend money on you and she spend money heavy on you, she does really love you.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah, because it's super. Like, if the girl actually goes out of her way to get shit for you that's actually expensive, she really likes you. Because women don't like to give away their resources.
Can you guys hear my mic
Yeah.
when I touch it?
So if she
Yeah, I can
is
hear.
using your time, right, she better spend some money on it. Your time is valuable. See how the maths? You know what I mean?
So what about a sugar mama? Like, would that count too?
Well, with sugar mama, you can have a lot of rules. She's gonna say you can't pee at this hour. You gotta poop at this hour.
That's
like,
crazy.
It's gonna have a lot of rules.
I think
don't
that's a
think they do that.
dominatrix. I don't think that's a sugar mama.
No, I think if she,
I think
she
sugar
give you
mama
money-
gonna be like, "Hey, come give me some," and you get
Sugar.
some. And yeah,
Give me some sugar. I give
No,
you some
I
money.
think with them, I
You get
think
a
with
Louis
sugar
Vuitton
mamas,
wallet because you gave some dick.
Right.
No, I think with sugar mamas, it's more of a dominatrix thing because a girl can get dick and she can walk outside and say, "Who can give me dick?" There's gonna be like 30 people lined up to give her dick.
Would you
She
guys
doesn't
take a
have-
sugar mama?
Huh?
If
you
a
say
sugar
that's-
mama,
hell yeah.
Would you
if
say
a
that's
sugar
true,
mama
babe?
presented
When you're
herself,
saying-
presented herself to you, would you take it?
I have a friend who's taken that.
Yeah.
Got a cruise out of it.
That's
But would
crazy.
Almost
The
got a
thing-
brand new car out of it.
I've heard he's
The
got a
thing
phone.
is, when you're
He got a
saying
phone and a watch.
when
I
you're
probably
saying
would.
sugar
I don't give a
mama,
fuck.
the first thing that comes
Oh,
up to
dude.
mind.
But will
It's
I
some-
be able to be with a
Depends
sugar
on the
mama?
sugar.
No, because they usually come with terrible, like girls that make a lot of money. They're really terrible people to deal with. They're horrible to be around. They're super pushy. They try to fucking regulate you. You know, I don't want to date myself.
Jay,
You know what I mean?
the only thing that I think of when you say sugar mama is
Huh.
some 70-year-old woman with saggy
Old ass
titties.
hag, right?
Nah, but sugar mamas are usually like in their mid 40s to 50s that got money, and for whatever reason they pay for younger dudes, which makes no sense to me because they can probably get those younger dudes just as easily. Go out in a nightclub, pretend to be a little loose, and get the fucking dude. Every night you can have a different one.
Maybe they like the power.
That's what I'm saying. It's a dominatrix thing for them. It's for them to like, you know, to exert like dominance over a dude. I think
I
that's what it is
mean-
for them.
I wouldn't take it a dominatrix. That gets a little more in depth. I don't know if you've watched what they do.
It's just their preference, Jay.
Preference my ass. Yeah, I got a preference to be a billionaire. Am I a billionaire? Let's get out of our dream world
Because
now.
she might, pay you to come beat the boonies down, but she might be completely submissive while you're doing the sex act,
No,
True
I
statement.
get that, but what I'm saying is she doesn't need to pay me to beat the boonies down off of her. Like that, she also doesn't have to pay someone else to do that too.
Jay, you're also not 21 years old, 6 foot tall, and a blonde white boy.
But they're not that. Usually they're not that. If you ever watch any of those, there's usually like an average dude, 5'8" at the most, a little bit on the chubbier side, not that great looking.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I got offered that once, but she was not attractive. Yeah, 'cause,
Hey, sometimes you just gotta bite that bullet.
fuck that.
That's a
Cost
Bite the
effective
bullet.
thing.
Bullet
Bro,
to
but
bite.
if
If
you
the
Hey, wait,
price
wait.
is right.
Biting that bullet, what was like the what was gonna come with it? You know what I mean? What were the benefits of the bullet?
It was basically just like going out to eat and shit and like buying me stuff from the mall. But I was like, nah, I can do that myself. I've been doing that. Like, I don't need that. Like,
I'll buy my own shit for the
yeah.
motherfucker.
So like, no. So basically, I was selling my Nintendo Switch at the time, and she was like, okay, let me come to your address to get it. And I was like, that's weird. I don't fuck with that shit. So I was like, you know what? Fine. Give her the address. She came there, and she was just talking to me for like 30 minutes straight. Gave her the Switch, left, boom. She texted me after that and just like, hey, you really attractive. I want to do this and that. And I was like, how old are you? And then I asked her, and she told me the age. I was like, oh, you old as fuck. I was like, I normally
But
don't.
there's always this
Yeah.
one Thursday. Just don't get her pregnant.
Hey yo, but
Hey,
how
maybe
old
she
was old as
kegels.
fuck, if I may
If she's
ask?
old as fuck, she can't.
She was about to touch.
Over 40?
Yeah,
She could
58,
still
59.
get pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Baby
it's
gonna grow
okay.
up with 3 legs, but
Yeah.
she could still get
Hey,
pregnant.
J-Lo's in her 50s.
Hey, that's different though. That's different. she ain't that.
Yeah, J-Lo, like, would you wife J-Lo? Not talking about
After
stature, would
seeing
you
what
wife
fucking Ben Affleck's going through day to day, nah, that man looks so
He
sad.
looks stressed.
J-Lo? Yep.
That's dealing with a Latina.
Nah, that's not dating. That's dating J-Lo. I think 99.99% of Latinas are probably the most, like, they're a little on the toxic side, but they're very, like, dedicated to the family. Doesn't matter, no matter what it is. Keep the family together, raise the kids. They have normal
Maybe
morals.
back then.
I think that's just J-Lo.
No, I'm gonna lay out some facts right now. I'm gonna straight up say it's white girls that are the worst to date. I'm gonna
White
straight up
girls,
say
you
that.
think so?
Yes.
I think
Too
it's just
much
girls in
baggage.
general in a Western world.
You say girls?
Girls in
You said
general in a
girls in
Western
general.
world. Yeah.
Tommy said, "What you want to date, niggas?"
No.
You like dudes?
No. All I'm saying is all the girls are pretty entitled in a Western world. In a Western world, meaning like Australia, United States, United Kingdom, France, like the Western world, they're super fucking entitled.
Yeah.
Nothing can beat the white privilege, though.
Huh?
Nothing can beat
When
that
a
white
when a
privilege.
white woman with white privilege gets on her shit,
The young
she can
Karen.
literally send people to prison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the sexual marketplace value. Sexual marketplace value.
I think he was just saying white women are annoying.
annoying.
Yeah, 'cause
That's
like,
all he was saying.
Oh,
Like
oh,
me?
oh.
I went around, so it's like I've gained my information, and it's just what I've noticed. they come with a lot of baggage and a
Oh,
lot of just like
yeah.
problems.
Yeah,
And they're
especially if
very
they're
fucking
broken
crazy.
families.
Like, for prime example, my past, she has a problem with those shits.
Vapes.
Yeah, she lost one of hers and started having
Oh,
a
she's
tantrum.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was like, I need it, and she started kicking my dashboard. I said, hey, nah, what the fuck are you doing? And so we started arguing over that shit, and then that shit happened, and then on top of that, that whole privilege thing that he brought up, just acting really like you're above everyone because of your upbringing. Like, I don't fuck with that shit. Like, that shit's weird to me. Like, I don't.
At that point, it would have been an ejecto
so- And then the artist she listens to, she only listened to Travis Scott, Drake, and Jeremiah. I'm like, yeah, that shit's no. I don't fuck with that. Your music taste is dog ass. And there's a whole bunch of shit I've done with other girls that same situation. Very uncultured, didn't know about shit, kind of racist. Like,
Can't take spices.
yeah, can't take spicy. Hey, look, listen. She was like, I don't fuck with Spanish food because it's disgusting. I'm like, have you tried this? Have you tried
Hey,
that? No.
yo.
Yeah,
Fuck
straight
that
up.
bitch.
Straight up.
Fuck that
Look,
bitch.
Then I tried to take her to, at the
She
time.
missing out.
Look, at
She
the
already
time,
came at me indirectly. Fuck that bitch.
Listen,
Wait a minute. There's some Spanish food that's absolutely fucking delicious, and you cannot take that away from me, right? But then there's some Spanish food that
That's
very
everywhere,
fucking
though.
questionable.
Yeah, I was gonna say no matter where you go.
That's everywhere.
Like
Right.
for example, Dominican red onions in vinegar, that marinated vinegar, fucking delicious. I'll put that over anything and eat that shit up.
Yeah.
Don't matter what it is.
I don't like onions.
But you talk about fucking bandeja paisa from Colombia, not my favorite.
Really?
Pretty good.
Not my
I
favorite.
love a bandeja paisa.
See, look, I can see
Nigga, the one
that,
that we
but
got,
it was
nigga,
just
I got
in
a whole-
general.
Yeah,
It was
bro.
more
I
like
got a
she
picture
just
of that bitch,
disregarded
yeah.
that
Yeah.
as a whole. And even when we went, I tried to take her to tsunamis before it burned down.
Yeah.
She was just like, I don't like Asian food. Just totally disregarded. I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
well that's
She
fucking
like
dumb.
what? She like chicken finger and fries.
Hamburgers
shit
and
up, dumb.
fucking mac and cheese? What?
burger fries. salad,
I
and
need my
shit.
chicken nuggies.
One of my exes was from fucking Tennessee. Loved barbecue, but couldn't fucking eat anything else besides barbecue as far as like having flavor in the
That
food.
sucks.
Did she have moonshine with her fucking food too? Like, what the
Her thing was eating fucking
Moonshine,
chicken
some
that's
dip.
marinated in Italian dressing, bro.
What?
That was like the most. Don't fucking ask me.
She was
She
on
would
the
That
show
shit.
wasn't me
some
making
barbecue.
this shit.
She would jump down some barbecue, but like fucking eat that chicken. I was like, the fuck are you doing?
How did her stomach take that? That's a lot of shit, dog.
Yeah. The way, I don't know, but yeah, but you're right about that. Like, white people in the United States have no fucking idea what food is. They have zero idea.
I don't know.
Like, you get some of those girls that because of the cloud, they'll go to different restaurants and take a fucking picture, but they eat it, they'll put it like this in
I
their
know-
mouth and go. "Ooh, ooh,"
I know
just
Tommy's
swallow
had
it.
my mom's cooking from back in the day. I bet he looked at that white bitch when she said no Latino food. He's like, what? The
I
fuck
ain't
are
gonna lie.
you
I
talking
forgot
about?
what your mom made that one time me and Sai came over here.
I don't know, but her mom, his
remember.
mom makes a
Bro,
big
so many
casserole.
dishes.
Her
Like
shit
that.
gas. I was like, can I get a third plate? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Bro, like that corn souffle your mom makes, fucking delicious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But chimichurri's delicious. But the fucking fried bologna and fried cheese in the morning,
I love all that shit.
not my favorite.
That's something that's just like a Dominican like staple.
Bologna?
He's talking about something salami. Yeah.
Not my favorite.
Hey,
But
disrespect.
That's-
I was like, never.
but I have emotional damage from that shit because that's what we ate back home because there was no food. Not that you couldn't purchase.
Hey,
there
I
was no
feel
food.
you
Salami
with
on the
that.
salami,
Bologna and
that's
spam. I can't. Vienna sausages. I can't do any of that shit.
Yeah.
That's,
Ew.
that's
I don't
it.
like any of
That's
those
all we
things.
had.
Hell
The other day, I went to the store just to buy spam. As a little kid, I remember eating that shit. I bought spam and I tried to fucking eat it. Nope. Went in and came right out. I didn't even fucking chew it for more than.
What? How are you
Yeah.
guys with like childhood things? You used like the cosmic brownies, the
So,
things. I can't eat them shit.
bro,
no.
all
They
them
don't
shits
taste
are
the same.
trash.
only
now.
the
don't
honey
taste the
bun.
same
I can
no more.
only eat the honey bun now.
So, for example, like you get like what are the nutty butter
The
like
Nutty Buddies.
yeah,
the-
all those they don't taste the same anymore.
Yeah.
None of that
They're
shit. Even the
trash.
honey buns, they taste fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the honey
That's a
buns
fact.
they don't the dough isn't the same anymore. It's way more.
I mean, they
just-
also have been changing their formula
true,
up
bro.
yeah, that's
to make
that's
that
the whole
shit
And see,
cheap
this is
as
why I
fuck.
love my fucking people. You go to the fucking
Cheap as
international
fuck, but
store,
shit is
you
more
get the
expensive.
same fish and a tomato sauce. Tastes exactly the same like it tasted 20, 30 years ago. They never fuck with the recipe.
Authentic.
You said for what?
There's one thing that I like a lot. It's fish and tomato sauce.
Okay.
I love that shit. It's fucking disgusting. When people see that, they throw up. They don't even have to eat it. Huh? Sardines and tomato sauce. People don't fucking like that. I like that. That was one of my favorite things out of the can.
That shit stank.
Yes.
I eat that shit with white rice.
100%. But they never change the recipe. Like different brands try to come out with a different flavor of it. But that same brand that's been making this for past 40, 50 years kept the exact same recipe.
Good.
Never changed it. Like ketchup, for example, never changes. Like that's the only ketchup I can eat with meat and it actually tastes delicious. Like regular ketchup tastes like crap. That ketchup that I eat tastes really good. As a matter of fact, your sister loves that ketchup. Every time I buy it, she's like, "Oh, do you have some of that ketchup?" Especially when we grill meat.
Yeah, I did. What I didn't know until a couple years back was that a lot of our foods are banned in other places. I didn't know that shit.
A lot of it.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
A
Like,
lot.
it's crazy.
Monster is banned.
Skittles,
Fucking
Mountain
Sour
Dew.
Patch
what's that
Kids,
green drink?
Mountain Dew.
Fireball,
Mountain Dew. Yeah.
Mountain
Where-
Dew,
That's banned where?
and a bunch of like
European
European
countries.
A
countries.
bunch of different. Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're either banned or their formulas changed and they use
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
things.
Coca-Cola.
Like, instead of like red 9, they use like beet flavoring and coloring.
Coca-Cola tastes less sweet in European countries. You know how
I
you
don't know
drink
about
Coke
that.
Zero?
They use like pure cane sugar in their shit.
Yeah, you know how I drink Coke Zero? Because it's less sweet here than regular Coke. That's the only reason I drink it, is it's less sweet. When I go there, I can drink regular Coca-Cola no problem. Because it's not as sweet.
I can't do with it.
You guys seen the
Zero
Into the
taste.
Spider-Verse Whopper, the red one?
No.
Yeah, I've seen
it. I haven't ate it.
That shit looks
So like
diabolical.
apparently Burger King did this thing where they banned all their artificial shit. So the reason it's red is they use beet flavors or whatever to color it red.
That's kind of cool.
They're like one of the only American companies that's actually like trying to
Be
To
better.
help.
stop
I have-
using
I have Burger
artificial
King
shit.
I'm surprised because their fucking nuggets taste like raccoonies and shit.
Bro, why are they like $1 for 10?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
bro.
are
I
$1
was
for
like,
10.
who are gonna eat those?
Hey, but I had I ate a Bacon King today. Their burgers are
Yes.
Bacon.
Yeah.
Well, Burger King, I think
Don't
Burger
get
King.
chicken
Bacon
from Burger King.
Oh,
Nah.
the Bacon King. I
So
thought you said
if I were
the place called.
to pick, it would be the Five Guys or Burger King for fast food burgers.
Five Guys.
Five Guys. I think it's
Oh,
a little
that's
Is
better.
what I'm
Five
saying.
Guys even fast food though?
Not really. They don't have a drive-through.
They don't, but it's considered
It's fast
fast
food.
food. It's like I would put Chipotle right up
That's
there with fast food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that shit's fast.
Can we speak on their prices
Shit.
though?
Who?
Chipotle?
Yeah,
No, Five
they be
Guys.
giving.
Five Guys is
they be
insane.
giving
You
you-
can't get in there without spending
Bro.
$20.
Oh,
By
bro,
yourself.
fries,
Yeah,
a
by
burger,
yourself.
and a drink.
$20.
$20. I was like,
Right?
no.
Wait, hey,
And
but
they're like,
you do
"Hey,
get a
we'll give you
fucking
all these
bag full of
fries."
I get a
Yeah,
small
but
every
you're
time.
still paying
But they still give you
$5
a
for
bunch.
that
Don't
shit.
forget the peanuts.
I don't get the peanuts.
Me neither.
That's some carnival shit. Fuck that.
Shit.
That's some monkey
And
shit.
they quit. I remember back in the day, you used to get like a burger, not
Yeah.
the small one. It was like big, and now you get a burger, and it's like what the fucking junior size was.
What I've been seeing on
And at
TikTok
least the
was these grilled cheeseburgers.
Burger King makes huge fucking
Oh
burgers.
yeah.
The
Them
grilled
bitches are
cheeseburgers, I want to
huge.
try it from Five Guys.
That
shit
Whopper,
looks
bro?
Good.
Oh my.
Thank you.
I almost didn't finish the Bacon King today. My dad only ate half of his. They're
Damn.
huge.
If you like burgers, this place it's called Dead Bob's. It's on Central, and there's another one on a beach. They're like two restaurants. Every Monday they have a burger special. It's like a $7 or $8 or something. They never change their menu. Their menu is super fucking cheap. Their burgers are literally, I think it's like a half a pound or a full pound burger for $7 or $8.
Damn.
And on Mondays and Tuesdays in Dead Bob's, their top shelf drinks are only $2 per shot. Top shelf, Kettle One, Grey Goose, doesn't matter, whatever you get, $2. It's a hole in the wall, but it's one of the coolest places to go hang out if you want cheap, good food.
You know what?
That's
What's that?
another thing. McDonald's needs to remember their place.
I
Yes.
feel like I already know exactly what you're gonna say. The Avenue.
Yeah, that's the place it was me, you, Omar, and
and
Jairo?
Jairo, yeah.
that's bro.
Yeah.
That mac and cheese burger, that bitch was good as fuck.
Yeah, right.
That
That's
bitch was
exactly what we
gas.
had.
You-
You said
Oh.
Omar and oh,
It was
I
me,
know.
Tommy, Jairo, and Omar.
You know who
Yeah.
has really
Not the
That's
Jahira I know.
if
Yeah,
you go to
Al
Dad's,
Capone, yeah.
if you go to Dad's and you order a burger, tell them to replace the bun with a mac and cheese bun.
You said
So what
where?
they that's
Okay.
they'll take a mac and cheese, they deep fry the mac and cheese, and they use that as a bun.
The other
for
day
your
we
burger.
ordered
crazy.
like fried mac and cheese balls, and I ordered it kind of thinking like, damn, this might just be like Like kind of like if you just eat like a bowl
Velveeta?
of rice,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be like, oh, it's just carbs, like for bullshit, right? No, that shit was good.
Yeah.
The place I had it, I don't remember what.
That's has some banging food, bro. Like if
I haven't ate there yet.
that's has banging food. Like if you wanna, like,
Yo,
it's mid road.
Isn't Top Golf supposed to open this month?
Yeah,
What's up with that?
supposedly. Either this month or next month is what I've
Trying to go.
seen.
I want to go.
All right, bro. We
Yeah,
gotta
let's call it.
dude.
It's 3.5
Three and a half hours.
Damn.
I know, right? Yo, it's crazy. Miggy
They
told us
feel
2
like it.
hours. And then when he threw up the 3 sign, I go, no way, you mean 3 hours? He goes, 3 hours and 5 minutes, actually. I was like,
Bro,
what?
I gotta drive to the office tomorrow, man. We gotta call
That
this.
sucks. Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate you coming, brother.
Again,
problem,
guys, whoever is still watching, if you're not, that's cool because you're gonna rewatch it anyway.
go look at the title. You guys
Yeah.
can go check out Tommy's stuff there.
Damn, shit
You
going up.
can go look at his YouTube page. I'll make sure later to add all his other
anything
stuff
you
in the
wanna
description.
plug in that we didn't mention.
Oh no, we're good.
Plug
for
it
now.
in, man.
It's 3 hours. Like shit.
No, plug it in. If you,
I mean, like
no,
your
over.
social
Your
media,
content
anything like
shit.
that. What's your Vonzel Sly, right?
Oh yeah,
How you spell
Vonzel
that?
Sly on all platforms. VONZELLSLY.
Yeah,
you
guys,
find
go
like that.
follow, like, subscribe, do all that good shit. Support him.
Take a look at all his music. Got some great stuff in there.
And he's not your typical
you.
rapper, you know?
Thank you again, brother, for coming out. Appreciate Fo coming with us. Alex showing up again tonight. Thank you guys for coming. Everybody who's in the chat. I saw there was some people there. Let's take a look real quick.
I think Natalie hopped in and started talking. By the way, Natalie, her
Natalie,
cousin, was
our-
saying that you should use the toxicity. You should have done all that. What I was saying to do,
Oh, the toxicity.
like with the ex.
Oh, just keep going with that.
Yeah.
Natalie, my cousin Jorge, my mom, Damaris, Arthur. Thank you guys for coming in the chat. Y'all have a good night. Episode 45, guys.
The Monitors, the one from Tyrone.
No, that's a
Oh, about to say,
family
damn,
friend.
I ain't seen her in a
That's
minute.
a family friend of mine
Okay.
now.
No, the
Uh,
Morris is my age.
Y'all have a good night.